It's sport.
Pre-stream dance, pre-stream dance, gotta do that pre-stream dance, pre-stream dance, pre-stream dance, gotta do that pre-stream dance.
Break it down for you, Mark.
I have the display caption on, so I can't change my view right now, so I'm gonna assume it's going.
Oh my god, look at
go
us
from
on
there.
screen.
Hi, everybody. Okay, and everybody's volume should be here. Like, we should actually be able to hear you. I double-checked. So it should be fine. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat. Hello, Gabriel. Hello, CLaUD. Hello, Gerbil. Hello, Maggle of Shadow. Hello, Mr. Sir.
Hi.
It's a Hodgehag. Is me. I'm here. I'm here. We're here. Make sure to give this stream a like. Please do. Also, hello, Prior. Welcome. I'll see you tomorrow. Miceman has returned.
OMG, we're live, Miceman. We're live.
We're live.
Hey everyone!
So don't say racial slurs.
Do a funny dance. Do a funny dance.
I
have a gun.
Oh. Oh my.
What if the stream immediately went down the moment you said that? I have a gun. This video has been blocked.
All right, let's introduce everybody in the chat today, or in the voice chat today, rather. We've got Aedrah. We have the CLaUD. We have Drag0n.
I'm gonna die.
He's gonna die, yes. We have Grayman.
Hi, yes, you are gonna die. Hi.
We have Miceman.
Me, I hope I do well on this. I am a big fan of horror movies, so hopefully but I don't know if I understand Drag0n's inner psyche. That's the issue.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
together we'll be able to sort it. And of course we have Mayhem.
I've never seen a horror movie, and that means I'm gonna win.
Yep, it's true. It's very true. It's very true.
The best part is I haven't either. That's the fun part.
Wow.
Any of these
no.
I have not seen any of the movies on this yet. That's not true.
So for anyone who is just joining us, or is just joining us randomly with no context, today we have a tier list in front of us, but instead of like talking amongst ourselves and making the tier list, Drag0n has already made the tier list as the resident horror aficionado besides Miceman. Miceman, and because he doesn't drink, he's doing hot sauce shots instead every time we guess and answer right. In addition, I also have this for him sitting on my desk. It is his milk. He does not get this milk until the stream is over.
Well, until the last question.
Until the last question. Then he gets to drink it.
Because I definitely want to have a mad dash for it on stream, because that'll be funny.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Are you gonna mad dash to me?
His milk?
Is that what we're doing?
No, I'll just be like...
The Mad Milk Dash.
The Mad Milk
Hedgehog,
dash.
where did you get that
Hedgehog,
milk?
why do you have his milk?
I'm
Where did
holding.
you get
milking Drag0n on stream?
Absolutely.
She got that milk from
the milking
creature.
Yeah, it's the creature's milk. That's why it's brown.
I was doing a tier list stream where I had to drink hot sauce. Good thing I went to the basement and milked the creature.
My creature.
Also, hello, Roy McFloyd. Hello, no username.
Oh, these are not slasher exclusive.
Sorry, I listed on the title it was slashers to be clickbaity. It's just horror movies
You were
in general.
clickbaiting
You don't consider Eraserhead a
She's
slasher?
lying again.
No,
She always lies.
Don't you remember the part where he
Lies.
stamps out like a child or whatever? Like, he stomps on a child? I would consider that
He
a
erases
slasher.
a child.
He erases that head?
Oh my. All right.
You can erase my head.
The baby
Ew.
from
Hedgehog, are you
Nice,
gonna-
please laugh.
Yeah.
Hedgehog, are you going to share your screen with us?
Yeah, let me do that. Let me just.
Also, for anyone that is curious, I went to the store and I saw that Hot Ones is now in stores as a hot sauce. They have like their hot sauce in stores now, so I got it. That's what I am
That's
doing.
been a thing for a while.
Can y'all see her right now?
The only Hot
Yeah.
Ones episode I've ever seen is the one where they have DJ CLaUD on and he like refuses to eat the wings after one bite.
Yeah.
Rip.
What a
Okay.
coward.
Well, without further ado, should we get started, guys?
Are we doing these in ABC
No.
order?
Yeah.
Go on
I
list.
think we should bullshit for a bit longer.
And let's not. Let's maybe. This is gonna be a 3-hour stream. Let's start. Let's start.
I got the chat open on my other
start.
monitor.
All right, I've got my hot sauce.
Dude, Miceman,
so
you're
glad
on
I'm
the
the
stream and you're second monitoring me.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. The chat is getting
No,
second
he's second
monitor.
monitoring the chat.
Yeah, you're not on my screen at all.
We just see a
Okay.
pop-up that says Miceman is playing TF2.
All right,
Nice to
so
explain satisfactory.
yeah, guys, how are we gonna do this? Are we? Because I know with my tier list we just did it alphabetically.
Yeah,
'Cause
let's
that
just
was
go down the
easiest.
line, it's
I think
fine.
that might be easiest,
That's
all
fine.
things considered.
I don't think you
Uh,
really
if-
care so much.
If Alien is an iconic horror, then I'm gonna come dig your house and I'm gonna kill you for
I agree
real,
with
Dragon.
Miceman.
Yeah.
So also, yeah, I guess these. So like,
Yeah,
Hedge
give us-
did it.
give us some
These
context.
are kind of your like S A B C F kind of thing. Obviously the names are funny, like hers were. So we've got the top tier is iconic horror. You know, that's for the best of the best. A real thriller is like pretty damn close to the best of the best, but not in that upper echelon. Kind of spooky is like your mid grade. Left me feeling hollow. Een is like, it was fine. And then scarily bad is, you know, it's a collar tart. You know what I mean?
Ugh. The problem is I don't foresee any of these going on that part of the list. But
Scarily bad. I mean,
Well, that could be my
Hold on.
greatest trick yet.
that's true.
is that Halloween, the original Halloween, or the
No,
remake?
so that's is the other thing. So like Hedgehog
Oh.
decided to pick some weirdos. I decided what's more fun than just picking some odd sequels. Throw a couple of those in.
So yeah,
We
not
got some
all
of the
of these are
classics,
the
but
OGs.
like there's
the
there's some
menu's on there,
weirdos in
saw
there.
that.
There's
So-
If
definitely some weird
Terrifier
ones.
is anything less than iconic, I will riot.
Oh my
Okay.
god, yeah, I love just watching a
Can't quite
90
read what
minute
all of these say.
gore fest.
Or fest.
I will help
Must
determine
be-
the
It's
ones that are a little
funny
less
and I
hard,
like
a
it.
little less hard, a little less easy to see. But okay.
He's goofy.
So Alien.
Goofing.
What do we think
It's
about
an
Alien?
iconic
Yeah,
horror.
this is Alien.
Iconic.
Absolutely
Yeah,
iconic
it's
horror,
iconic.
dude.
It's iconic.
See, let me argue really quick. I think he
Oh,
likes
God.
Alien. I think he likes Aliens better. I think it should
Aliens
be a real
is
It's
also
action movie.
iconic.
I think it should be a real thriller.
Well, I think if we're talking
Wait.
about slasher films, which is what Hedgehog listed in the title, then I mean it's like one of the iconic slasher.
I love
films.
Leroy in the chat.
Aliens,
Oh, here we fucking go.
Yeah, yeah.
Aliens is an action horror.
I mean,
Alien
Gerbil's
is-
right.
Alien is
Alien
iconic
is
too.
iconic because it has Mpreg.
All right.
Gerbil, you're
Dude, what the
so
fuck?
hate.
He's so
You-
real for
you
this.
say-
Gerbil
Literally has
say-
that.
Gerbil saw
Yo,
right
so
through
you
me on that one.
say
It's all
what
about
the
the
fuck?
Yeah.
They
Okay. Sorry.
accepted
So we're
when
putting
they
it in
wrote the
scarily bad.
screenplay.
That's what we're.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Got Empreg. I think it should go into real thriller. I think Dragon would put it there, but because I would list as iconic horror. I don't think Dragon would, but I'm willing to
It's
go
absolute
iconic horror.
cinema.
Oh, right,
The
because we
thing
haven't
is,
played a
it's just-
Yes,
Dragon.
make,
Fuck.
Yes,
keep in mind,
reminder,
Mice
you're
Man.
playing to
It's
me.
not. It's not what you think. It's what you think Dragon thinks.
I know, and Dragon better think it's iconic horror.
See, I love this about Mice Man. Mice Man just goes with his gut and just says, "Dragon better agree with
Well,
me."
that's why I picked the movie list I did, is because I knew Miceman's opinionated ass would be able to just throw wrenches.
Look at this.
in
Why
there.
am I
He better
Mice
agree
Man
with
in
you.
the chat now?
don't know,
was
dude.
Inside Stories a minute
know, dude.
ago.
Yeah, wait,
Also-
what happened? How'd you get your account
I
back? I
don't
thought you were locked
know.
out.
No, I'm.
Miceman has
I
been
popped
fighting
out the
this.
chat. That's the only thing.
Miceman
I've
has been
changed.
fighting this for like 2
Months.
streams now, where it keeps going back. and
Two streams? I was gonna say, what are you talking about? He's been fighting this since like
Gerbil
last
says-
year.
No, that Miceman has come back as an entity
Oh,
in the
I
chat.
haven't. I did not know that.
Churble says that his real guess is as a real thriller. I don't think the movie is that impressive, but I imagine the Dragon would appreciate the suit. That's what he says.
Yeah, I bet you would appreciate. John,
It's
did you know that
very
the
impressive.
the guy inside the suit, they just like found him in a bar. They were like, he was like this tall, lanky guy, and they were like, "Hey, you want to be an
Yeah,
alien in a
me.
movie?"
Did you know that the
And he was like,
queen
"Yeah."
in Aliens was made of trash bags?
I
What?
could believe it now that I
Yes.
think about the
Did you know
texture.
that the queen from Aliens could get it? Anyway.
Claude.
I
Also,
mean,
how's
so
our volume,
right.
everybody?
I
asked.
mean, slash or pass, you know.
You know, yeah.
I was gonna say this is the wrong stream.
Was she
for
in that
but-
stream? I don't remember.
No,
She
it was
must
just the
have been
xenomorph.
I don't
It
think
was
she
just
was.
Xenomorph.
Oh, either
Okay,
way.
what's our final declaration, guys? Do we think iconic horror? or do
I'm
we think
going
real
to say
thriller?
iconic horror. That's my vote.
That's
I
one
want to
vote.
say
I'm
iconic.
gonna have to agree with Hedgehog and say
I
that
think it's a real thriller.
he's probably
Real
put
thriller.
it lower because he's a fucking
Yep, so
bastard.
that's 2 for
I
real thriller.
want to say iconic, but I think I think he doesn't care enough about being crucified by the fans.
Yeah.
That is a
Two.
good assumption to work off of. I will tell you that.
I
So-
think Drag0n would put it in iconic horror, but he's just enough of a bastard to put it in real thriller.
Okay, so we have 3 for that. I
That's
think
4 for real thriller.
That's 4 if we count CLaUD.
Yeah.
Okay, I think.
So no, it's
Grayman,
overwhelming
Madam?
majority for a real
Yeah.
thriller.
Okay, yeah,
what the Sigma?
what the Sigma, dude?
Okay, we're going through real thriller.
Yep.
All right, Drag0n.
You guys are sinners. That's S tier shit.
Ah,
baby. That's
shit!
iconic.
Fuck, I
knew
psyched
it!
everyone
You
out.
all are
Fuck.
fools!
Fuck.
Come on, that's one of the
Knew
it.
greatest movies of all time. What are you
Fuck.
talking
Thank you.
about?
Fuck.
Dude.
Obviously, it's
Why-
iconic horror.
What the fuck,
why
guys?
did you
Fuck.
fucking
Got
think
you.
it was
Fuck.
a
Hedgehog,
fucking
false
thought?
prophet.
I overthought
Hedgehog,
it.
false
I overthought
prophet.
it.
That's why I put it in there.
overthought
I
it.
knew she would
I
overthink
overthought
it.
it. Fuck.
These guys make fun of me for sticking by my ideals.
Okay, so we have agreed Hedgehog is the false prophet. We don't listen to her.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Hey,
you're gonna want to listen
I
to me
just
for
needed
most
to
of
get
this
one
list.
in there because of how bad I flopped the other time we did this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What these are gonna prove is that neither of us know each other very well at all.
Were you?
Were you? Okay.
American Psycho.
I was gonna say American Psycho. I know this one is S tier for him.
I mean, Patrick
Oh,
Bateman is
obviously.
literally me.
Viceman, no.
Literally me.
Viceman, no.
literally.
Madam, no.
For real?
No. Okay, are we in agreement with this one?
You're right. Wendy isn't here. We can't say
Yeah,
that.
we can't say it's literally me. Wendy isn't here.
I mean, I think American Psycho is a very like Drag0n film. I think he would like it a
What
lot.
is-
Hello, Caroline.
What is
Hello,
Drag0n's
Caroline.
opinion on Huey Lewis in the News?
Yeah, that is the question.
I will not give out handouts.
Damn.
Well, I mean, if you want my opinion, I think the early work was a little new wave for my taste, but I'm not gonna go through the whole thing.
Okay, so we're saying iconic horror.
S tier.
Yes.
S tier, okay.
S
Dragon?
tier.
Man, this is getting easier and easier. That is a real thriller.
What? Are you
Wow.
You guys suck at this.
the hell?
I think
You didn't
even
speak
say
up.
anything.
I think it's a fantastic horror movie, but like when I'm thinking of like my all-time horror favorites,
That's
it's
fair.
right outside that
Wow.
list.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought this might be your favorite. movie,
I
to be
feel like
honest with
I'm
you.
starting to
Yeah.
understand
It's up
Drag0n
there.
now because I would have put that in a real thriller and I would have put Alien in iconic horror. So I feel like I'm starting to understand. it now.
Grayman's fucking figuring me out.
Jeez.
No, yeah,
Jeez.
it's really close. Like
Grayman,
I
fuck
actually I think this was the longest one I deliberated on. The rest of them I could place relatively easily, but this one I was going back and forth between iconic and real
can't
thriller.
believe it.
I
I
ended
can't
up
believe
deciding that if every single horror movie was on a list, it just couldn't be tiered with the rest of my favorites. So that's why.
What?
Can't
So you're
believe
saying
it.
it's like A+ tier? Is what you're
Yes,
saying?
I would. If there was a tier in between the two, I'd throw it there.
It is the gatekeeper of iconic horror.
Can't believe it.
Yep.
If you can beat American Psycho, you
Yes,
make it
that's
to
actually
iconic
exactly
horror.
how I feel about it.
Here's the real question: how do you feel about American Psycho 2, Drag0n?
I've never seen it.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
I mean, but
Not
if
a
it was
real
that,
movie.
if it was iconic enough horror, you know, there should be a. Where's American
Where's
Psycho?
American
2?
Psycho 2?
True.
Okay.
So far, my tongue is resting.
I know,
pretty easy, fellas.
jeez. Fuck, man. Okay, Army of Darkness. This one's hard
Is
for
this
me.
So this is not
yeah.
Evil Dead.
No,
This
this
is
is not
Army
Evil Dead.
of
This is
Darkness
specifically
specifically.
Army of Darkness.
Right.
This one's hard for me because I personally like Evil Dead 2 better, but I don't know what Drag0n thinks.
This is the one Evil
So-
Dead movie I didn't watch with you, which is why I picked it.
Yeah.
Army of Darkness is the one where he goes back in time.
Yes,
right?
Army of Darkness is This Is My Boomstick.
Yeah.
It's the
Goodbye,
it's
Gabriel.
the
Thanks for stopping
sequel
by.
that they had to make the remake to be able to make
Pretty much, yeah.
because they lost the rights to the original film.
Even though Evil Dead 2 is the best thing ever.
Yes.
Evil Dead 2 is quite good.
Because if it was my list, I'd put Army of Darkness probably only on. I'd struggle between a real thriller or kind of spooky, but I don't know what Drag0n thinks about it.
I think he puts it in a real thriller, because
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite Evil
gets-
Dead 2.
It gets a lot
Uh,
of points for the like Jason and the Argonauts stop motion skeletons.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Guys,
those are
interesting.
iconic.
Yeah, I think
I love stop motion skeletons.
it probably is a real thriller.
I think it's not I think you're right, it's definitely not as good as Evil Dead 2. But it is pretty good still.
I'm just worried that
I'm
like
gonna say
because
kinda
Drag0n has
spooky.
never like really told me his opinions on Army of Dead versus Evil Dead 2.
I've been just
Kinda
prepping for this
spooky.
moment.
Army of Dead.
Okay, so we have Aedrah and Madam both said kind of spooky.
Yes.
Is that what happened? Okay. I think a real thriller. CLaUD thinks a real thriller.
I will back you up on a real thriller.
Okay.
What about you, Grayman?
Grayman?
Oh, knowledgeable
Man, I think you have
one.
to decide
Dude,
you guys-
I've never seen this movie. I don't know what the fuck he thinks about it. I don't know what I think about it. Dude.
I also have not
Grayman,
seen it,
Grayman,
but I have seen. The
I have
first
not
two.
seen any of these movies, so just
Oh,
none of
yes.
them?
None
Okay,
of them.
I don't know, man. Kind of spooky.
Okay, that means we're tied.
All right.
Want someone's
Let me
gotta
try to like.
Tiebreaker.
What?
Chat tiebreaker?
Chat tiebreaker?
Drag0n's here.
Okay, chat tiebreaker. What's
No,
the
just
chat
say
thing?
Dragon tiebreaker?
No!
Yeah, Dragon. Which one do you think it is?
Yeah, I think it's left me feeling out.
Yeah, uh-huh. Alright, what does the chat say? What does the chat say?
Chat, hear me out, right? This is Dragon we're talking about. He's a gentleman who loves his boomsticks. I think it would be a real thriller.
I can't wait for chat to just not say anything now that we're waiting for them.
Cat has no
That would be
opinion.
really funny.
Magils is iconic horror.
Gerbil says iconic horror.
Yeah, but we need a tiebreaker for our votes, not for the other ones.
Yeah, so no, but
I see a real
iconic
thriller in
horror-
there.
Yeah, thanks, Miceman.
Yeah, thanks. Wesley.
Yeah, I see real thriller there.
Wow, Gerbil thinks most of these are really bad. Wow.
They are.
Yeah, but Gerbil has bad
old.
opinions.
Okay, but
Yeah, but
old
Gerbil-
horror movies
Gerbil
are
can't
bad.
anything.
That's why they're so
Gerbil-
good.
That's true.
Most of these are pretty good.
Wait, guys, did you catch on to
What
that?
are you
Dude, this guy
talking
probably
about?
likes really
Also, why
shitty
is
movies.
Child's Play not? Oh no, it isn't here. Okay,
isn't
thank
here.
God.
It is
What
there.
are you talking about?
It
I was
is
about to
here.
get real
Miceman,
mad.
give me some credit.
You should have put
Uh,
Child's Play 3 in
Okay.
here.
I was
Okay,
thinking
chat
about
is-
doing like Child's Play like 6.
All right, chat has failed us. Chat has failed us.
Well, one of you's got to change.
Um,
All right, I'll change.
are we
Well, I
going to a
don't
real
wanna.
thriller then?
Pod is currently changing.
Okay, we're going to a
Yes.
real thriller.
So it was between a real
Yeah.
thriller and kind of
Yeah,
spooky.
kind of spooky.
Well, don't worry because you guys would have got it wrong either way.
You
If
put
it
an
was
iconic horror.
If it was
horror?
put
objective
an iconic-
fact, it would be iconic horror, but it is my enjoyment, so it was scarily bad.
Really?
What?
I-
You didn't like Army
Wow.
of Darkness?
It's my least favorite Evil Dead property.
Wow.
No
No.
way.
It has a
Like,
lot
Okay,
of
there's
great
the
moments.
first fairly bad.
There is the upset I have been waiting
Wow. Gerbil's blocking you on
Does-
Discord.
Does
I-
that include the show?
for. Yes, it does.
The chat
Okay,
is
so
going
you did see
wild.
the show.
I did see the show.
Show's good.
Show's
Listen,
good.
I like it. I just didn't love it nearly as much as really anything that's on this list.
Okay.
Wait, okay, so
damn.
there we go. Army of Darkness is our like bottom line.
Yeah, our
You didn't love it
is
as
like
much
our
as the
bottom
rest.
line. Yeah. Thought he was gonna say it left me feeling Halloween because he said it earlier as a joke. It's true.
You know, I was thinking about just saying scarily bad because no one would believe me, but on the off chance they go, well, let's just believe him. I didn't want to take a hot shot.
So you would put this at scarily bad. I can't believe that.
Well, I also had to make some
Okay.
decisions to fill the list out.
Something
let's be
has to be on the bottom.
Yeah,
yeah,
something's
yeah,
got to
yeah.
be in the bottom. Okay.
I guess.
Okay. The Babadook.
Dude,
Gay
what?
icon,
Now,
Claude, what do you think?
Now, yeah,
Yeah,
so I
honestly,
was
gay
We
gonna
defer to
say,
CLaUD. We defer
Yeah,
to
we
CLaUD.
refer to Claude.
This bitch is a fucking like absolute mark for analog horror. Let's not
not
get it
rated.
twisted. Drag0n does absolutely like analog horror.
Okay,
Does he?
so like,
I mean, I'm
He
aware
makes
that
fun of it a lot.
he likes shit in the same wheelhouse, is what I mean.
Okay.
What CLaUD is trying to
And-
say is I'm a FNAF fan.
Yes.
Exactly. And this is like what's the word? Like a full budget film in that style.
Gerbil says if it's a gay icon and Drag0n expresses any fear towards it, Drag0n is canonically homophobic.
That is true. I can
Fuck.
say that is true.
So true. So true.
This
So
screen
by
is now called
default, it has
Drag0n
to be
gets
iconic.
canceled.
Question mark, question
Oh,
mark, question
Drag0n,
mark.
you've been canceled. Don't pretend you
Oh,
haven't been.
no.
So Drag0n, did you put it in iconic or are you getting crucified?
Well, if it's iconic, that means I'm afraid of it, right? So
Yeah.
actually, it should be in
So it should be
scarily
in
means
bad.
you really
scarily
like it.
bad.
But then am I saying that that gay icons are scarily bad, because now I think I'm fucking
Exactly.
anyway. you know?
Yeah, I think you're fucking.
Exactly. Like I said,
Just to
you've
put it
been
right in the
canceled.
middle, it's kind of spooky.
Well, if I say left me feeling hollow, does that make me gay?
Okay, so
This
here's
is
We're getting into
stupid.
the weeds here.
so here's my thoughts. I know Dragon at least liked it because we had a long conversation about it once it was done, and most of the things we were talking about were things that it did well that we liked. Which means he liked it. However, he
I
doesn't.
don't think he loved it.
I was gonna say he
no.
doesn't often like the artsy ones as much as I do. So I don't think
Speaking
it's
of-
like iconic for sure.
Yeah, didn't we talk about how much he like hated Skinamarink or something, or was that?
Oh,
no?
no,
Yeah, I was gonna
no,
say,
that's
why isn't
no.
Skinamarink in
Because
here?
he
I haven't
hasn't
seen it.
yet.
When she's skinna on by Nina to like Rink.
Oh, God.
Okay, then I think this might be kind of spooky then.
I think
I
so
fucking
too.
hated Skinamarink.
I think so too. Is anybody in
The
disagree
reason
with
I'm not
that?
talking about this, by the way, I have not
No.
seen the Babadook, so I can't comment on it.
I've
only
never
seen
seen this
some
movie
of it.
either.
I will say Skinamarink is on our
I'll-
list
I'll
this
take
year,
that.
so that I
Yes.
can actually form an
Beetlejuice.
opinion and talk
All right,
about you.
I'm
I'm
gonna-
so
Okay,
excited.
okay,
to hear
I'm gonna
Babadook,
pull- I'm gonna-
Dragon.
It is time for the first.
Yeah! We got it!
Finally,
Yeah.
Let me do
Go
the
ahead.
shot and then explain myself because that would be
Perfect.
funnier.
Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
I'm
yeah,
gonna,
so it'll be funny
I'm
if you
gonna,
have to talk while your mouth's on fire.
I'm gonna poison the well for you here, you guys. I fucking hated Skinamarink. It's the most
That's
boring
fair.
movie I've ever seen.
Dude, it was genuinely one of my favorite horror movies ever. Fuck you.
What are you talking
I
about?
love- I
I
love
also
the
enjoy
opinions.
watching paint dry.
Dude, it's immersive, alright? It's fucking scary.
Yeah,
Guys,
so
you know,
immersive I
you know
fell
what's gonna
asleep.
happen too is
though.
when we finally see it, Dragon and I are both gonna watch it. I'm gonna love it, and he's gonna hate it. You know this is what's gonna
I'm
happen.
I'm
Spies.
so excited to hear both your thoughts. Let me know.
This is
Okay.
exactly what I
Okay,
thought.
Dragon,
when
let's
I
take
was
us a
watching
shot.
this.
No,
This
give
is
me
up
1
his
sec.
alley.
This is the top is all clogged up and it's
Oh.
not actually
Oh.
pouring. So give me 1 sec to just
Okay.
declog it.
I'm just really glad to see that this list isn't full of found footage slop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the paranormal activity
Yeah,
movies.
actually,
There was a
I am
period where
I am
that's
surprised he didn't put Blair Witch on here, but you know.
I was gonna say, Blair Witch
fair.
is like the original
no, like
found
Blair
footage.
Witch is one of the good ones.
Mhm. Yeah, because I think you
Um,
can do found footage well. I mean, there's a whole fucking like most internet horror is technically found footage, but
It's been overdone.
As soon as paranormal activity happened, the
Yeah.
genre started being bad.
Everyone
I
jumped on
like
that.
the part in the Blair Witch when the guy stood in a corner.
Dude, I like the part where they go, "It's witching time."
Which
It's
witching time, and then they blared all over the place.
I liked the part in Paranormal Activity where all of the advertising material was crowds getting jump scared in the theaters and not the actual film.
Absolutely.
That was
This is the best part.
It's
I
it's
mean-
called
mean-
immersive cinema, CLaUD.
I like the
Miceman-
part of
now Miceman's
paranormal
talking about
activity
it.
where they made 6 of them and none of them were any good.
Hello, Arthur.
All right, I have a spoonful of hot
Hi,
sauce.
Arthur.
Okay. Take it.
I thought we were taking shots. Now he's
He
got
was
a
taking
spoon.
shots.
Why do I have a shot? Do I have a shot?
He's taking more than we thought he would.
I can just give you a shot glass.
I was gonna say, how do you not have a shot glass?
You live with Hedgehog. You can't answer.
Oh, he's dying. He's already dying.
He's already dying.
The
My
problem.
boy can't handle it.
The problem is that a spoon is just a lot easier to just consume it
That's
really
true.
fast in
That's
between things so I don't break the tension of the stream.
Okay, tell us about the Babadook.
Okay, shit. That's really hot. All right. So the reason it's in kind of spooky is because fuck.
Sounds like you're about to cry. It's really funny.
Yeah, no, it's ooh man, I'm really hoping you guys keep throwing. Okay.
Oh, I can't wait to listen back to this stream afterwards.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
well, I have bad news about the next one.
I was
I'm
gonna say,
almost
yeah, we
positive
all know
I
where that's
it goes.
going.
Man, this is gonna suck when I hated it. The Babadook is in B because it actually would have been an S tier movie for me, but there's one scene that makes it a B tier movie, and it's when they zoom in on a swirling spiral on his face
Tamaki?
for 2 minutes while he T-poses over the mom.
What do you mean? According to Grayman, that's absolute cinema.
I
Dude, fuck off, Miceman.
I actually loved Babadook. I thought it was really well told. My favorite scene in the movie is when the mom turns around in the car and goes, "Why can't you just be normal?" And the kid does the most amazing scream of all
Literally,
time.
it's been a meme in our household since we saw
I
it.
need to watch
I'm pretty
this
sure
movie.
that's just a meme.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been a meme
Oh
since
no,
the
but
film came out.
specifically we say it to each other all the time.
I
yeah.
love that.
They mean
scene
it. They independently
so much.
evolved. It's like convergent evolution.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Dude, remember those
when
dolls
the
or not?
moment they showed what the Babadook looks like, I immediately lost any fear factor in the Babadook, which had set itself up to be such a really good villain. And that's
Yeah,
why
dude,
I was
horror
kind
movies
of
tend to
spooky.
do that sometimes. It ruins it.
Yep.
Listen,
If
it's
they
'cause
didn't
people-
have that scene, it would have been iconic
It's
horror
because
immediately.
people don't
Wow.
like H.P. Lovecraft, so don't want to follow his advice.
It's true.
Lame.
Okay.
Lame. That was your lame.
Fantastic.
That's
Beetlejuice.
All of the horror
Yes.
greats have been.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is anybody
Iconic art.
is anybody not wanting to put an iconic horror?
Me?
Yeah, I thought
this
it
is
was
fine, for
left
sure.
me feeling hollow.
Okay, well, not
It's
for you, for
absolutely-
Drag0n.
Well, can I look? Can I
Oh,
express my opinions
shit.
on
Go ahead.
Beetlejuice?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Classic
sure.
iconic
Express
art.
your opinion,
I-
Miceman.
No.
I have never seen Beetlejuice up until like maybe a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And all my life, I've heard, "Oh my God, you got to see Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice!" And everyone was like,
Oh God.
it's an incredible film. It's so funny and great." And I watched it. And first of all, fucking Mr. Beetlejuice is barely in it.
Oh yeah.
And
That is
second
my
of
one
all,
complaint
it's
about Beetlejuice, I will say. Yeah.
second of all, it was not that
Honestly,
funny.
Wow, he didn't think it was funny. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think it was funny.
Well, I think
I
you're
feel
just
like that
too
speaks
internet
more about
PC,
you,
I was gonna
Miceman,
say.
than the movie.
I mean, Miceman, I do 100% agree with you, though. Beetlejuice should have been more present in
Yeah,
Beetlejuice.
for sure.
Yeah, he was like the movie's named after the guy. He's in there for like 10 minutes.
The movie is about
Like,
parents.
Okay.
It was,
Uh,
and I thought
sorry.
they were
Question.
stupid.
Sorry, what was that, Claude?
I was gonna say follow-up question. What is Drag0n's opinion on the musical?
Drag0n doesn't like
Narrowly
musicals.
bad.
Drag0n doesn't like
Damn.
musicals.
I don't like
It's hard to be
Okay,
wrong.
but I will recommend you look at a little bit of it just because Alex Brightman's performance as
Yeah,
Beetlejuice is
I was gonna
fucking
say,
amazing.
you
She
like-
showed me the
yeah.
opening song to it.
Yeah,
and
he's
I
seen
thought
the
it was
opening
kind of
song.
fun, but
Yeah.
I also know that I would watch the musical and just not like it, and I just don't want to put that
Also-
through myself.
Also, his voice can just do that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey guys, yeah, it's me,
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
That's
Hello.
exactly why Rocky Horror is
me,
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
It would be, Hedge would immediately know that it would go into F, and then I'd have to take a shot.
Yep.
So
That's awful. I
Um,
can't believe you'd say that.
Hello, Rose, and also no username. Hot take: nobody actually understood Lovecraft's advice, and the fact it was only meant to be applied to cosmic horror specifically. That's fair. I don't think that's actually the case, though. I think it can be applied to a lot of horror, actually. The fact that you're not, the fact that the less you see the thing, the more scary it is actually just
Like
pretty
the
general.
Babadook.
Like the Babadook, and like literally key
It's-
example right there.
it's
It's
like-
pretty genuinely good advice from most horror writers.
Dude, the
Yeah,
shark
you-
and
It's
dogs.
almost
Humans
like your
fear the
imagination will
unknown.
always be more scary.
But
You
again,
know what
I
was
think
way scarier until they showed the monster? A Quiet Place.
it's true.
Yeah.
Fair
And
But
then they
that's
were
actually
just, like,
why I think
Gangly
Alien
flesh men,
is
and I was
such a
like, oh, that's not that
is
scary.
such an S tier
What's wrong with
movie
Gangly
is
flesh men?
because with Alien, they only showed little glimpses, like it climbing into the thing with like its tail, that you saw like its face in shadow. The one time they showed the full body, you were like, oh, that's a guy in a suit. But like every time they just showed little clippets of it, and your brain had to kind of
Yeah.
fill in the gaps of what
Alien
this
is
thing looked
so
like.
yeah.
fucking good at building
Yeah.
tension. Like that chest
Yep.
burster scene is fucking
Yeah.
cinema.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, right. Beetlejuice, S tier. We all agree.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Drag0n film.
Damn, I don't know now. It might be in Real Thriller, guys.
I think it's S
No,
tier.
Drag0n.
I mean, his
Drag0n
comments
is a silly
on
boy. He loves
his comments
silly.
on Beetlejuice not being in it enough. Like, is that enough to dissuade you to put it down into Real Thriller?
No.
Like that's
No, I
the
think
No.
that's a
I
line.
Listen,
think
guys,
enjoyed it
guys,
so
don't
much
psych
he wished
yourselves
there
out.
was
It's
more
iconic
film.
horror.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, but Hedgehog, if you're wrong about this, we will label you as the actual
Yeah,
false prophet.
for sure. I'm
And then
willing.
you have to take a shot of hot
No.
of hot sauce.
No, but
Yes.
okay, Drag0n.
that-
Are we saying S?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just pouring my next.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
The comments, while I
Yeah.
do 100% believe them, they were to throw you off because I've watched Beetlejuice plenty of times.
Listen,
and
guys, I
it
know.
keeps getting funnier every time I see it.
Every goddamn time.
Yep. I knew he loves Beetlejuice to death, so yeah. no.
Exactly.
Oh God, it tastes.
I'm
awful.
sorry. I didn't think it was. Wow, look, we made them dance. Isn't that laugh? Do it now.
Hot ones. What do you
Listen, no, Miceman, listen. I can explain it to you, okay?
Oh, this sauce
Okay.
tastes
Winona
terrible.
Ryder.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
She was a child. No, I fucking who plays Beetlejuice? I always forget his name.
Oh, it's
Michael
fucking Michael
Keaton.
Keaton.
Thank
He's
you. I
Batman.
love him so much.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton is a fucking amazing
God, this-
actor.
They made them dance. I know someone else who can
What are
make
the
them dance.
ingredients?
Quick, Hedge, say the line.
Oh look, I can make the
No,
dance.
shut up, fuck off, dude. I'm out of here, dude.
No, I won't do that. Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he actually left.
German, let you start. He left.
I think
All
it's
right.
just because you're not supposed to eat it raw. I was like, maybe this would taste better on chicken or something. I don't know.
Maybe you should get a smaller spoon.
No.
Fuck you.
No.
No.
No, you should get a bigger spoon.
You're right.
Absolutely a bigger spoon.
Only a spoon.
Okay, your thoughts on Beetlejuice, Dragon?
Only a
Explain
spoon.
why it is absolute cinema.
Give him a second.
Wait, what'd you say?
Your thoughts on Beetlejuice?
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
No,
I think you should say more.
genuinely, I agree wholeheartedly with Miceman's criticisms. I think Beetlejuice should be in it more. I think the focus is put on the wrong people because the people that the movie focuses on are kind of boring. However, that puts it. I would have put it in Real Thriller, but Beetlejuice, just as a character, is so Drag0n coded. He is my he is my scrunkly little salesman, and that immediately throws it into S because I just love him. I love the voice. I love the getup. I love the bits. I literally, not the first time I saw Beetlejuice, but like back in high school when like Beetlejuice made its resurgence, me and a friend literally had our like. You know how you do a thing like when you pass each other in the hall and you'd be like, oh yeah, this is a thing that we like yell at each other. We'd both go, nice fucking model, and honk our crotches, you know what I mean? Like that's just,
Yeah,
That's
absolute
amazing.
cinema.
yeah, it's just Beetlejuice as a character is so iconic and so big for me that like it supersedes the problems I have with the movie for sure. Again,
Hey,
this is a
movie-
Drag0n like list and not an objective thought list, because if it was an objective thought list, it would be lower.
Sorry, what was that, Grayman?
Where is Beetlejuice on your
I-
Tumblr sexy man list?
On my Tumblr sexy man list? Oh, he's definitely a Tumblr sexy man for sure. There's a bunch of really
yeah.
hot art of Beetlejuice.
Oh, easily.
Easily. He's actually, in fact, he's one of the OGs for sure. Also,
You know, thinking about it, I feel like Beetlejuice is like the proto Bake.
Beetlejuice is
You know what? I kind of see it. Yeah.
No,
That's-
Beetlejuice. I would say Beetlejuice is the proto Spampton for sure.
I was just gonna say, Magil said he's your Spampton G Spampton, and I was gonna say, no, Spampton G Spampton is Drag0n Spampton G
That is,
Spampton.
oh god, I love Spampton.
I
so
mean, without Beetlejuice, we wouldn't have one of the best characters in Hell of a Boss.
That's true.
That's true.
Letty, you're
I
fucking
was
gay.
gonna say though that Beetlejuice is not proto Bake only for the reason that I've only seen Beetlejuice about 2 or 3 times in my entire life.
Yeah, but the vibes.
The vibes, maybe, I don't know. He's a little too, because he's not.
Bake's a little too pretty boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
for
Bake's kind of
Beetlejuice's,
much
like,
more of a pretty boy
gross,
than-
like
Bake
I'm
does
going
not
to-
give off enough of a used cars salesman.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, because Beetlejuice and Bake.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I feel like if
Beetlejuice and-
Bake walked up to you and grabbed your crotch, you'd immediately be into it. But like if Beetlejuice did it,
Oh
you'd
my
have to
God.
like be like,
You're going,
ah.
huh?
All HR.
Human resources?
HR.
Yeah, it's that meme. It's the
Oh my
hello,
God, it is
human
that meme.
resources meme.
Yeah,
Somebody make
Quick, someone make that meme.
please.
There you go.
Oh, I
Oh,
should-
beautiful.
I should have got
Drag0n.
tissues.
That's the thing, is Bake is what Beetlejuice thinks he is.
Yeah, okay,
Ah.
that's a great way of
Yeah.
saying it.
Okay, Birdemic.
Absolute
I
cinema.
was gonna
Wow,
say,
I
okay,
loved the ending of
listen.
Birdemic where they drive away.
I haven't seen this movie, so I
Oh,
don't.
boy.
But I know Drag0n really. The problem is Drag0n really, really likes this movie, but I don't know. Like he knows it's really, really bad.
don't know how
Gotta
much of it's a
be-
bit.
gotta
Yeah, I
be
don't know how much of
scarily
it is a
bad.
bit.
But I have seen
I don't know how
I have
much
seen
of it is a
Birdemic.
bit.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the bird.
No, this is not
Yeah.
the
No, this is
birds.
not the
This
birds,
is
my
Birdemic.
man. This is
Alfred-
Birdemic.
I'm thinking of Alfred Hitchcock's The
Birdemic
Birds.
is to horror
Alfred
movies
Hitchcock.
what
Alfred Hitchcock.
Birdemic is to horror movies what The Room is to regular movies.
Yes. So the question is, I don't know how much of it is ironic
They
or
have
not.
a $1,000 budget.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Caroline.
The
Maxwell, did you
fucking
not like the
gifts
ending of The
eagles
Birds?
As they just wave their hands in the air.
Oh,
It's
Caroline's
so
making the
fucking
meme for
funny.
Buck.
Caroline's making the meme, and
That's
Magil hates
excellent.
the birds.
Maxwell, when they drive away, just away from the birds. Did you not think that was incredible? That got me so good.
I still haven't seen that
So-
movie on
Guys,
YouTube.
I have an idea. What if we leave?
What
Okay,
if we just
okay.
left?
All right, what do we think of Birdemic, though, guys?
Birdemic is not the birds. It's very
Birdemic is
different.
not the birds.
Iconic.
Why is
horror.
the birds not on this list?
I feel like this is like a
Birdemic is so-
Sharknado kind of movie.
Because
I don't
it's-
know what
I was gonna say-
Drag0n thinks of
Because it's
bad movies
he
like that.
well he loves bad movies, but I don't know whether he's putting it on like just how much of a kick he gets out of it or like how much he actually likes it.
It could literally either be iconic horror or scarily bad.
Literally, it's one of the. I think he's probably actually putting in a real thriller, but it's probably either iconic or scarily bad. It just depends on how much
I
the
think
irony.
I
The
vote for
thing is,
scarily bad.
I would say on a list where like American Psycho and Beetlejuice are included as horror movies, quote unquote, I would say that this is mostly like his subjective enjoyment of the film more than
No,
how
it's
he actually
Well, yeah,
thinks.
that's not really what I
remember,
mean.
That's what I'm-
Army
that's
of
what I
Darkness
mean
wasn't
is I
scarily
think-
bad.
What I mean
I
more so,
think-
what I mean more so is that how much he's being genuine or how much he's doing it for the meme.
Carolyn,
I-
you do not unironically
I mean-
like the birds. Come on.
I like Hitchcock
I
movies too.
think- Ironic enjoyment is enjoyment in and of itself.
Yes, it is, but
I love
I
that we're
don't.
getting into psychology.
But I don't know
now.
whether he's counting that as he really liked it or whether he's not. Dragon, can you
Iconic
tell us whether
horror
you're
final
counting
vote.
it if you really really liked it or if you like it ironically?
Fuck you.
Okay. Okay.
You don't get shit from me.
Okay. All right.
I vote for
My
scarily
vote is
bad.
Iconic.
Guys, I think it's a coin toss. at this
Iconic.
point.
Okay, we have 2 for iconic. I'm gonna say scarily bad too, so we have 2 for
Two,
each.
two.
Iconic.
Iconic.
No username. I think the
Scarily
fact that we
bad.
haven't watched all the movie
Scarily
really
bad.
adds
Quit
to it.
tying us.
Yeah,
There's a
Grayman stopped
tie
telling us.
again.
Why? That's my opinion.
Okay,
you
then
know
I'll
what?
go to
That
iconic then. I'll go to iconic.
Okay.
But if I'm wrong, you
Yeah,
guys are
again,
fools.
'cause- yeah.
You guys are
You
fools.
guys are fools.
Yeah, it was scarily bad.
No, it
Fuck's
wasn't.
sake.
Can you
It wasn't.
believe
It was
these
a real
guys,
thriller,
Miceman?
wasn't it?
Can
So-
you fucking believe these guys?
This is my I threw in a couple freebies to take some hot sauces, so I get to get back at you guys by putting this in a tier above iconic horror called
That's
God
right.
Descended from Above and Delivered Unto Us a Miracle.
Yeah, so that we couldn't win that one. 'cause,
Such
yeah.
bullshit.
So I had to
So-
create an extra tier.
No username
I
is
knew
in here
it.
in the chat being like, you guys could see all the movies. Meanwhile, Drag0n's placing movies on tiers we don't even have.
But however, Drag0n placed this on the highest tier possible. We place this on the highest tier possible.
I think that means he should
Therefore,
take a shot.
he takes a shot.
I think that means he takes a shot.
God betrayed us.
I think he takes a shot.
I think God descended upon us.
I think he
delivered
takes
unto
a
us a
shot.
miracle.
I think he takes a shot.
I think that
Hey,
I
I
gave you
agree.
guys so many freebies that this was my freebie back.
Dragon, I have a gun.
You did not give us
Take a
freebies.
shot.
I
Fuck off.
definitely gave you
You
freebies,
did not
and
give us
also
Adam,
also
no.
Hedgehog just lied last stream,
I
so
did
I get
lie.
one lie.
I did not lie.
Drag0n, take your fucking hot sauce.
Also, no username. I have seen almost every single movie on this list. The only one I hadn't
Hello,
seen was
Fatal Error.
Birdemic.
That's it, I
That's
think.
it. I've seen every other movie on this list.
There is one
Hello,
thing.
Fatal Error.
Hello,
though.
Fatal Error. Welcome.
There is one thing. See, the problem is that you guys could have got this because my enjoyment of this is entirely in a meme, so you should have memed and put it in its own category.
Shut up. Take a tiny sip. Take a tiny sip.
You have to
Compromise.
take half
a
a
drop.
shot, yeah.
I'll lick the remnants off the spoon.
Okay.
Fine, whatever.
I got him, chat. Oh, it tastes awful.
Dude, I can see Dragon looking at the camera being like, I got him.
And then go, I got him, chat.
Me when I
I don't know how
lie.
that fucking works.
Me when I keep.
when I lie.
Okay, so how are we gonna get
God,
Drag0n back?
Okay,
Fired this
so
bird.
this is my one cheat. I will say, everything else is on this list. I promise you that.
Oh, is it now?
Yes, I'm making a solemn swear.
If it
Okay.
isn't
Scott Drag0n.
Drag0n, if it isn't, I will fly out there.
That's fine. I will have Hedge double check my work after the stream if you guys are so inclined. But I had to get one. This is a Drag0n tier list. There's got to be one rug pull. Come on.
Ugh, jeez.
Me when
It
he
keeps
lies.
getting funnier.
Yeah. If he lies, entire bottle. Okay, Child's Play.
Absolute
Iconic horror.
cinema.
Iconic horror. I
dis-
love.
Yeah, iconic horror. I
I
love
love
Chucky.
these
I love how much
But
of an
guys-
asshole he is.
Okay,
We're not
but
rating
Miceman,
the
this is
movie,
not
we're
what
rating
you're
Drag0n.
rating Drag0n.
I
And
know,
if
I know, I
Drag0n
know.
does not
I,
agree,
sorry,
then
I'm
he's
speaking
wrong.
as Drag0n. Okay, I'm not speaking as me, guys. I swear.
Okay, Miceman's against himself. If I was to, okay, again, my own bias might be getting into this is the problem because sometimes it's hard for me to separate my thoughts versus Drag0n's thoughts. If it was up to me, I would put it in kind of spooky. But
Okay, but that's you.
that's what I'm
You
saying.
think Child's Play is only kind of spooky?
I think that's what Drag0n's thoughts are on it, but I'm not 100% on that. So
No.
do
He
not.
100% would put
Putting-
this in iconic horror.
Putting my own. Oh, go ahead, Grayman.
Dude, what is that? Dude, this is a fucking classic, okay? This is a
Yeah,
fucking.
but this is about
like,
how much Drag0n liked it.
Exactly.
Listen,
Right.
you guys fucking talking about
Putting my
Yeah.
own biases aside, because I love Chucky. I think he is an absolutely incredible character.
This is
Iconic
objectively a
villain.
classic.
I think Drag0n would really like Child's Play. It's
do.
it's got
I think so
like a little
too.
dirty mouth little doll.
See,
It's got people being shoved out of windows.
It's kind of like Beetlejuice, but more violent.
He could have been lying to me, but we did talk about this one relatively recently, and he seemed a little less than like entirely enthusiastic about it.
Chat, this is the part
It's
where
gotta-
they realized that we've been talking about doing this stream for quite a while before, and I have just been systematically lying to
Oh
Hedge about
no!
my movies
Oh
this
yes,
entire
no.
time.
That's why I'm saying I don't take this
to
with a grain of
throw her
salt.
off.
That's why I say take this with a grain of salt.
Guys, I'm playing every trick I can to not drink the
You guys
shit
want to know what
hot
happened
sauce.
last time this happened? Dude, we were talking about aliens, and we were all going to say this is iconic horror, then Hedge was like, no, it's a real thriller. Okay?
All right, if you guys
No,
want to
this
say
is an iconic horror.
if you guys want to say iconic horror, then we'll do it. But if you're
Oh.
wrong, I
I
will
wish
eat
I-
all of you.
I wish this
Oh,
was
you
Child's
promise?
Play 2.
Yeah.
Because if it was Child's Play 2, I'd feel a lot more confident about this.
That's
But
fair.
it's Child's Play 1.
Okay, so what are our votes?
Say a real thriller, because I think Drag0n
Yeah, we're
likes
ranking the movies.
goofy horror villains, and Chucky is definitely up there.
Okay.
But I don't know if he loves it.
Okay. So CLaUD says a real thriller. I say kind of spooky.
I vote for real thriller, or I vote for iconic horror. Sorry.
Okay. So we have 3 for
Okay.
3 different tiers.
Dude, Chucky used to scare the shit out of me as a kid. Like, he traumatized me. That
I have a
fucking
Chucky
doll.
doll.
Grayman is
Story.
also
No.
for iconic horror, I take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real thriller.
Okay, we have 2 for real thriller, 2 for iconic horror. What does Madam say?
Dude, Mav's going to tie us.
Real thriller.
Real thriller?
Okay.
Real
we have
thriller.
3
Yeah,
for real
we
thriller.
go to
Thriller.
a three-way tie.
No, we have 3 for
I was
real
gonna say-
thriller.
Yeah, real
No,
thriller
if you
takes
said
it.
kind of spooky, it would have been a three-way tie.
I
Okay.
can't believe you guys got
Imagine.
that.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew it.
Holy
Great.
shit.
Miceman,
You don't
you
like
knocked
Chucky
the nail
because
on the
it
head.
doesn't
If this
like
was
it,
Child's
yeah.
Play 2, it would be S. But
Oh my god, Child Plays 2 is so,
so
good.
the reason that hold on, actually, I gotta take my shot. Before
Yeah, you
I
gotta take
explain
your shot
myself, 'cause it's
first.
funny
Yep.
that
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
content. Gotta throw for content.
I like the
It's
part
funny.
where Chucky gets a bunch of doll
Well,
limbs
I
attached to
genuinely
him.
didn't have faith in you guys on this one, so congrats.
I knew.
Hey, listen, it's because we balanced it out.
Oh,
I said
heart
too
of
low, a couple people said too high, so we evened out in the middle and it worked out for us.
Oh my god. The worst part is that it's not
Oh
even like
my
the
God.
worst part is that it's not even like insanely hot. It just tastes like ass.
This
Let me
shit
tell you
is
something,
so
Dragon. This
ass.
bottle of water is
bad.
real
Oh
nice.
yeah. Oh dude, should I take a
Um,
sip of his milk
I will.
just to spite
Yeah.
him?
Do it.
Yeah, I'm taking a sip.
Yes.
Okay, you
Drinking
get
his milk.
you get to do that because of the birdemic thing. Okay,
Of milk.
so
Yummy.
Child's Play is a great film. That's why it's in a real thriller. It's almost top tier. Chucky has so much room to grow from that movie because the iconic Chucky we all think about of him being a silly little swearing guy is not
Yeah.
actually that present in the first movie. He
Oh, yeah, I
is
saw him still, like,
he's
trying
just
to
an
show
angry
his character.
serial killer trapped in a doll's body, but he becomes this like cult leader asshole
Exactly.
cussing everyone out by the second movie and later.
Once he realizes he's immortal, he becomes an asshole.
Exactly.
This is like exactly what I was
Yeah,
saying.
you guys
Is
were
I
talking.
was
Yes.
like,
You guys were saying Beetlejuice is Bake. No, it's Chucky's Bake.
So
there you go.
with the reason I specifically picked the first Child's Play is because I thought that you guys were gonna go, yeah, it's Chucky, iconic horror, and you were gonna focus too much on Chucky and not the movie because Chucky is S
Dude, I
tier, but the
fell for
movie
his
is
fucking
S.
chicken
Yeah,
eater.
yeah, yeah, you
Yeah.
and Miceman
Definitely really iconic. But the
You-
first
I
movie
did.
was
I was
not
thinking
as
about
good.
Chucky. I wasn't thinking
You
about
fell
the
right
movie.
for my clever
Exactly.
ploy.
Because I'm thinking about it.
Clever
The like first half of the movie is very slow, which
It is, yeah.
I feel
which
the first movie is the closest to like an actual legit horror movie, though. The others
Yeah,
are like
No,
Like,
that,
it's-
and
it
that's
gets-
why
it
it's
becomes
real
comedy
thriller. I
horror.
actually really love Child's Play the movie. I really love it as a movie. But knowing that where Chucky goes, you can't put it in the top.
It's
It's
just
got
not
so
as
much
good.
room to grow.
yeah, exactly.
It's my precious
If it was a
little boy.
standalone film,
Gender
maybe.
fluid.
Gender fluid.
I got a gender fluid son.
I got it. My kid's non-binary. Really? Gender fluid.
I love the TV show.
He's in DVD. He is, and so is Tiffany as well.
All right, we're already 45 minutes in. We gotta get trucking, guys.
God.
I thought we had 3 hours.
We gotta get trucking. We've
Thank
only
you, no
gone through
username,
7.
for typing that correctly.
Gender fluid.
Okay.
Gender fluid.
The Conjuring 2.
I'm gonna put this in left me feeling hollow.
I was exactly
I
going to
agree.
say the
I
exact
can.
same thing.
Don't like The Conjuring. Yeah.
Can I just for the folks that don't remember the Conjuring franchise because that's understandable. This is
Because
the
it's
one
bad.
with the Crooked Man.
Yes, and Dragon, I know
Oh,
Dragon
that
really
clears it
likes
up.
the Crooked
God.
Man, but he appears in that movie for 2 minutes. For 2 minutes.
Yes, no username.
Only,
yes, the
I've
Crooked
only seen the first
yeah,
one.
I
It was
remember
kinda
not
boring to
liking
me.
this
gonna
one
say,
also.
For those who don't remember The Conjuring because it was bad,
Dragon has drunk more
Yeah, the
sauce.
Conjuring franchise is another one of those ones that I think are just overall trash.
And it just
I don't
feels
know how it
feels
got
bad because it was
3.
also based on the lives of 2 grifters too.
yeah.
You think it got 3? That's hilarious.
Did it not, or did it get like a weird spin-off or something?
Annabelle,
Didn't
the
it?
Annabelle
It got
movies?
the nun
It
movies.
has a whole universe.
Yeah, it has a
There's
whole
like
universe.
7 of them.
Yeah.
There's a
Oh, okay.
cinematic
No, I'm
universe
saying
that
like
spawned...
a numbered though. I think there's only a 3rd numbered one.
Well, I will say
like all
this
cinematic
beforehand
universes.
because I know that I didn't let this sway my vote of this movie. It did spawn The Nun, one of my least favorite horror movies of all time.
That's fair.
Okay, I'm gonna say left me feeling hollow, Ian.
I
Because
agree.
he likes the
Second
Crooked
that.
Man. He likes the Crooked Man,
Yeah.
but the Crooked Man's only in it for 2
I
minutes.
think
The
it
ol-
is
It's the only redeeming part of that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
the
Dragon.
highest. I think it's kind of spooky.
Hold on,
But
let me
I don't
explain
believe it can
why
be
I
any
put
higher
it
than
there after I take my hot sauce
Okay,
off.
yay!
Nice.
Yeah!
Hey, we're getting there.
It's that easy.
While he takes his shot,
Remember, guys,
favorite
if
part-
it's a
oh, yeah.
cinematic universe, it's probably not very good.
That's
Oh.
true.
I was gonna say my favorite part of Annabelle is the part where they had to make the Raggedy Ann doll a creepy porcelain doll to make it scary.
Yeah.
Dude, my favorite part of that movie was the credits.
God.
Madam, do you not like the Dark Universe, which had one movie in it?
There's so much saliva dripping down my face right now.
Oh, buddy.
So how many shots is this now? 4?
4.
Yeah, actually, I
Four.
should have been keeping track. That would have been funny.
I think it's 4.
It was 4,
Well,
right?
Pretty
we
sure
can
that's
start
4.
now, it's 4.
Wait, yeah, because
Okay.
it was Beetlejuice.
It should have been
We've got
5.
we've got
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
It was Child's Play.
Child's
It was
Play.
Beetlejuice,
Beetlejuice, Child's Play,
Beetlejuice.
Babadook,
Yeah.
and
I'll start keeping
Conjuring.
track. I'm a little bored now.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
We've got a 50-50 track record so far.
Conjuring is there. For entirely the reasons that you guys said. I
He's
love
turning
the
into
Crooked
Doug.
Man. I love the Crooked Man.
I love the Crooked Man.
No, that was like Donald Trump. Yeah, I love the Crooked Man. Okay, the Crooked Man. Okay.
Best
he was
man.
at my party the
very
other
crooked
day.
man.
I was
Nobody's
talking
more
to the
crooked
Crooked
than this
Man.
But the Crooked Man was an amazing part of that movie. It was actually going to get its own movie before The Nun came out. Fuck The Nun. I didn't let that sway my
If
vote
you
because it's about this
insist.
movie, but
Such a good man, such a strong man.
obviously it loses points for being based off of 2 assholes that put people through shit. It gains a lot of points for the Crooked Man because I think the entire Crooked Man sequence is like
Genuinely horrifying.
if that alone, if it was just that scene, it would be an iconic horror. I loved that
If
scene
it was
so
just
much.
a short film that was just that scene,
Yes,
yeah,
if
that's
it was
fair.
just that, I would put it in iconic horror. But it wasn't.
Like
the
Smile.
Nun came in and the Nun sucked. The ending was atrocious. The fucking rest of the movie was ass. And so the only reason it's not as scarily bad is because it has one of the most like peak moments in it. But the rest of it was dog shit. And I was so underwhelmed because so many people told me like, "Oh, you're gonna love this movie because of the Crooked Man," and the Crooked Man was in it for 4
Literally
fucking
4
minutes.
fucking minutes. so sad.
I have not seen anything of this movie except for the Crooked Man sequence.
Seen the Crooked Man sequence. Now I'm curious.
Yeah, I gotta watch this now.
It's
And I'm like, I like the Crooked Man sequence. It's very good.
Yeah, after the stream, we'll have to go through and watch some of the bits we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no interest in watching any of it.
You shouldn't.
No,
you shouldn't watch any more of it. Other than that,
No, no username. Yeah, we're gonna do like a national treasure, but for famous
There you
horror
go.
in real
we're gonna.
life.
If we all Naruto run at the museum, they can't shoot down all of us.
They can't shoot all of them.
Yeah, we all are really confident of this until we actually grab the Raggedy Ann doll, and just the person who got it drops dead.
Guys, I just-
Okay. Dead silence. Dead silence.
I want to say kind of spooky.
I don't actually know this movie.
I was
Okay,
gonna say,
so-
so
I
I
don't know it
picked
either.
I picked a couple that I figured some people might not know.
Don't worry,
for-
I've seen
to
this one.
My advantage. This movie is about a ventriloquist named Mary Shaw, who is like this
Right,
old
that's what this one
old
is.
movie or this old ventriloquist lady, who essentially got talked down to by this kid at one of her shows. So she killed the kid, turned him into a puppet. By the way, spoilers for all these movies. I think that should be pretty fucking
Yeah.
apparent.
Deals for fucking tons.
So yeah, and how she died was the town like essentially found her, and the family like hired a bunch of goons, and they killed her and ripped out her tongue so that she couldn't ventriloquist anymore. And then she her last wish was to be buried with her dolls and to become a doll. So then the whole movie follows that she's been systematically killing off everyone in the family or related to the goons, like through the bloodline, over time by making them scream so that she could rip their tongue out, and she like collects them.
Dude, dolls
Okay,
freak
It's
me
so
out.
also produced
it's-
by the guy that, or directed by the guy that directed the
Yeah,
Saw
it was
movies.
it was made
James
by the
Wan.
same guy that made Saw.
Oh.
Yep.
This is so it's a crossover between a Child's Play and that one Lovecraft story with the wizard in the basement,
Yes.
Yes.
And dude, Slappy from Goosebumps.
and Slappy as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
so
one-
we
what is it,
recently,
Specimen
so
4
we
for
both
Spooky?
recently watched this movie for the first time the other week. Drag0n knew he was doing this thing while we watched it, so I knew that I could not gauge any of his reactions accurately.
He sat there
Um,
stone-faced the whole time.
Yeah, he did. I have no idea how he
Sipping on hot
actually feels
sauce.
about this movie. All I can tell you is my impressions of this movie, which is that it was
What'd you
kind of
think?
spooky. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was alright. It was alright.
It was okay.
There's definitely have been better. There have definitely been worse. There were some pretty cool sequences in it. There's some pretty cool things, but like there were a lot of weird plot holes and stuff. Though Drag0n's favorite character is the police inspector that's just constantly
Oh yeah, by the way, there's a
for
beat
no
cop that
reason.
talks like he comes out of Seinfeld. It's
Yeah,
fucking great.
Yeah, he talks like he comes out of Seinfeld and he's constantly shaving. I don't know why.
He comes into the scene and the only line he delivers is just like, he looks at the puppet and goes, "How does your skin stay so smooth?" And he starts shaving.
What is this real or is this
No,
a bit?
No,
It's
this
real.
is 100% in.
real.
This is a scene in the movie.
real.
That's all his lines are delivered like it's in Seinfeld.
Yeah,
It's
uh-huh.
great.
But besides him, most of the characters are kind of boring. I think I'd say it's kind of spooky, but if anybody else has seen this movie, I'd like your opinions too. It's just me.
Has-
No username
has
says
anyone
the only
else
thing I
seen this
remember from
movie?
Dead Silence is the theme song because it
No.
was used in old Roblox horror maps and AMVs. Yeah, it is one of the most iconic horror songs of all time, which is
Cop,
big.
scarily bad.
I did actually see this movie like a long time ago. Like I was terrified of dolls when I was like younger. They fucking
I remember
scared
some of the
shit out of me.
promotional material, and that's about it.
So yeah, I don't really actually remember what I thought about the movie itself. I just remember being terrified of the fucking ventriloquist dummies and shit, and getting my tongue ripped out. Like, so I don't know.
Grayman, did you
Grab your
scream?
tongue.
Because if you scream, she's coming
Yeah,
for
she's
you.
coming for you.
Yeah, she's coming for you.
Guys, I've totally never screamed in my life, guys.
Okay, cool. All right, so is anybody opposed to putting it in kind of spooky and just hoping we're right?
No.
Yeah, sounds fair to me.
Okay.
I mean, it
No
could be a
username.
real thriller,
Yonkers? Isn't that the
but-
place where in
Probably
World
not.
War Z they get fucked up by zombies?
I have no idea.
So it's an iconic horror.
it's
Or
kind of spooky.
sorry, it's kind of
It's
spooky. I was
definitely
looking
kind
at
of
chat.
spooky.
You guys were really close.
Ah.
The plot
I
holes,
knew-
the plot holes were just a little too much for me. It's in left me feeling hollow.
Ah.
Okay.
So
Damn.
let me explain. So
I know, Caroline. I'm
one
just
of the
playing.
so the movie starts with this couple, right? And they're in their apartment, and suddenly they get a package. The package contains one of these dolls, and they look at this ventriloquist doll, and they go, "Man, this reminds me of that horror thing about Mary Shaw from our childhood."
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
like,
Dude.
the entire movie starts off with
Ooh, we're
the
in for a good
biggest
one.
leap in logic of all time, and I'm just like for the rest of the movie, no matter how much I enjoyed it, I couldn't stop thinking about how none of this would have happened if they thought like rational people. However, the cop though is great. I love the cop so much.
Yeah, Thorns.
And there's a scene where Mary Shaw comes out at the end, and her tongue is this long tongue made of all of the like tied together tongues of everyone she's ever killed, and I thought that was
Oh,
a
that's
great scene.
awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the liquor.
Yeah, she
I-
is
I-
essentially like a liquor. It's crazy. But
I
like,
missed it.
Whoa,
What
whoa,
did you
whoa!
say?
It's Licka.
oh my bad,
Oh,
my
sorry.
bad. But yeah, no, the movie was fine. The plot holes were just a little much. There was a lot of things that like for example, the kid steals the doll and goes to bury it back in his hometown. The cop finds him, takes the doll, puts it in his motel room next door, leaves the next day, but leaves his door unlocked with the doll in it. So the kid just walks into the room, takes the doll, and goes and buries it again. Like, it's like, well, why didn't you just lock your door? Or why didn't you just take the doll with you? So there was a lot of things that, like, I think they couldn't figure out how to make things happen, so they just made it happen. And I just couldn't get past those things a lot of the time.
So what? Sorry, where did you put it? I had to get up.
Left me feeling hollow.
Here, give me just
That's
1
fair.
second, guys.
Damn.
Dude, what the fuck is going on outside my room? I'd be hearing shit.
I wish I could comment on that Dragon, but I have not seen it.
Yeah, no clue.
Dragon,
It
I'm
just
gonna
I
send-
only
get
watched
up-
it.
Dragon, I'm gonna send you a little
has to
text
get up to
message
fight
here.
beasts.
I think I know what it is already.
I'm back.
Hedgehog, I sent you a message.
I can't look at it right now, but I think
Okay.
the issue's
Alright.
dealt with. It's all good.
Look at it on your phone. Anyway.
I don't have my phone.
No
Alright, thank
phone.
you.
Yes. Okay. So, right. Let's move on to Eraserhead. So,
I
who here has
mean,
actually
it-
seen Eraserhead?
I have seen Eraserhead.
The best part of that movie.
I think my favorite part of Eraserhead was when the radiator woman's cheeks exploded.
Jeez.
I've only seen some of
Ew!
Eraserhead,
Oh,
actually.
ew!
That's
This
the
is
one movie.
nasty. Ew! I saw the cheeks, dude.
So again, this is an artsy horror movie. It is a David Lynch movie, and Drag0n really likes David
Is
Lynch.
David Lynch.
I know Drag0n really likes David Lynch. I don't think it's iconic horror because it is very odd and esoteric. But
It's a weird movie for sure. I had to like look up an explanation
We
for
did
it
too,
at the
yeah.
end.
we did too. But I think he does quite like it. So I would say a real thriller, but I could be persuaded down to kind of spooky.
I can imagine Drag0n watching this and feeling kind of hollow.
Yeah,
I've never
I
seen this
mean-
movie in my
No, I
life.
mean,
but-
have you
No,
seen
he
it?
liked it. He liked it for sure. He liked it for sure. We saw this a couple years ago, so this wasn't he wasn't lying to me back then. He liked it a lot. I know.
Why does the little
Drag0n
creature dude look like a meme?
Yeah, Dragon, what did you think of The Child?
Yeah.
You get no handouts.
He loves the child. We've been literally quoting the child for years. We've been playing through the third Danganronpa game, and whenever Kurikyo laughs, we do the child noise. Okay.
I want to say something about it, but I can't think of anything to say.
It's
I like the part where
weird.
he's on an asteroid moon thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Bang your mom pop.
I
Okay, anyways.
I think it's kind of. I think he would put it in a real thriller.
I think he
'cause,
would too.
yeah,
Really?
yeah, I think he would too.
Okay, I'm thinking kind of spooky, but you
I was
know,
also thinking kind of spooky.
So we have 2 and 2.
So it's 2-2.
it's a film that definitely's. Jesus Christ. I like the part where they go eat at the dinner table, and the woman just starts crying. And then the father's just like, and then they get the chicken and they put it in the like the sink or the microwave
Yeah,
or something.
they do something
It just
weird
becomes
with it.
huge.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this movie?
It's a David Lynch
It's a
movie,
weird
man.
one.
It's a David Lynch movie. It's David Lynch at
Like,
his most
I-
David Lynchiest.
I would not
Okay.
consider
At
it
his most
iconic
Lynchian,
horror.
one might say.
Yes. This
I
here is
enjoyed the
a
part where he-
donut. Okay, so we have sorry, Miceman, continue.
Well, I'm just like naming things that happen in the movie. Like, I'm trying to think of how Drag0n would react to this, right? Because I know Drag0n likes his weirdo, not so much artsy stuff, but like weird esoteric shit.
Yeah.
Wait,
And-
I don't think he likes it quite as much as me,
Weird.
but I know he likes it.
Yeah, but I don't think he'd like it enough to put it in iconic
No,
horror,
definitely
so
not.
that's why I think it's probably a real thriller. I don't think he would dislike it enough to put it in kind of spooky.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Unless
Drag0n,
there's
how do you
some
feel about
specific
Twin
part.
Peaks.
Twin Peaks,
Yeah.
no freebies.
I will tell you,
No,
he thinks it's an
more like
iconic. He
Twin
would, if
Peaks.
Twin Peaks was on this, he'd put it in iconic horror.
Mm-hmm.
More like Twin Peak.
All right, so 4 of us have voted.
Anyway.
Who has not?
Yeah, it's a tie between what?
I haven't
what are the
haven't
real
voted.
thriller.
A real
I have
thriller
no
and kind of
fucking
spooky.
clue.
Real thriller and kind of spooky
Yeah.
are the 2 and 2. Okay.
Mhm.
I want to be a tiebreaker.
Well,
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 then
no,
vote
we need
now.
we need one more vote
we need one
too,
more vote.
because
Yep.
there's 6 people and 4 votes.
Yep. Yeah, Aedrah and Madam haven't voted yet.
Come on, guys.
Oh, I know what I'm thinking of. The guy doesn't stomp on the baby. It's the radiator woman stomps on a bunch of oversized sperm. That's
they
what I'm
stomp
thinking
on
of.
of.
they stomp on babies.
It's not on
No.
sperm.
They stomp on sperm.
Mhm.
And then
the
she's like,
fuck is
"Oops,
this
did I
movie?"
do that?"
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I do that?
Yes. Yes.
On what? You heard me, Joe.
I guess I'll say real thriller.
Okay.
So
Aedrah?
it's if Aedrah doesn't think it's real thriller, or if
Somebody's
Aedrah thinks
gotta
it's
change.
kind of spooky, it's a tie.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's real thriller.
Real thriller.
Okay. We're going through real thriller. Let's see what Drag0n said.
So I knew this one was gonna be an upset because I do love my David Lynch and I do love my esoteric bullshit.
Okay,
It's
so I was
hollow,
right.
Left me
isn't it?
feeling hollow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was right.
Say
I was
that.
fucking right, guys. I was fucking right.
Yeah, Grayman, you should have listened to Grayman. Grayman
Ah.
had
So
me
read that.
pinned. Because, okay, I love the baby. The baby is the best part of that whole movie. I love the silly little lizard king that goes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, listen, anyone who
however-
hasn't seen this movie should see this movie.
However,
though.
and no, listen. Here's the thing. There's a lot I didn't like about this movie, but there's a lot I liked about this movie, which kind of put it in kind of spooky for me. However, compared to every other movie on this list, I just didn't feel strongly enough about it to lump it in with like more positive stuff, because for me that movie was good because it made me feel bad. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But when it came to enjoyment, I think it's a lot lower than a lot of these other things.
Okay.
So on a different list,
art.
on a different
That's
list, it
fair.
would have been higher. But yeah, it was also slightly too artsy for me, which is where some of my
Man, you
problems
hate
come in.
Skinamarink.
Drag0n doesn't seem to
Yeah,
However,
because Skinamarink sucked ass.
I
That movie's
love
art, all right?
I love the baby. The baby is the only reason I didn't throw it in Scarily Bad.
Wow.
No, that's not true.
Wow.
That's entirely not true. I really liked that.
What about the scene where he becomes an Eraserhead?
Yeah.
No, literally, the
Wait,
baby.
does he erase anyone's
That's
head?
not even a
No.
joke.
No,
He does
his head
become an
becomes a pencil
Eraserhead.
eraser.
His head does become a pencil eraser. Yes.
No, the scene where it's the baby, and then there's the scene like Miceman said where they're eating at the table and then the woman just starts crying is peak.
Yep.
It's so funny.
But there's also my favorite scene in the whole movie, which is the laughing that I was doing before, is he gets really attracted to his neighbor, so they try to have a fling, but the whole time the baby's crying and the neighbor gets really turned off, so she leaves. So the next time they see each other in the hall, he tries to make like a sexual advance towards her, and she just kind of slightly grimaces and closes her door, and then behind him you just hear the baby going
Dude, this movie is crazy.
Yeah. No. It's,
and
it's fucking
it's
nuts,
this
man.
movie
I
is
love
about
this movie.
fearing being a father, and since I fear being a father, that's why I had to put it so low.
I see. Okay. You know what? I should have thought of that.
Should
Bruh.
it speak to you and thus become iconic horror in that way?
Okay.
No, but he didn't enjoy it because it was too real.
The easiest way to lose me is if I don't know what's going on.
That's true.
In a movie.
That's true. That's true.
No username. No, the problem. Well, that is one of the many problems with Skinamarink.
That's the fucking point. That's the point.
But you know what the other problem with Skinamarink is they commit to this stupid long bit.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I thought Miceman was gonna say the other thing that's bad about Skinamarink is that it sucks.
Don't worry, Grayman. Inevitably, I will see it. Inevitably, I will like it, and we can talk about it
Like,
together.
first of all, they act like, oh, look, aren't we such high art? We love committing to staring at a ceiling.
Oh,
for
look
5
at us!
minutes.
We're Skinamarink. We're gonna run into walls.
And then they throw in 2 jump scares, like basic bitches.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
Skinamarink is not on this list, though, so let's continue. With The Exorcist.
Iconic horror.
Hold on, guys.
Scarily bad.
I was gonna say, hold on, guys, though. Before you get too jumpy about it, Drag0n doesn't like religious horror.
I was gonna say,
I
I
can
cannot
tell you right
imagine
now,
Drag0n liking
Drag0n
religious
does
horror.
not like religious horror.
That's why he's.
It is a very iconic movie.
What the fuck?
No, listen, I agree with you entirely, Grayman. I would put it in iconic cinema. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I don't think it's Drag0n's favorite movie ever, by a long shot. I think
Drag0n hates religious
It's
horror.
so fucking scary,
I think,
dude. That shit kept me up at night.
Drag0n, do you want to explain why you don't like religious horror?
No freebies yet.
Okay.
Yes.
At most, because of its iconicness and because it is just genuinely a good movie, I would put it in kind of spooky. But
I was gonna agree with that. Now that you said he doesn't like religious stuff.
yeah.
I know Drag0n hates religious stuff because he's approached me and he's been like, "Hey man, your red site stories, fucking terrible."
Wait, Miceman, there's religious imagery in Red State.
There
Stories?
is?
I didn't even know.
What?
Wait, what about the religious horror in Edie Valley? Or
Chat, I guess you'll have to go read Red Site Stories in order to determine if this is a bit or
Is
not.
this a bit or not?
Is there actually religious horror, or is my friend just fucking with you?
The answer might surprise you.
Never know.
Okay, so me and CLaUD say kind of spooky. What's everybody else's thoughts?
CLaUD didn't
I
say
can't-
anything.
No, that was
I
Matt.
can't-
Sorry, Matt.
I'm
and
mad.
I.
That's
I'm
fucked
so
up. That's
upset
fucked
over
up.
this
Sorry,
right now.
sorry,
That's fucked up, Ed Dog.
sorry. Anybody else have any thoughts though?
The Exorcist is the one where is that the one
Your
where
mother
she's like
sucks
having a
cocks in
devil baby?
hell. No,
No, that's Rosemary's Baby.
That's Rosemary's Baby. Thank
Oh.
you, Gerbil, for the link. No,
Is
that
that the
was
one-
really good
Is
too.
this
But
the one where the
Is
guy
that the
comes
one-
and exercises?
The Exorcist is one where the little girl is infested by Pazuzu the demon, and she's like spitting up green bile on the bed for half the movie and going, "Your mother sucks cocks in
He
hell."
fucking breaks her spine and crawls down the stairs like a spider.
Dude, I adore The Exorcist, but I don't think Drag0n does.
It's the young priest and the old priest.
Yes.
That movie.
That's the one with the lipstick demon, right?
Dude, that's the one with the guy that gets thrown out the window.
Just gonna start naming other movies.
Yeah.
That's the one where they get trapped in a house by a
You know,
demon,
I
right?
knew Miceman was going to do this bit, but I did not predict it would
Oh,
be
yeah,
about The
Miceman.
Exorcist.
What is that movie?
Okay, does anybody have any else to say? We have 2 votes right now.
Dude, I want to say a real thriller at least, but
I feel like it would left me feeling Halloween.
A real thriller.
Dude,
Okay,
there's
so
no
we
way
have 2
you'd say
for
that
kinda
about
spooky. We have
Exorcist.
1 for a real thriller. We have 1 for left me feeling hollow. Any
Oh,
thoughts?
right. The Exorcist is the one where the little old lady shows up and then they have to pull the girl from the TV, right?
No.
Yes.
yes. And the clown is under the bed and he
Yeah, the
strangles the
clown is
boy.
under the
Okay,
bed. No, that's
currently-
an
No, The
poltergeist.
Exorcist is the one where they watch that videotape and then they have a weed.
Currently, kind of spooky is winning. Anybody
Kinda
else?
spooky.
Kind of spooky. Okay, that's 3 for kind of spooky.
Dude, it's more than kind of
We're
spooky.
gonna put it there. I know. Listen, I know, Grayman. It hurts me to put it here too, but we have to put it
Not
here.
what this is about.
Drag0n?
So you guys are agreeing on kind of spooky?
We are.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's left me feeling hollow, but that's my opinion.
But that's the agreement?
Yes.
Yeah.
So... the re-
Ah, we got it!
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna
Oh,
fucking
God, my
do
throat.
the Yoinky Splinky and
No,
with
hold
the
on,
mayonnaise.
hold on.
Let me explain.
I
I have
the
to
old
actually
man.
explain this one.
Oh, Exorcist is the one with the 2 guys in the lighthouse.
Because I kind of walked backward
Dude, this one
into
with the spiral obsession.
giving you guys a freebie on this. This is the
Yeah.
only religious horror movie that I love. I love this movie.
Oh yeah.
It's
oh yeah.
If the-
Victor, oh yeah.
I think that especially for oh god. Fuck, sorry, it's hitting. Okay.
Slapping things now. He's getting slappy.
So, for the time period the shit that they were able to do is so insanely
fair.
impressive.
That's fair.
The-
Oh, absolutely.
The fact that they were able to, in like almost a seamless shot, rotate a girl's head 180 degrees, like or 360 degrees, like
Yeah.
back in the day, that was like some of the early like
This was
animatronic
back
work
in
in
the 70s.
movies.
Yeah.
That
Oh, yeah.
being
It was a
said,
73 movie, I
there
think.
is one thing about that movie that because I originally actually had it in a real thriller, and then I moved it down one because I remembered a kind of sad fact
Is it
about that
because
movie.
it's 2 hours long?
No. I mean, yeah, that did hinder my enjoyment of it a little bit, but
That's fair.
it's
People are
because
insane. A little long.
the actors on that movie were not treated very well.
What?
How they made that movie was they built a room out of like layers of fiberglass, and they kept it like negative degrees in there so that you could see their breath and the room would feel cold. That was all real. The little girl that was in that bed was treated really nicely. They didn't involve the kid. However,
yeah.
like,
I
do
do
you
know
remember
that,
the
yeah.
iconic scene where the lady gets flung against the windowsill and then she does that like blood-curdling scream?
Yeah.
That scream was
Yeah.
real because she kept saying, when the belt pulls me back, it's pulling too hard. And it pulled her too hard, and she actually slammed her head against that windowsill, and she screamed in
Oh
pain.
my
That's why it's so
God.
genuine.
Oh, jeez.
That's
And
very
the-
The Shining.
The creator or the director would shoot guns on set to scare the actors to make genuine jumps and stuff like that. They all
God.
say, all of the actors, I don't let it sway my opinion too much because all of the actors say that now that they're out of the moment, it was so worth it because the movie's a masterpiece, and they were all like, yeah, looking back on it, I'm really okay with it. Like, none of them are traumatized or anything. But there is a line one has to cross when creating good art, or when line has to cross when creating good art, but there's also a line that you can't cross, and I feel like when people start actually getting hurt on set, almost on purpose, I don't like that. So it bumped it down one for me. That's the main reason for me, is that made me a little upset when I found out about it. But as a movie and my enjoyment of it, it's one of the only religious horrors that has genuinely actually scared me, and also I really enjoyed. So now that it's a little downtrodden, I do want to give Exorcist its props though, because it's a fucking incredible movie.
Okay.
And I'm glad that all of the actors and actresses are, so I can't talk. All of the actors and actresses, including the
why.
child, are all unscathed from that movie because while it sucks, their genuine reactions and what they went through to make that movie makes it so real. You know what I mean? Like that's one of those
Now-
movies where it's such an unreal thing is happening, and yet it feels like you're just watching it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
For sure.
So
Now, how do you feel about The Exorcist Believer?
that movie sucks.
I do agree. I think most religious horror is bad.
I really like a lot of religious horror, but that's just me. I grew up going to a Catholic preschool, so that kind of.
That's
I
the
think
thing,
most
is
religious
so
horror
much-
is bad for a different reason than CLaUD.
I think
What?
so much religious horror just like is just like, oh, Catholics, be afraid of the devil.
Oh,
Like,
Catholics.
not- you know what I mean, though. Like,
Whoa.
Religion itself kind of
Catholic.
scares
I'm
me.
like most Japanese creators. I just like the aesthetics.
yeah.
Me when I watch Neon Genesis
It's
Evangelion.
true.
No,
Uh,
for me,
What
with
does religious stuff mean?
with
Meanwhile, the creator. I don't know, I just like it.
yeah, I didn't study it. No,
Yeah.
and what I loved about The Exorcist 2 was that they set up the movie with, while the beginning was really slow and dragged on a little too much, setting up why the possession was happening
Oh my God, a
and
special
what they
guest
released and stuff was really good.
Sir.
But
Faith the Unholy Trinity is really
to
good.
answer
Faith
the
the Unholy
question from
Trinity is
earlier,
good
the
because
reason
it's
I don't
barely
like
about
religious
Christianity.
horror is
Catholicism.
because I just feel like it gets samey. That's
fair.
all.
That's fair.
I like.
Exactly. It's samey, and also, Aedrah, if I may
Yeah,
interrupt
go for
here.
it. I don't want to
I feel like the way they resolve it is always like the same, right? Where they just like hold up a cross and they're like, the double.
okay, I was actually-
It still tells
four
you.
person.
I was actually about to say the same thing. The problem with religious horror for me is the reason it gets samey is because the answer is always the same. The horror
Yeah, it's
can be
always the same.
different, and the horror is not always bad, but the answer is always, well, God. And then the horror goes, no, and then it shrivels into dust. Like, And
Exactly. That's why
literal
Ghostbusters
crocodile.
is the best
Crazy.
religious horror.
I mean, you're not.
Okay. All right. Before we move on,
right.
Gerbil said lipstick
Yeah.
demon. That sounds like an Edie Valley character. That's such original fiction. And like any good author, she's constantly starving, desperate for cash. Save her from the streets by donating here. I am starving. I did not just win an award. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Congrats on the award.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
congrats,
You
by
doing
the
okay,
way.
Thank
Dragon?
you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, Dragon's suffering, so let's move on so he can suffer
Are
more.
you
Because
good?
FNAF!
After that very
FNAF!
serious discussion.
Okay, so I'm totally fine with putting this in iconic horror. I'm just a little bit hesitant because I know that as much as he adores this movie, he did have one or two problems with it.
The
Specifically,
fucking table scene.
literally, specifically the
you-
let's build a fort scene.
I'm gonna tell you, it's a real thriller, and I'm gonna tell you it's a real thriller because of that one scene with the play fort.
But Miceman, have you considered? You small little beast!
You beast!
How wretched and small you are.
You're look how small you are.
you
But
are.
Look how
that's
small
that's
you
my
are.
dilemma because I know that Dragon really, really, really does like this movie. Like we saw it in theaters, and this man was giddy afterwards. He was
So-
losing his mind that it was good, but he does have some problems with it.
Hear me out. He
Yeah.
still
So
has
true,
bad
madam.
blood from containment breach.
What was that?
Okay.
What's that about?
He still has a bad taste in his mouth from containment
Right,
breach.
wait, hold, okay.
That's
But
fair.
madam, consider this.
So
Sure.
true, my
Very
man.
interesting. Very interesting. Fuck.
I say
Rock-
it's
rock
I say
and
it's a
roll
real
is
thriller.
biased,
All right.
agree.
I
Guys,
have talked with Drag0n about
Yes,
this
the
movie
question is,
extensively.
does he hate that scene?
But also, we
enough
could just be
not to
overthinking
say?
it, and it probably is just iconic horror. This is probably
Guys,
a
this is
freebie.
this is
and we're not
probably a
gonna
put it
put
in
freebie.
iconic.
It's iconic horror.
guys, I
think
promise I
so.
wouldn't give any freebies, but I do have something to say.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, yeah, we're putting it iconic.
Okay,
horror.
iconic horror.
Iconic
Put it in
horror.
iconic horror.
Iconic horror. Dragon, take the shot.
I won't.
God damn it!
Is it
It was a real
what?
thriller.
It's
Fuck.
kinda spooky.
What?
No, it is not.
No, you're lying. You're
I'm not
fucking lying. You are
Hey,
fucking
Hedgehog.
lying. What?
Hedgehog, can you go commit some domestic abuse real
Yeah,
quick
I'm
on Dragon?
about to right now. What?
You did
No, no,
not
no.
put the
Not
FNAF
about
movie
to.
kind
Go
of
do it.
spooky.
Sorry, that's the hot sauce. She's just clapping her hands.
Dude, the Tom and Jerry fucking meme.
I'm fucking livid. I'm livid.
Can I explain?
Live
Can I
it.
explain myself?
Yes, explain
No.
yourself, please.
This movie
Thank you.
is great. I love this movie. This movie was made for FNAF fans, and they did such a good job at really making fans feel like a movie was crafted for them.
Yeah, so you left
You're
it so it's
in FNAF.
iconic horror.
I did. I would have put it in a real thriller. That was my original spot. But that table scene.
No.
So bad,
Wait,
dude.
So it bumped down from a real thriller to kind of spooky and not from iconic horror to a real
Hold
thriller?
on. And the fact that one of the biggest hype ups for that movie was that Matthew Lillard was in it playing Purple Guy.
And then he's not.
And he was in it for 1 minute flat.
Yeah, but he did so
That's
much
okay.
with that minute.
No, and listen, here's the
Yeah.
thing. And they also the reason that I put FNAF in the middle tier is because it's exactly, I think it's the perfect spot for what happened with that movie. That movie really wanted to appeal to the older fans, like my generation and older, like the people that grew up with FNAF, but they were so bogged down by 9-year-olds that they ruined their movie intentionally to give all audiences something to look at. But when
They had
but
to
it's the
stick to that
cardinal sin when you
PG-13.
make something good for 2 audiences, chances are it's going to be good for neither audience. And even little kids flock to Twitter and were like, FNAF wasn't scary enough. There should have been more scares. There should have been this. There should have been that. And I feel like,
Dragon, the
fundamentally speaking,
animatronics.
it had to be in kind of spooky because I think that movie would have been perfect, but they ruined it for themselves. I
I'm
think.
sorry, he's lying, guys. He's
Could
fucking
have been
lying.
R-rated.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's
I do
all
not
of this is
accept
Also,
this.
also
It's an
contain-
iconic horror.
Containment Breach was
Bullshit.
really bad. Like it was. No, I'm just kidding.
So Dragon,
Yeah.
I hear you. Your points are valid. I'll see you in February.
Huh?
Caroline,
No,
Caroline,
okay.
what are you talking about? The animatronics were a highlight. They
No.
were awesome.
No,
The
they animatronics were
animatronics, I
really
think, were the
good.
best part of that movie.
I
No,
really
for
like
real.
Fucking
They were all
I
practical
will
effects.
never
Yeah.
in my life say a bad thing about a single thing Henson's Creature Workshop has ever
No,
done.
Yeah.
no.
This included.
And again, the
They,
fact
they
that
pump
when
out bangers every time.
the fact that they showed the animatronics off at Universal Studios, not on a film set, and they looked just as good as they did in the movie, like that's such a testament to their skill. And again, that alone puts it really high, let alone how much I liked it as a fan of it. I loved that they got YouTubers in on it, like fucking Corey
That-
Extension being in the fucking taxi was genius.
Sorry
Matt-
Sorry to interrupt you, Dragon. Triple just said, Dragon, you have to give us the English class answer. Just give us a short answer. You don't want to say more hot sauce.
That's so true.
The-
But
they
no,
wanted
it's
Markiplier, but they couldn't get
however,
him,
I genuinely, you guys,
which is a
wo-
shame.
I think that if they didn't have the table scene, it would have been in a real thriller. Or like
Damn.
stuff like that. If they didn't have, like, if Matthew Lillard actually got to do something.
B. William Afton.
However, they said that they learned from this movie when they're making the next one. We're gonna see more of William Afton and stuff like that.
Especially now that they got the go-ahead to just be a horror movie.
Yeah, so
Right.
I think
And they
that
make it R-rated now?
I think that
Oh man,
if
an
they do it,
R-rated
I hope.
FNAF movie would be awesome.
I think that if they do it right, the second FNAF movie can easily enter that iconic horror status.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
just, my feelings on it when I first saw it, and once the hype wore down, I just felt really bad about how they kind of bastardized it for the sake of having their full audience, and the fact that their full audience didn't even like it anyway because of the fact that they did it. Because like kids nowadays, they want Freddy to just rip someone's head off on screen. Like that's what they want. You know what I mean?
They
And
wanted
so,
that back
like,
when we were kids. Like,
and so like all the
Problem,
deaths
as always,
happening
with
off screen
9-year-olds.
is not a bad thing. I thought that there was some really tasteful horror shots with the
yeah.
off-screen deaths,
Oh, the scene where the
Fucking
girl gets bit in
Cupcake, dude.
half.
and it's in
That
the
fucking
shadow.
stupid
Yeah, that was
cupcake.
Yeah,
awesome.
okay, and my final problem with this movie is that the cupcake has significantly more kills than every animatronic.
No, so
Like
funny.
every
The
animatronic
first
gets
draft
one
of the
kill, and the cupcake has 4 kills.
The
4
fucking-
of deaths
first
in the
draft
movie.
of in the first draft of the script, the fucking cupcake kills William Afton.
Yeah, and he does
cupcake
because the
kills William
cupcake,
Afton at the
cupcake
end.
still kills him in the end because he bites the suit and it triggers the spring locks.
I loved that the cupcake
always
was
come
such
back.
like an
Like,
integral player.
Again, as funny as that is the first 1 or 2 times, the fact that we got so little animatronic screen time because the cupcake got like 2/3 of the kills also made me
I have to imagine it's a technological limitation.
Yeah, I think it's
Like-
just the animatronics doing a lot was the
'Cause
other thing
it's so
too is it
small
does get
compared
some
to the
bonus
rest.
points for there were some scenes in the trailer that people thought looked janky and they fixed them for the movie. So I have to give them bonus points for that too.
all right.
But yeah, I knew that one was going to be a little bit of an upset, but I wanted to actually genuinely be honest, and also I knew that you guys would put it in iconic horror because it's FNAF. But I have actual human thoughts about that movie.
I think you're lying. I think you're
I'm
lying.
gonna kill
but
you.
okay. I think he's lying, guys. I still don't believe this.
I
but-
literally went to that movie to see Matthew Lillard, and he wasn't in it.
Yeah, but when he was in it, it was so good.
What about? But Jordan,
Okay, no,
consider
we're not talking
Josh
about this
Hutcherson.
anymore. We're done. We're done.
gotta
we're
move
done.
on. We
We're
gotta
done.
move
We gotta
on.
move on. Friday the Third. Shut up.
Dude, this movie.
Friday the
Oh my
13th.
god. Dun, dun, dun,
This
dun,
is the
dun.
original Friday. the
Yeah, I
13th.
wanted to pick
Yes.
the one that
This
didn't
mo-
have Jason in it.
Yes.
Dude,
Yeah.
this movie is just stupid shit happening for like 2 hours. And
I
then it finally
actually-
turns into a slash movie in the last 20
I
minutes.
actually genuinely like this movie a lot. I know I'm a little bit weird. I think it's so cheesy and so silly, and also sorry to spoil the entire movie, but fucking Miss Voorhees at the end is absolutely iconic, and her performance is fucking incredible. And I
Okay,
love
but they
her.
butcher a real snake, and that shit made me sad.
I
Like
know.
there was an actual.
Isn't that
lawsuit
one of
for
the
this
few
movie.
films where you like see an actual animal die on screen?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
could
they-
not
they-
put the no animals were harmed in this movie because animals were harmed.
That
So-
and
Dead
Willy
ass
Wonka and the
real
Chocolate
snake.
Factory
So no
also
username.
has a real animal
I
die
have
on
not
screen.
seen
Animal
any of
is
the other
in-
Friday the 13th movies yet, so I can't say to that. But
I have
love
this
them.
funny little tradition where like every Friday the 13th, me and my friends we watch one of the movies. So we're on like 4 now. We've watched the first 3 so far.
I can't wait for you to get
Mike-
to Friday the 13th 10, Jason in space.
Dude, that's an
So true.
iconic.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Jason X.
Okay, but what do we think? Where do we think Drag0n put Friday?
I
the 13th?
specifically because if it had Jason in it, you guys would throw it in iconic,
Yeah, of
right?
course we would.
And you'd be right. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. But I
Also,
specifically
Madam-
was like, this one doesn't have Jason, and that will make it way
There's-
more interesting of a deliberation.
There's
topic.
one thing that might sway the vote. Drag0n has repeatedly stated that Mrs. Voorhees reminds him scarily of his own mother, and she does.
Oh
she looks
my.
almoally identical to his
Physically.
own
Is
mother.
that a
Physically.
good thing or a bad thing?
I mean,
Smash.
it makes it.
I know we did
True.
slash or pass, and
Yeah,
I
we
said
did-
I
we
passed because
had
she
this
looks like
whole
my
time
mom, and
together.
everyone yelled smash,
Yeah.
smash, and it was hysterical. But it was so fucked up.
But that I know that adds. I can't remember if that adds fear factor for him or if it just takes him out of it. But
I was like, yeah, is that a good thing or a bad
I do
thing?
what I think it's a good thing, but I can't remember, so don't quote me on that. But I do. That is an important thing to consider.
None of that shit happens until the last like 20 minutes of the movie.
But I think the tension buildup is wonderful.
Dude, it's just kids being stupid and then they
Yeah.
start dying.
Yeah, it's the original Friday
yeah,
the
it's
13th.
great.
What's
It's
your
great.
favorite ice cream? Rocky Road.
It's great. It's
Rocky
great.
Road.
Okay, but do
Rocky
we,
Road.
okay, so I think it's at least in one of the better tiers.
That's funny.
Dude,
like-
fucking Ned being racist as
Yeah.
shit. Fucking
Okay.
doing.
All right, I think it's in one of the better tiers.
Um,
I don't know if it's quite. Because
I don't know if this
I
is
don't know
like
if it's
a.
iconic.
I was
but-
like,
I don't know if this is a.
But this is Drag0n. It is the original Friday the 13th. He could have put an iconic.
That no username has a thing, by the way. Jason won't kill animals anymore because Kane Hodder refused to do a scene for Jason Takes Manhattan where Jason was gonna kick a dog, but he's like, I'm not doing that. It doesn't fit Jason. Jason wouldn't do that.
Fantastic.
And so they don't abuse animals anymore.
Fantastic.
Good for
him.
Kane Hodder.
Madam,
Proud
by
of
the
him.
way, the animal that dies in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is in the tunnel scene. You see a chicken get beheaded,
Fair
Oh.
enough.
Yes.
and that was a
Does happen.
real chicken.
That scene scared the piss out of me as a kid.
Yeah, can we throw that in iconic horror?
Yeah,
please?
let's
Can you,
throw
like,
that in
Yeah,
slap
throw that
it?
one in
Just
iconic
that
horror.
scene. That
Sequence,
scene.
iconic
Yeah,
horror.
okay.
honorary mention.
Okay.
Willy Wonka iconic
Friday
horror.
the 13th. What? Fuck, this one's hard.
Yeah, this was.
I mean,
I don't know, dude, 'cause-
I don't know if this is like a.
this
a
is my
weird thing to
non-tricky
say.
one. This was my
but-
genuine deliberative one.
When I saw Friday the 13th, I was legitimately surprised by the twist about it being Jason's mom.
I
I had
was
somehow
too.
avoided that the
Yeah.
entire time.
Oh yeah, for how long that movie's been out too.
No,
Yeah,
genuinely,
exactly.
yeah.
Probably because everyone talks about Friday the 2nd
Mm-hmm.
and not this one.
Well, the second
Right.
Jason's still not even
doesn't even
Jason
have
in
his
it
hockey
because he's
mask.
just got like a dirt knapsack on his head,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
he doesn't get the hockey mask until the third one.
which is still kind of an iconic look, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not nearly as iconic as the fucking hockey mask.
Was that stock footage?
if
I don't know.
had
Still
to
a real
take
animal dying, though.
guess,
Yeah.
I would say a real thriller, but it could be iconic.
So that's I'll keep
Yeah,
tally
I'm
here.
stuck between the two. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, this was my. This was genuinely because a lot of these I'm trying to trick you, right? That's the point of the
Yeah.
game. That's the fun of it.
Mhm.
This one I was like, I don't need to try. If I just pick the one that doesn't have Jason in it, this is going to be an insane deliberation, and it's going to be
Well, I have
really
a-
tight.
I have a fun fact for while you guys deliberate.
Okay.
Is that the summer camp that this movie was filmed at? My dad actually went to.
Wow.
Not
Yeah, did
while
he
they
get
were
killed?
filming it,
Huh.
but
Did he get killed?
yes, my dad is dead.
Dang, I'm sorry, Claude.
Damn.
I can't believe your dad died going to summer camp.
Dude, it's
Damn.
crazy
Can't believe
because
my dad is Jason Voorhees.
I was gonna say because yeah, his dad died at the camp because he drowned and then came
Yeah,
back
he was
to
drowned.
life. And then
Okay, I'm gonna say that it's a real thriller.
I'm
Yeah, I think so too.
It's a real thriller.
I don't know. I might want to put it in kind of spooky. Just because it doesn't
Ooh.
have Jason in it.
No, okay,
No,
you know what?
Drag0n
I
likes
think
And
movie,
it's
though.
kind of. Yeah, but I feel like it gets kind of dragged down by how slow the beginning is. And at the ending is really fun with Jason's mom
think-
chasing
okay,
her
okay.
around everywhere. I thought that was great. But the
okay, I
beginning
know what
is
I-
like Grayman said, it's just a bunch of teenagers being
Okay,
stupid. And
I-
I know
I-
it's the
I-
original Friday. Grayman, I'm
Grayman-
agreeing with you.
Listen, I appreciate you agreeing with me, but I just realized something. I think Drag0n probably really enjoys how like all that shit. Like I think he really
does.
enjoys how like stupid and goofy all the
No.
fucking like
He
teenagers are in that
absolutely
movie.
does enjoy that. This is not all the reason, but a lot of the reason Drag0n likes old shitty slash movies is because they are shitty. and silly.
Mhm.
So bear that in mind.
Well, I've said my piece, and I think I'm gonna stick with kind of spooky.
Okay.
Okay, well, I appreciate you agreeing with me, Miceman, but I disagree with you now. So,
Okay.
I appreciate you agreeing with me, but fuck you.
I tried my best.
Okay. What does Grayman say then?
okay, I think it's either a real thriller or iconic horror. I think it might be an iconic horror, actually.
Okay. We
Okay.
have 2 for a real thriller, 1 for iconic horror, and 1 for kind of spooky.
That's 4.
Yeah.
There's 2 votes unaccounted for.
Who has not voted yet?
Me.
Madam and Aedrah.
Okay.
Oh my god, excuse me.
Bro.
So
I
true,
voted.
Dragon. So
Oh
true.
wait,
He's spitting.
did you? What'd you vote for, Madam?
God, you didn't vote.
Yes, I did. I said a real thriller also.
Oh, did you both say
Oh,
at the
there's
same
yeah,
time?
there's 3 for
Okay,
real
then there's
thriller.
3.
It's a real thriller.
Then there's 3. Okay,
Okay,
then it
so
wins.
then there's 3.
Yeah, real
Okay.
thriller.
Okay. What does Dragon say?
Dragon.
It was close, but iconic horror.
Ah.
No, listen,
Should've gone with
Grayman,
my gut. Should've gone
Grayman
with my
locked
gut.
the fuck in on that ending because yeah, the fact that it was just a bunch of stupid teens and it was just lowering the tension the whole movie was great. And then the fact that there was the twist where the killer wasn't even the weird child, it was just the mom the whole time. Like that's never
was
even been
awesome.
heard of before in a movie like this.
Dude,
And
shoutouts to those weird endings, by the way, where it's just some random fever dream
no,
of
and the
final girl
best
getting killed.
part of that whole movie, this is the fact that I always go back to. That actress, her only roles before this were all sitcom moms. People are drama moms. People knew her as a mother, like as a non-real mother
Oh,
figure.
it's like Psycho.
Yeah,
Where
and
they
so
cast the famous person.
exactly. So people knew her. So there was this cultural downplay of her possibly even being a candidate. And so when she comes out as the killer and fucking knocks it out of the park, can I just say?
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
It was mind-boggling to people. I also think it's iconic horror because the reason that movie was made is, and this is an actual quote from the writers and directors,
We watched a documentary.
Halloween was really successful. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I love
Absolute
that
classic.
And you know, I
movie
gotta give
exists.
them, I gotta give them credit for that.
Because you know what? They
I
did.
love that that's the actual reason.
That's literally
Let's
that's
just make it
exactly word
Halloween.
for word what they said, and they had such a lower budget, but like, I think that they really cemented themselves. And then obviously you get Jason in, and then
Crazy
Jason
that
becomes
they had
iconic.
a lower budget than Halloween.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
Oh,
no, Friday
Speaking of Halloween,
the you guys and that's the reason I knew the deliberation would be great is because you guys overthought it. I don't know if there's a Friday the 13th that isn't iconic just for the fact that it's Friday the 13th.
Fair enough.
That's
fair enough.
fair.
yeah.
Fair enough. All right.
Even Jason X.
All right, Halloween.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, but this is specifically
The 2018
2018
remake where Laurie
remake.
Strode is
Oh,
old
remake.
and the cast comes back.
Dude, left me feeling
has gotta be
Halloween.
scary. Fairly bad,
I was gonna,
right?
guys, I remember him
Oh.
saying when this he wanted me to see this movie because he actually likes this movie. I don't think it's iconic by any means, but he
I
specifically
don't think
told
it
me,
can be iconic.
Hedgehog, we have to sit down and watch this movie because I really liked it. And I sat down and I watched it with him because he said he really liked it, and it was okay.
Halloween 2018 is the okayest film of all time.
It's not
It is
iconic
one
horror,
of the
Problem
films
is-
of all time.
but at minimum, it's kind of spooky.
yeah.
The problem is the original is so fucking good.
Oh no, the original is very good,
Right.
but knowing Drag0n, he's taking
But,
this on
like-
its own merits, not on
I know.
the rest of the franchise.
What you can't
But I
you
haven't
can't
seen
take
this one,
Halloween
so I
on
don't
its
know.
own merits. You have to compare it to the previous film.
Drag0n, did you
That's
compare it
the
to the previous
problem.
films?
Okay, I said no freebies, but in this case, I will say I am not talking about the Halloween franchise. Obviously, this is a sequel to Halloween. That's how it was portrayed. Therefore, you have to you can't compare the movies, but you have to assume that Halloween is being talked about. That being said, this movie also has sequels, and I'm not talking about those. Because there was like 3
What a
new Halloweens that came.
weird movie to
Scarily bad.
conclude here.
That's
Yeah,
why he
well,
did
because
it.
if I picked Halloween, you guys would put it in iconic. If I picked Halloween 2, you'd put it near the bottom because it sucked. But then if I
think
picked
that's not
Halloween,
bad.
if I picked Halloween 3,
It's tough. Iconic horror. Halloween 3 is the best
Hedgehog
Halloween
loves the
movie.
Irish too much. So like I had to pick a
so
weird
funny.
one. I had to pick a weird one. So I picked the remake. Or it's not even a
Okay.
remake, it's just a
Sequel.
sequel. Yeah.
I'm gonna say a
like
real thriller
both.
and go piss.
Well, hold on, Grayman, because I'm gonna piss right after we're done with this one too. So hold off just a minute,
Okay.
and then we'll
Alright,
all go
piss
piss.
together.
We'll all go piss together.
We'll piss on each other.
Grayman says real thriller. I think it's kind of spooky.
I think Dragon's lying to us all. It's scarily bad.
Okay, I'm not
This
counting
is
your
gonna
vote,
be the most
Miceman.
split vote.
What? You can't just not count my vote.
I think
Why not?
I mean, if no one
This
else
is
votes that,
such
it's essentially
bullshit.
not counted anyway.
the thing is I want to vote Left Me Feeling Hollow because I don't think he hates it.
That's
but
one in
Alright, you know
every
what, you know what?
category. So
All right, you
hard
know
to
what? I'll
set
join
on.
Claude and left me feeling hollow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we have
So that's 2 and then a real thriller and a kind of
and a
spooky.
kind of spooky.
So
We have
there's
2
2
votes on
unaccounted
iconic
votes.
horror.
Grayman, vote for
think
iconic
this
horror.
is- I think this is Drag0n's I know it's not good, but I like it vote.
Which is why he
You
put it
know.
in kind of spooky, I think.
Maybe.
Well, Claude,
But
what
maybe
were you-
he-
Claude, what were you saying by that? I'm just for the stream viewers because no one's gonna
Like-
know what category that actually translates to.
He already
Well,
said.
I'm saying Left Me Feeling Hollow, I think.
Oh,
I
okay.
think you don't where you're like you know it's not very good, but it's one of those like I like this thing and I know it's bad, but I like
It's a
it
guilty
'cause
pleasure,
mine.
right?
So, just for the
That's how I
sake
feel about the
of
Hills
being
Have
fair
Eyes.
about the game, why would that mean that I didn't enjoy it?
Because that tier means he didn't really enjoy it, but it wasn't.
Because remember, this is
awful.
not if I think the movie's good. This is if I
Right.
enjoyed it.
Right. I don't know. That's just what
I'm just trying to
feeling.
keep the game
I'm
fair
gonna go
here.
with-
That's all.
I'm gonna go with
So-
kind of spooky.
Kind of spooky. Okay, we're 2 for 2, and then we have the 1.
Haha, 1.
1. So
one.
who Aedrah hasn't voted yet, I think, correct?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Where are the votes so far?
So we have 2 for Left Me Feeling Hollow, 2 for kind of spooky,
And 1 real
1 for
thriller.
real thriller.
So essentially, if
Let
you vote for real
Grayman
thriller,
piss.
you're throwing because it's a tie.
A 3-way tie. Just like it's just like the beginning of
Could
Cars
vote for Real
1.
Thriller, I could change my vote. I could be
Which,
I
by the
said-
way, Cars 1 is a real thriller.
It is
Dude, that movie is
First Cars
boring
movie is
with
a
some
banger.
funny moments.
wrong.
All right, what is it?
Wrong.
Real thriller.
Real thriller. So we have
It's a 3-way
three-way
tie.
Oh,
I
God's
can
sake.
change to kind of spooky.
Okay, so then we have 3 for kind of
Well, then I'm
spooky.
changing to a real thriller.
Then we have 3 and 3.
So it's a tie
guys,
again.
Miceman, come on, don't do this. Let
No,
Grayman
I'll
piss.
move up to
Thank
kind of
you.
spooky.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
You
Kinda
mean move
Spooky
down to
wins.
kind of spooky?
No, Miceman is one of who's
Okay,
below,
well,
alright?
I'm free again.
Ah, God damn it.
Claude was 100% right because this is
I
iconic
fucking
horror.
knew it.
It's iconic horror.
Yes.
God,
You're
fucking
you're so full of shit.
I
You know that?
adore this is my
You're
second
such an
favorite Halloween
ass.
movie of all time. I loved this movie. I thought it was an amazing return to form for a contemporary slasher. I think that
Oh fuck! I think I remember him saying this.
yeah, this is
Fucking crazy,
I just
Dragon.
didn't-
You
I
know
just didn't
that?
think you would
You're
put it in
delusional.
iconic.
this
I
is
didn't
a
think it was
movie that
iconic.
I know is bad, but I really love. Claude hit the nail on the head,
Yeah.
but didn't push it far enough because I think
Yeah.
it's peak. I think it's I think it's a great horror movie. I think that no contemporary slasher will ever come close to this because it really captured the original without trying to be the original. And
Would you say-
then they made 2 sequels that are ass.
I think
That
this
just
movie
keeps
was okay,
in the
but
continuity of Halloween.
Exactly. And that's why it's an iconic horror.
All right.
Buy no
great.
username.
No, but I
So-
knew this one would be
Buy your
deliberative
username.
and undecisive,
your
but I knew
username.
no one would think I actually thought it was iconic because that's where I'd put the original. However, I actually think that it is. I think that if their goal
Do
with this
not
movie.
say it.
No, I think their goal with this movie was to undo all of the sequels and make a good sequel to the first one. And I think they succeeded wholeheartedly in that. It will be
Use my
nowhere
little
near
mind
as
game,
good
that's
as
Dragon.
the first one. The first one
Fucking Terminator looking ass.
Halloween is the best movie of all time, like hands down for me. I like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, but I'm talking horror movies. Like this is the best horror movie of all time is Halloween.
Who the fuck
But-
did Scott Pilgrim come from?
It's my favorite movie.
That's his favorite movie.
Oh,
But
okay.
Halloween,
really good
the
movie.
2018 remake or the 2018 re-sequel is I think the best they will ever get to a sequel to that movie because I think it keeps it going in the best way possible.
And I
Also
think
the soundtrack was killer.
and I think you're insane. All right, we're gonna take a pee break. We'll be right back. Everybody go
Ooh.
piss.
Some problems that if they work out in the second one, it can be insane tier. Yeah. I might even move it up into, you know, everyone's favorite tier. God descended from above and delivered unto us a miracle.
Yeah.
You gotta put the
As
table
long
scene in
as
that
they
tier.
don't say the R word. No, not that one. No, not the slur.
Not the slur.
Okay. Who's still missing?
Is Grayman back from his
Grayman's
piss?
back, yes.
Yeah, wait.
No.
Can everyone just
No.
say, like, go down the line? Miceman, are you here?
I'm kidding.
No, Miceman's still
Miceman?
missing.
No, but CLaUD, Grayman, Aedrah, and Madam are all
Yeah,
here.
so everybody but Miceman's back. We need to wait for Miceman, though, for the next one, because this is one of Miceman's favorite movies.
Hellraiser.
I've never seen it.
It's a really good movie.
Pretty good.
Not to spoil, but this one's, I think, a pretty obvious placement.
Also, I said this after you got up, Hedge, so I think a bunch of people missed it. But
Yeah.
I'm looking at Silence of the Lambs and Terrifier, and they look like they're one rectangular poster.
Yeah, it does look like Art is just in the back, like, he's just like, what are you doing up there?
Art's just
What are you doing over there?
Art's
Clarice?
just plotting.
Clarice.
Why is that bug on your mouth?
You gonna eat that?
Okay, how long is Bison gonna take to piss? Holy
I love-
shit.
I love Art. He's such a goofy guy.
He's looking at
makes
Clarice.
me-
He's just like, if I kiss you, will I get butterflies in my stomach?
Art the Clown makes me viscerally uncomfortable, specifically because it's such a good portrayal of a guy with bad vibes that I have ever seen in my life, and he makes me viscerally
Right?
upset.
He takes me back to like
Right?
2016 when people were afraid of fucking clowns running around like outside.
As someone who
He is-
unfortunately kind of does have to deal with people that just have for no reason bad vibes regularly at my job sometimes, just because of the virtue of I work at a comic book store, he makes me real uncomfy. He makes me real uncomfy.
He looks like live action Spamson, not gonna lie.
He
Okay,
is-
if my spin's gone much longer, we're gonna go on with that
I'm
one.
gonna saw you in
the
half.
way they portray his early scene in the pizza shop
In the diner,
Oh,
yes,
God.
in the diner where he's like
Oh,
waving.
God.
it's so good.
Oh god. Ugh,
That
Dude.
early scene, fucking skin crawling.
I hate that scene.
Dude,
I hate
it sucks
scene.
that I missed out on this movie because I streamed it for the game in the server and then shit came up, so I had to go. But I left it
Oh
on.
rip. Oh, there's
I have
Miceman.
returned.
Okay.
Oh, he's back finally.
Okay, let's
I
continue.
brought some Reese's peanut butter cups.
Huge.
Okay,
I wish I had
Hellraiser,
sweet, delicious
iconic horror,
cherry
right?
chocolate.
Hellraiser, iconic horror. Nothing
Anybody
beats
disagree?
that bone dragon at the end that we're definitely all thinking about.
Okay,
Yep.
wait, like, what about what Dragon?
Dragon thinks it's iconic horror.
Absolutely.
It's one of his
Hellraiser is so
favorite movies.
Dragon.
Dragon, what do you think about
Hey,
this?
Dragon, what do you think about Hellraiser?
I don't think it's iconic horror.
Really?
Okay, on iconic horror.
Okay.
It's an
so it's
iconic
iconic
horror.
horror.
Okay, Dragon, take your shot.
I was
Wait
telling
a
you the
second. What
truth,
is
you
like-
idiots. It's
No,
in a real
Warren.
thriller, you silly goobers.
Is it because of
Nah.
the guy eating
Nah.
bugs?
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Nah. I can't believe you didn't put an iconic horror.
No, so here's
It's
my actual
because he doesn't
reasoning.
like needles.
Here's my reasoning. It is actually in a real thriller. I almost put it in iconic horror. However,
Yeah, I almost put it in, but then I realized that you guys were gonna guess it, so
But then I realized
changed
I have to
it.
take a shot of hot sauce.
yeah, exactly. I've actually been. This list is on the website, and I've been moving them around to avoid you guys. No, I put this in a real thriller because it is an iconic horror movie. Again, if it came to objective fact, it would be where you guys are putting it. However, it is my thoughts on it, and my thoughts are, I like the Cenobites, and they were in it for 2 minutes.
I thought you liked the guy
But Frank is
who's
awesome.
growing skin or whatever he's doing.
I think that it was an insane practical effect. I think that, especially for the time, is incredibly well done. I think it's an incredibly well done movie. However, my big complaint is that the Cenobites feel crammed in at the end, and they don't really feel like enough of a presence. If they were in just a little more or teased a little earlier, I think it would be iconic for me. But
I disagree.
they kind of came out of nowhere, and
That's what makes
was the
them
only thing.
special.
Yeah, that's
is
what
that
makes them
you-
so fucking bizarre is that they're just there.
I know, I get it, and maybe I'm not
It's because
Lovecraft killed like you and
Miceman and I are
Miceman.
Lovecraft coded.
But
Lovecraft
this is a
killed.
Drag0n
But
tier
yeah,
list,
exactly.
and for me, I wish there was just the slightest amount of
You're
build-up.
so funny.
That's all.
Okay.
And that was just
like
enough to take
the
it
whole
down.
thing. Like there is build up. Frank talks about the box all the time.
Yeah, the box.
Dude.
Yeah,
talks about the
he's like
box.
it's a portal to pain and pleasure. Or
But like,
whatever.
yeah, so he's sitting there, he's like, I've got no skin. I love the concept of them rebuilding skin. It's an entire movie that's just like essentially one long scene. And then you get to the end and they open the box and it's just like, the box, I'm coming. And then
yeah,
the movie
and, like
ends.
in the absolute cinema.
like
Dude, and then Patrick says, "Who you calling?"
No, like the
Pinhead?"
Cenobites show up, and I'm like, oh my god, this is it. We're about to get hype. And then the credits roll, and I'm like, what?
What are you
No.
talking about? They show up in the hospital scene. Jared, I'm arguing with you about this. They show up in the hospital
Yeah,
scene,
okay.
and then they're like, "All right, time for you to come to hell with us." And then
then they
what's
raid
her name?
hell.
And then
Darcy?
she goes, wait, what if I sell out my uncle? And then they go,
That is
okay.
not what she's. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what makes it great. She's like, wait, let's talk about this. And then Pinhead's like, all right, let's talk about this. And that's what
Guys.
makes them so special is that they're willing to chat it
Negotiate.
out. That
No,
they're willing to
listen.
talk about it because they're a neutral third party.
Yes.
They are not the villain of the story. Frank is.
That doesn't mean
They
I don't
say
want to
feel
look
like
more
you're,
of them on
you're
screen, on
treating
screen,
them
though.
like they're the main
Okay,
villain.
we're
No,
getting into the
Miceman,
weeds
listen,
here, guys.
I'm not treating them like they're the main villain, but you can't just have a third party come in, make an arbitrary decision, and leave. There needs to be some reason that sets up the third party a little more than there was. That's my thoughts.
Okay, we're getting into the weeds. You guys could discuss this all night when we're done. Let's
hate
move
you.
on. So this is specifically the 2017
version?
It movie, yes.
This is not the sequel, not
the
It
sequel,
2,
no.
specifically
The
It,
original
the
from
2017.
which
Yeah.
I don't like this movie. I think they damseled the girl and it sucks. And
I know you guys. I know you guys are big fans of the original It series.
Yes, we
That's
both.
why
so
I
want to
had
say,
It miniseries on here, but I knew that would be too much of a freebie, so
Yes.
I put it.
I
this
just
one
want to say
instead.
that I remember when we first moved in together, Drag0n liked this movie more than he does now. For a couple of reasons. One, I pointed out some things that I really didn't like about the movie when we saw it, and I think it made him think about it a little bit. Two, we then watched the miniseries, and he realized how much better the story can be.
Okay, so kind of spooky.
But I do think he still likes it, though. So it's probably kind of spooky, but it could still be a real thriller, potentially. I think it's kind of spooky, though. That's my...
I'm sorry. I'm looking at chat and they're like, "Oh, is stream cutting out a little bit for everyone?" And Miceman goes, "Nah, it's good for me." Asshole.
Also,
I know.
Dribble says it is time to donate to Hedgehog. He was waiting for this.
So, okay, let me ask you something, Drag0n. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm very
what
likely
did
to
you-
answer this.
what did you think of the guy who played it and his ability to just move his eye like
Oh
that?
yeah, no freebies.
Okay, I will tell you, he does like that guy a lot. He does like Bill
I
Skarsgård's
would ironically
performance.
think that
Yeah,
Bill
that's it,
Skarsgård does a
Bill.
great job as Pennywise.
No, yes, and that's why I
Because
don't.
they
That's
don't
why
know
I
his
think it's
name.
probably still kind of spooky.
You know, he wasn't even supposed to do that eye thing. He just was like,
Yeah.
I can do this, and the director was like, throw that shit in there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's
Okay.
sick.
But I think that the new movies are way inferior to the miniseries. I know he agrees with me on that because I've gotten confirmation from him multiple times on that fact.
I've
I
been
can't
lying
comment.
this whole time.
Or maybe he
The
changed his
thing
mind
is-
this now despite you.
Has anyone else other than Harbogorg and Dagon seen the It miniseries?
No.
Yeah, see,
I'm
that's
gonna
what
be-
I'm worried
Guys,
about,
come
right?
on,
I'm
dude!
gonna be
I
honest,
feel like it is
I'm
not as
sorry,
much of a
I
cultural
only enjoy-
zeitgeist as you guys
It's
think
so
it is.
good.
I
No,
They love
literally,
it. They
it
fucking
is.
love
Okay,
it.
listen, it is for our parents' generation though, because both of our sets of parents agreed that they all thought it was the fucking scariest thing they've ever seen. in
Yeah,
their lives.
Miceman, you're thinking of this too contemporarily. That movie was not for our generation.
No.
It was for our parents' generation. We just adore the fuck out of it.
Because we think it's funny.
I
I
the thing
love
is, I
fucking Tim
Wah-ha!
Curry.
Exactly.
I love Tim Curry
Wah-ha!
dressed as a clown running around being like,
Do you want Prince Albert in a can?
You
do?
Well, you better let the poor guy in.
No idea what you guys are talking about.
Miceman, listen, please do yourself a favor. Watch the It miniseries. View it as a comedy. Okay?
Dude, it's so
Okay.
fucking good.
Watch the... Okay, Grayman's seen it too. Fantastic. Yeah, no, Miceman, just make sure you go into it not expecting it to be super scary. Go into it expecting it to be funny. And it's great.
I mean, I only watch scary movies. I've never seen a single non-horror movie.
You
That's
know what? I
actually
believe
so
him.
true.
I think this is kind of spooky.
Sure.
What about the scene where they
He really
clean up
dances.
all the blood? What did you think about that, Dragon?
He's not gonna answer you.
Yeah, Miceman, I hope you know I'm really likely to keep answering it. Like, this is a thing that I'm
Okay.
very likely to do.
Okay.
Just
I'm
don't
thinking about
like
it right.
to
I
be
feel
honest.
like
Ah,
despite
this movie's not
despite Dragon's insistence that he's able to separate movies from one another, like sequels and stuff, I feel like his enjoyment of the miniseries is going to drag down down to probably like left me feeling hollow.
No,
that's why I
think
said kind of
so.
spooky. That's why I said kind of
I
spooky
would-
because he used to
yeah, I would-
like this movie quite a bit. I know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it left me feeling hollow. I'd say like at the very least, kind of spooky.
I don't think it goes higher than that,
Mm.
but I think it's kind of spooky.
I'm saying kind
Yeah.
of spooky.
Okay, it seems like most
Yeah,
of us
kinda
are in
spooky.
agreement.
Consensus was made.
Okay, kind of spooky.
Okay,
yeah.
what does
So,
Dragon say?
I'll explain why it's in kind of spooky after I take my shot.
Yeah! Woo!
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being too harsh on these movies. I feel like I'm consistently ranking them one lower than Dragon says.
Yeah, Dragon. Keep in mind, Miceman. Dragon likes them cheesy and silly.
Oh,
I guess.
sorry, it's been
Here's
a
the
while. It's
thing, Matt-
re-hitting.
Now Miceman's gonna overcorrect.
Yeah.
He's gonna put it above, even though now he's locked in.
Yeah.
Now he's correctly calibrated, but he's gonna start overestimating.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
Oh,
he's
my
been
lip.
guessing wrong.
He did.
Oh,
All right, the
I'm, like,
menu,
salivating
absolute
all over-
cinema,
I'm
iconic
salivating
horror.
all over
No,
my
we have
fucking self.
you skipped one.
You skipped one.
Wait.
Okay,
I-
yeah, have Dragon explain it.
Okay. So I didn't. You kind of overhyped how much I liked the 2017 one.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I think that it was obviously a lot more realistic to the book, which I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of the book. Drag0n being a big fan of a book, crazy.
Whoa, amazing.
But I really liked it. I
Drag0n
think, like,
It's
to be
surprising, I
fair,
know.
I think Bill Skarsgård is the only reason this isn't in like scarily bad. But
Yeah.
like, he, as much as I love Tim Curry's Pennywise, I kind of view that as a separate character from Pennywise. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, Bill Skarsgård
It's
is
Tim Curry in a clown
exactly
outfit.
what I have always envisioned Pennywise as in my head when reading the material and when thinking about it as a character. And the fact that he can do that thing with his lip and the thing with his eyes, and he was a genuinely horrifying animalistic presence that was captured so perfectly. The kid actors were incredible. I think the cast was great. That being said, every single scary moment in that movie was a CGI shuddery. They run at the screen really fast.
Yeah.
It was not
Yeah.
good. Like as a movie, it blew ass, and the
For
sequel
the record,
was
I
10
have
times
actually
worse.
seen this one.
I know
not
your
liking it.
secret.
I
Didn't
I
even include the child orgy.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my
here's,
God.
Here's the thing, though. I was watching this with my roommate in college and our other friend from college, and there is a scene where they look like they're about to do the child orgy, and then they don't, and it scared the actual shit out of us because
Now
we thought
that's
they
a
were gonna
horror
do it.
movie.
It's when they all cut their fucking palms, right, and do the blood oath.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there was the blood oath, but also there was the scene where they're at like they jumped off the waterfall and stuff, and then Bev is sunbathing, and they're all like looking at her, licking their lips and
Oh,
shit.
God.
And we're
Oh,
like,
God.
what the fuck are they about to do? And then again at the blood scene where they carve their hands and they all look into each other's eyes and they all like kind of lean in a little, and we're like, don't fucking do it. So they kept like toying with it, and I didn't like that. But
I remember everyone wondered if they were actually going to do it or not. It was like so talked about when the movie came out.
yeah. No, but
Like,
I
there's-
genuinely
obviously
think,
there's
like,
no way they do it.
no, but they could like cut to black or something.
But
No,
imagine if they did.
but this movie I think was,
Imagine if they did.
if you are looking
Imagine.
for, oh god, I'm sorry.
It would have been so much worse.
If you're looking for a movie, like if you're looking for a movie that represents the book, I would recommend you this movie. Don't watch the sequel to this movie. It is the worst movie I've ever seen. Again,
I'm trying to remember
spoilers.
what happens.
The movie ends with he's the giant spider and he's chasing them, and they're like, wait,
Oh, hold
he's
on,
a
guys.
representation.
We're dropping frames. Hold on. For some
Oh,
reason,
sorry,
the
hold on.
stream is not happy with me.
What's happening with the stream?
Oh, there we go. We're back. Okay, we're good. I just didn't want you to say
The
too many
sequel
things.
ends, and again, spoilers, I guess. The sequel, It 2, ends with the adults realizing that he is exactly what they make him out to be. So if they start bullying him, he will shrink. So it's them in a cave yelling, "You're a stupid clown! You're ugly! You're tiny!
Look how
We
small
hate
you are!
Yeah, it's literally look how small you are. And then he shrinks. He's like, no, I'm the destroyer of worlds. And they're like, no, you're not. You're small and ugly. You're just a stupid clown. And then he dies of cringe. And that is not a joke.
Cringe.
That is how the movie ends.
It's true.
I wish
No,
more
it's
movies
true, I've
ended
seen it.
like that.
It's awful. Yeah, the solution was bully Pennywise, and it's really dumb.
Imagine,
Oh fuck! It was.
Do you
so
remember?
imagine
Okay, do you-
Aliens ends with them just yelling at the.
Yelling
There's
at
also
Cinnamore.
there's literally a point in the movie too where Pennywise descends from a bunch of series of balloons just to look. Was it? No, it wasn't Eddie. It was
Always him for being fucking gay.
Yeah,
dude.
no,
He's like,
it was Richie. He descends from a bunch of balloons. He looks at him and he goes, "You're kind of gay, Richie."
I
that's the
know
whole.
your
Yeah, he looks at him. He's just like, "You're kind of queer." Like, it's like, no, what is this? This isn't a horror movie. This is just sexual harassment.
I know what you are.
I know your
Alright.
secret.
Do you
But
remember
no,
that scene
for the-
in
For the
oh, go
first
ahead.
It 2017, I think that it wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a good movie, but I think that the portrayal of
wasn't a bad
Pennywise and the
movie?
portrayal of Georgie and stuff like that, they did
That
it
manhole
really well.
scene
They
was
had great
really
casting.
scary.
And
Do you
Bill
remember
Skarsgård's a
that
fucking
scene in
genius.
Stranger Things season 2?
Oh my god.
Where
No, I don't.
hear me out. Where
Didn't
Will
watch it.
is being chased by what is it, like the Mind Reaver, the big shadow monster?
Yeah, the Mind Flayer.
The Mind Flayer.
The Mind Flayer, that's
Mind
it. And
Flayer.
he like turns around and he's like, "I'm not scared of you." And then the Mind it just like fucks him up.
I'm not
Like,
scared
that's
of you,
what-
and it just annihilates him. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what Drag0n's
I'm not
should
scared of
have
you.
saying should have happened.
Your mistake, I guess.
Okay.
I genuinely believe that it too would have had a better ending if they went, "Look how small you are. You're a wretched small little beast," and then Pennywise just clocked them.
All right. We're getting off track. We're off
Okay.
track. Let's move on. Jeepers Creepers.
Creepers.
What the fuck
Where'd
is
you
this
get
movie?
creepers?
Okay, has
I
anyone
know
besides the two of us
Jeepers
here
Creepers.
seen this movie?
I know it. I haven't seen
Okay,
it.
so Drag0n's hot sauce plot synopsis. There's this brother and sister that are driving home for spring break, and there is a guy like riding on their ass on the road. Like he's in this big rusty truck and he's like bumping their bumper and stuff. So he speeds off around them, and they see the truck again at an old abandoned church, and he's dumping bodies into a sewer like tunnel. And they're like, holy fuck, like we need to go back and help those people. So they go back and they find a
Terrible idea, by the
hundreds
way.
and hundreds of bodies like all sewn together on the walls. And he finds a bunch of like religious imagery and stuff because it's a church. And it comes to find out that this guy in this truck is actually this probably some kind of demon, but every X amount of years or whatever, he goes hunting for parts because he can't sustain himself because he's a corpse. So, like, he will find someone that has the eyes that he needs, so he will eat their eyes so that he can obtain them. And that's the whole movie, is he's essentially hunting down people for their parts.
So
one of the main characters essentially is one of his targets.
So it postures itself as a slasher movie, but it ends up being a monster movie at the end, which is very interesting.
And Megan has some like religious horror in it too, or something.
It has some religious themes, but it's not religious
really,
horror.
No. Part of it's in a church, and that's about it.
He has like bat wings, like he's supposed to clearly be some kind of demon
Demonic
of some
entity,
sort, but it's not.
Yeah.
The horror isn't religious. That is just the element with which the monster is being posited through.
Yeah. So I will say that this is a movie that we both watched, and I watched for the first time again this year recently. So he again kept his own opinions very on the down low for me. But I will say that since this impacted his choice on a different listing, I will say that the director of this movie is not great. We're not going to go into why he's not great.
Oh yeah, I heard
stream,
about that.
But he's not great with his child actors. Woo!
Okay, scarily bad, guys.
I don't think it's gonna impact it that much for Drag0n because he likes to take movies on their own merits as well. I will say that this movie had some interesting ideas. I personally don't think it was super great. And I don't think Drag0n did either, but I'm not 100% on that again because he could have very well been lying to me. If I had to guess, I'd put it under Left Me Feeling Hollow, but it could be kind of spooky too.
That's what I was feeling also, I think.
Any dissenting opinions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I just see an eye in a triangle. Think Triangle Man, and I really want to throw this in
Bill
iconic horror.
Cipher!
That is also what I see. I also see the triangle.
Yeah, that's
man.
not what it is, but that's funny that that is what it
I'm
is.
actually looking at images from this movie, and these practical effects are like, sheesh.
They're not great in motion necessarily.
Okay, yeah.
It looks like a guy in a suit.
Yeah, okay, so...
Sorry, I'm probably
Maybe.
swaying everybody, and he's gonna be like, "It's a real thriller," and I'll be like, "Great, fuck me." But
I've never seen it, so I can't comment.
yeah,
on it.
sorry, you're gonna have to trust me, guys.
Okay, so is this where it's going?
I think so. Anybody really dissent? Okay, yeah, that's where it's going.
Okay.
Wait, give me a second. I have to. What other horror movies came out in 2001? This will change my opinion.
2001:
on
A
how I feel about
Space
this film.
Odyssey, obviously.
No,
No.
incorrect.
Hannibal.
It wasn't a terrible year, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it did not look like a great year.
So, the director, Victor Salva, you might have even heard the name because it was a big deal. Again, we're not going to go too deep in the weeds, but he made a movie that he was looking for child actors specifically so that he could abuse them in a very specific way.
Smile.
Wow.
And he was found with a lot of material in his home, and he is awful, and he only served like 13 months of his like 6-year sentence or something like that. So he got out scot-free. He continued to make movies. Yeah, scarily bad.
Okay.
I don't
That's
like
fair.
supporting that fucker. He got off scot-free and pretends like he did nothing wrong when he in fact diddled a kid.
Okay.
The movie itself, a real thriller. I really like the movie. There is a twist ending that I don't want to talk about that is really good. I really like the twist ending. Hedge did not. But I just can't support. I can't even support on this tier list this movie because of.
Valid.
So if you're going to watch it, you should do it on a boat in the middle of water with a
Arg.
black flag raised
Arg.
above your head.
Arg.
Because it is actually a good movie and I do recommend it. Do not give any money to the guy who made this movie.
Okay.
But I had to throw it at
So
the
where
bottom.
did you put it?
Yeah,
You put
all
it
the way at the
scarily
bottom.
bad.
It really did hamper my opinion of the movie, but the movie itself was a real thriller for sure.
Okay. All right.
Now,
Moving on to the menu.
What the
menu.
fuck is this movie?
Okay.
this one, yeah. So I
This
said
is
this during the break.
me
I
when
was
I eat
very
you?
interested to even see this on this list because this seems like the movie that you would have heard a synopsis for and not wanted to watch.
I'm gonna tell you guys that he was on the fence when we first watched it, but he ended up really liking it. This is another one
Yeah.
that we had a really long, lengthy conversation about at the end, and it was all about things the movie did that we liked.
Oh yeah.
I'm seeing comedy in the like tags.
Also,
to horror
yeah,
comedy.
wanna
I
give
do want
the
to say
synopsis
Caroline says
for-
that director from Jeepers Creepers is still active. His most recent movie was not that long ago. Yeah, again, he got away scot-free. It was like not a good situation.
What a fucking asshole.
Try to avoid that guy's movies if you can. That's my big thing.
Yeah. Anyway, the menu.
For the menu, yes.
So I do want to ask you a question, Dragon.
Okay.
Is your rating system based on? Oh, hey, from Noah. Hope y'all are having a swell stream. Yo, mama, doo
that's
sticky
based on,
fart, booty, pee pee, caca, smelly doody.
That is actually what my list is based on. I didn't think you'd get the nuance.
Yeah, haha. That's definitely
Wow,
what it's based
he
on.
knows you so well.
He knows you so well.
No, it knows
Is
so well.
your ranking based on how much? Like, is it based on whether you think it's a good movie or whether you think it's a good horror movie? Like, how much is how scary it is, or how much you thought you liked it on the merits of it
I
being
will
a
give
horror
you
movie?
this. This is
I
a
mean,
list
Beetlejuice
of
is like
horror.
on board.
I will say it like this. This is a list of horror movies that I am ranking based on my enjoyment.
Okay. Okay, cool.
That is the walls with
Right,
which I will
so-
set. I will
Okay.
not say anymore.
Because I was gonna
that
say,
is
if
my-
it was based on how like much of a horror movie it is, it probably would have been a little bit lower because we were both
yeah.
a little bit on the fence about putting it on this list. But if it's based on the
Isn't-
merits as I guess some people haven't seen it. Do you want to
Yeah, we
explain the
should
plot?
talk
of
Yeah,
about
Dragon?
okay,
this.
Is
so-
this the one where
Is,
they
by the
like
way.
they're like, "Ooh, I'm a fancy chef and I'm going to serve you food," and then they're like, "Ah, this is a human face. I don't want to eat this."
No.
And then
No.
they try to leave, and then they're like, you have to eat the human face, or I'll
No,
kill you."
no.
That's not it.
Oh, okay.
So the menu is a
I think
movie.
that's Resident Evil 7.
Easy mistake to make.
Yeah.
The menu is a movie about this
So true.
this
Menu
is
is
a
a
movie.
So true.
It's a collection of people that are all eating at this really hoity-toity, like high-end fancy.
Three-star
They have to go to
Michelin
an
restaurant.
island. They have to go to an island. to eat
Sounds
this place.
sounds like
They
my
have to-
analysis was pretty correct so far.
Yeah, they have to go.
So
They have to
far,
get a
yeah.
ticket. They have to go to an island. They have to blah 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 blah. And so this guy is dragging this girl along. They're kind of our viewpoint characters, but there's like a food critic. There is a bunch of like fucking like rich dude bro businessmen.
rich
like it's people that
Businessman.
would all be eating at like a
old couple, isn't
hoity-toity
there?
joint
Yeah, there's an old
because
couple
it's a
too.
hoity-toity
Yeah.
joint, and that's the only reason, right? So there's this guy, the main chef. He is kind of almost a Gordon Ramsay type guy, but he's known for his like very artistic food. His meals are an experience. The whole courses are kind of this artistic journey through his food. However, it starts souring when people start noticing that their meals are kind of customized to them, and it's painting them in a really bad light. Like he's talking about like their conspiracies, their cover-ups, their like there's a pancake that's got a picture of like a guy's wife or like a guy cheating on his wife burned into it. There's like another set of like pancakes that have like
Why
a
is
bunch
this
of
real
cover.
what this movie is now?
Yeah, and so it's him
So-
essentially
what if he
pointing
was a
out.
chef?
Yeah.
Anyone could wait. Hold on. Anybody could do that. What makes this chef so special?
And so people realize like, hey, this is bullshit. So they try to leave, and he's like, oh no,
Now you
it's
gotta
just
eat
part
the
of the menu.
face.
It's just part of the menu. Don't worry, it's just part of the menu. And so
Yes.
eventually there's like another chef that comes up, one of his like sous chefs, and he's just like, you wanted to work for me because you thought you could make it. Yes, chef. And he goes, well, here's your time. This is your meal. Show them.
Put on the coat. Do it right
Yeah,
now.
put on the coat
in front of everyone.
Well, no. So or no, one of the
Not
other
in front
sous
of
chefs. I'm
everyone,
talking
but-
about one of the other
Yeah.
sous chefs beneath him, and it's like, well, this is your
Yeah.
moment. Show us your art. And the guy just fucking seppukus himself in the middle of the room and like dies. And he goes,
Yeah.
that man was not a real chef. He could not make it in this kitchen, but his art was like, you know, he went out on his blade and blah 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 blah. One of the guys posited himself to be like a food critic, but he wasn't. He was just kind of a hoity-toity ass. So he forces him to cook a meal in front of everyone, and it sucks. Like, it was essentially a movie about this hoity-toity restaurant taking all of these people that go to a hoity-toity restaurant and essentially saying, like, you don't understand my art. All you do is tear down other people's art. And it's
lambasting them for being shitty people, basically.
Just enjoy the cheeseburger.
And people slowly die off over the course of the
That's
movie
a
as
good
the meal
fucking
kills
cheeseburger,
them.
hey.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This sounds
Yeah,
really
this-
stupid.
It's really good.
What? It sounds
It's
great.
really
It sounds
good.
awesome.
Miceman, it's
This
genuinely
movie
Miceman
has-
as
It
a
sounds. the
Miceman,
only thing I would be.
listen,
able to
shut up.
say-
as a creative, you will enjoy this movie, Miceman.
I
don't
will
know.
say
It just
this
sounds like a
movie has-
pretentious asshole letting
Well,
people die
no,
in his kitchen.
Miceman,
This-
that's the point, though. Everybody
this
else is a
movie
pretentious
has,
asshole.
I think,
He just let a
my
guy kill himself,
favorite-
from what I understand.
You gotta just get to the end
I
of the
would-
movie. Sorry, go ahead.
No, but I would say this movie has, I think, probably my favorite survivor in a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the line she gives is so good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where I guess I don't know if I want to say it because spoilers.
No, it sounds like a couple people here are interested, so let's
Yeah,
leave
so I don't
that.
wanna-
That's why I didn't go
wanna
all the
say-
way to
it
the
has
end.
my
but-
favorite survivor in it, like the way that they survive the whole. And also, I said this during the break, but I want to say it again because I really do think it encapsulates this film perfectly. Is that the menu is to horror movies what a stress dream is to nightmares.
Yeah.
Like it is a horror movie in the same way a stress dream is a nightmare, where
I
it's
agree.
not like a horrible monster is chasing you. It's oh god, oh fuck, I have a test I didn't study.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Caroline says it
I'm
best.
back in
It's hard.
school and I'm
It
not
might
wearing
sound bad
pants.
because I'm bastardizing it by explaining it.
Yeah.
It's kind of more of a movie you have to just sit through and experience. The way
It
that its
is
tone
really
is
good. You have to trust us,
Um,
Miceman.
Sounds
That
kind
is
of
the-
pretentious.
You
but...
have, Miceman, you have to trust us.
It's-
Just sit down and watch this movie.
It's one of those
But
movies that it's hard to pitch without it
I was
sounding
gonna say what I will
pretentious.
say is that the whole point is that it's pretentious because by the
Yeah.
end of the movie, the pretentious chef realizes he too is a part of the pretension.
It posits itself as a very pretentious pseudo horror movie. It's really not.
It kicks its own legs out at the end is essentially what I'm trying to
Yes.
say.
Source, trust me, bro.
Exactly.
Okay.
Anyway.
Maybe I'll check it
Anyway,
out.
So
that's a lot of-
considering the fact,
That's a lot of describing, but that's what this movie is. And again, like Belle's, like, sorry, I'm fucking hot sauce delirious. We almost fucking, sorry, God, my face is on fire. We like
about
it's
to get
bad.
worse.
I'm like sweating. Like you guys don't
It's
understand.
about to
I'm
get worse.
fucking sweating right now. We tried really hard to keep this list horror movie themed, but this was just on the fringe, so we almost didn't put it in. But I thought it would be fun to deliberate about, so I left it in.
okay. So that being said, considering that Dragon just spent the last 2 minutes defending this movie,
Yeah.
I think a real
A
thriller.
real thriller?
Yeah. Everybody in agreement?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure, if that's what you say.
Kind of spooky.
I think this
Fucking
movie
Mice Man
is-
over here.
I'm overruled.
What? I don't
so-
know anything about the menu, and everyone's being like, you gotta see it. So I just can't
Absolute
comment on
cinema.
Like I said, I think this is definitely a movie Drag0n would enjoy, but it's a movie I'm surprised he watched after having heard the synopsis.
Yeah, I
Like,
really
having-
had to kind of push him to watch it, but once he
Yeah.
did, he really liked it.
I'm not surprised he did like it, but I
Mm-hmm.
was surprised that he had watched it in the first place.
I kind of softballed it. I didn't really like show him a lot about it before I just turned it on. So,
Right.
because I was seeing ads for it a lot, and I thought it looked really good.
Mhm.
Okay, so are we good with a real thriller?
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
Dragon?
Can you guys hear my vibrating back pillow?
No.
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 You have a
Okay, great.
vibrator right now?
Hear your mama.
Vibrating back pillow.
All right,
Okay.
Dragon, what do you think?
Sure, Caroline. If I watch
don't
it, I will let you know
how
what I
you
think.
didn't look at this movie and immediately try to convince them that it wasn't iconic horror, because it's 100% in S tier.
I just didn't think you think it was
I-
iconic
yeah,
enough.
all right.
Okay.
loved this movie.
Okay,
Yeah, I was
okay.
even surprised at how much I loved this movie. I she softballed it, and I was like, whatever. And I was so engrossed that by the end, when it ended, I was kind of sad it was over. Like, I looked at her, and I was like, this was fucking amazing. And we had like a 2-hour
We had a 2-hour discussion about it.
Oh yeah.
I just didn't think you'd put it
I-
up with Halloween, like, because like I'm basing like S tier on like what would go in a tier with OG Halloween.
Well, yes,
Right.
but again, keep in mind that I also based this list off of the movies on this list.
That's fair.
And Menu is a top just movie for me, not even horror.
That's
like
fair.
I really liked it.
I
I was
really
so
wanna watch
surprised
this
that I
now.
did.
It's genuinely a very good movie.
I kind of let
Really
my
good.
hand slip by trying to convince Miceman about how good it was, and I was like, oh fuck, they're gonna know I really like this movie. But you guys kind of softballed it a little. But no, 100%, like this is top for me. This is peak.
Okay, but what would Dragon?
What would
order?
Dragon order off the
Well,
menu?
the whole
It would
point
be
of
a.
the menu is that I don't get to order.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those.
So what
places
what
where
would
you don't
happen
get
is
to
you'd go
order.
in there and then the chef would be like, if when you were 5 years old you slapped your mother and here's a piece of bacon in the
Actually,
shape of
he
that.
would listen.
serve you a
That's like one of the
I'm gonna
first
be-
courses.
I'm gonna be
steak.
100% honest with you, and those who have seen the movie know, and those who have seen the movie and know me know that this is true. What I would order, Gerbil, is a cheeseburger,
There you go.
and that's genuine. I would just order a cheeseburger.
That's
Oh.
I
true.
do like cheeseburgers.
All right. Anyway, let us move on to
Cheeseburger's pretty
Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Dream
the
Warriors.
Dream
Three?
Nightmare on Elm Street
Three.
3, Dream,
Dream
Warriors.
Warriors. I think it's under scarily bad, but
Yeah,
I
that
at least
is-
I think Dragon either put it under iconic horror or scarily bad, and I don't know which one to
Dude,
pick.
the fucking TV scene is peak.
It's gotta be scarily
Is this the one
bad,
where
I'm
he has the
sorry.
Nintendo Power Glove, or am I thinking of a different
I
one?
think it
No,
is.
it is. So this
yeah,
is the one
This is the magic
where
missile one.
there's an asylum full of like kids, and he's essentially haunting them. And so, like, one of the kids is in a wheelchair, but he gets up out of his wheelchair and becomes Merlin. Like it's
Magic missile.
magic missile. But the whole thing is that they realize they can fight back against him in the dreams, so they become like RPG
Yeah.
characters essentially. That's
They become
what
Dream
they're
Warriors.
about.
Yeah, they become the Dream Warriors.
Dude, this sounds fun. I'm sorry.
No,
Oh,
it's,
man, I was
it's
so-
really
I didn't-
fun, but it's so bad.
I thought this was Nightmare on Elm Street 1, and I was so excited to talk about the Freddy car. And now we can't talk about
Can't
the
talk about
Freddy
the Freddy
car.
car.
Okay, listen.
No.
The reason I didn't do Nightmare on Elm Street 1 is because it would go in iconic horror.
Yeah.
Iconic horror.
It would be so
obviously.
easy because it's such a good movie, like just genuinely. The reason I didn't pick the second one is because it was kind of boring and I felt like it wouldn't be fun to talk about.
I liked it, but just because it was so fucking weird.
No, it was fine. Like it wasn't a bad movie, but it would be pretty middle of the road, and I
Yeah.
thought that wouldn't be as fun, especially for
And
Freddy
what about
Krueger.
the third one?
So the
Yeah, what do you
third
think?
one,
Yeah, what do you think of
reason
the third
I put it on
one?
here is because no freebies.
Okay.
Damn.
All right. What does everybody think? I think it's scarily bad.
I think it's either got to be iconic horror or scarily
Yeah,
bad,
I'm
right?
just- I gotta go
think
one or the
it's
other.
Scarily bad.
Okay.
I don't
Good two or
know.
scarily bad.
I don't know that it's enjoyable enough to be iconic horror. You
Yeah.
know, it's not Birdemic.
Bad.
This is the
Bad.
problem with like when you get like Nightmare on Elm Street 3, you know, Jason
X.
10, Jason in space,
Jason in
like
that is Jason in space. Yes.
Okay, but
Halloween
Dragon probably
4
eats
is
that shit
Jason in
up.
space.
He does,
I
but
know.
also he won't put something like that in the same tier with Halloween.
Yeah.
And if he didn't pull a fast on us and do another
like
Birdemic,
the thing is, you know, Alien 3, you gotta like take these things, or I guess I actually kind of liked Alien 3. I heard Alien 4 was
Yeah.
very bad.
Alien
Uh,
3 is not great.
Okay, well, you know, we all have our opinions.
Shut up, Miceman.
But
This is
we
my
gotta
theory.
we gotta like try to take into account, like, is this movie so bad it's good in Drag0n's eyes, right?
and would Dragon put a movie that's so bad it's good in iconic, or would he still put it in scarily bad?
Right.
I think he would put it in scarily bad, but
I think he wouldn't have included Scarily Bad if something wasn't in there.
Yeah,
And I
if we have
think
any,
Yes.
but we
There
have
was
had
one
very
thing.
bad.
what's left.
This is not, by
We've
the
had a
way,
couple.
especially for anyone new that showed up, this list is not my list. This is what they thought my list
Yes.
was. My list is not on screen.
yes.
Just so you guys know.
Like out of what's left, I think that's the only thing that really fits in Scarily Bad, unless he like fucking hates
Terrifier.
the bird or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Or
No,
like
he's
Cult of
not
the
gonna hate
Lamb.
So I think
or...
most of us are in
I
agreement
guess-
scarily bad, right?
I guess
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers wasn't scarily bad.
Yeah,
so.
Jeepers Creepers.
Does that
and
kind of barely
That was a
counts.
genuinely like scummy movie. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I think this would be an iconic horror, but you guys can put it in.
I think we've
Scarily
got 4 for Scarily Bad at this point, so.
Bad. I'm outnumbered. I have no.
That's the
chance.
majority.
Well, if it makes you
Outnumbered
guys
just
feel
like
any
Freddy.
better, you were wrong on both accounts. It's left me feeling hollow.
God
I
damn.
fucking knew it.
Now,
Damn.
here's why. You're right. I actually, if a movie was so bad it's good, I would put it in iconic horror. In fact, I took Rubber off this list because of that reason.
Rubber.
But
No, Rubber's too easy. It obviously goes in iconic
yeah,
horror.
exactly.
It goes in peak fiction, yeah.
But this movie was not so bad it's good. It was just kind of bad.
Yeah.
They tried to go for something, and I just don't think it worked. I think Freddy was fun, which puts it up a little bit. And specifically, the only reason it is above Scarily Bad is because magic missile. The scene where the kid gets out of the wheelchair, becomes Merlin, and uses magic missile on Freddy Krueger is peak cinema. And so it had to go up one, but it wasn't.
Absolutely.
It wasn't nearly bad good enough to be any higher. So it kind of was a little middled out for me.
Dragon, let me ask you a question here.
Yeah.
Where would you rank Christine on this list?
Christine?
Yeah, that's the one about the car
Yeah, I was gonna
that
say.
kills people.
Oh, I actually have never seen it.
Oh wow.
Isn't it like the car is his wife?
Dude, that just made me think of another movie that fucking
Yeah, why did you-
Monster
What was it called?
Yeah, I was
House.
gonna say,
Where
Dragon,
would
why
you
did you
rank
put
Monster
Monster
House?
House on this list?
Monster
yeah.
House is definitely iconic.
That's what I
horror.
figured.
Yeah, it's too easy in iconic
Obviously.
horror.
Okay, but
Obviously.
how would he have sex with his wife after she's a house?
You know, you cut a hole in the
You
rock.
are
you got a whole
so uncreative, Dragon.
Okay,
No,
let's-
this is
can
an
think of
inside
so
joke
many
because
ways.
me, Miceman, and Noah had a huge debate about how this would work.
Yeah, we did. We brought up the Junji Ito story, if
God
I
damn
remember
it.
correctly.
God damn it.
I
Okay.
can think of so many ways, Dragon.
I said
Oh,
if you plug like a sex toy into the wall outlet, does that
Mhm.
extensive become a part of the house, or is it only the
Dude,
house?
shut the fuck
Okay,
up.
let's move on. Let's move on to the Purge. This one's gonna require some debate.
Yes, it is.
I think
This is
a real
scarily
thriller.
bad.
movie.
I think this is a real
The
thriller.
original Purge is pretty good.
No, I
It's
genuinely.
just a home invasion
I
movie.
think that he thought the original Purge was better than we both thought it was gonna. Like, we came in going, okay, it's gonna be like a mid-tier movie, whatever, and then we watched it. We
Yeah,
both
the
actually
later
got
movies,
Did it better.
a
the later
relative
movies
amount of
are all-
enjoyment from it.
The later movies are all awful. The first movie is very much a very small scale film, and the not quite twist, but like the turn at the end that it's like, oh yeah, the murder is barely a part of this. There's a reason the Purge is in April during
Dude,
tax
I don't know.
season.
I've
This
never
movie
been able.
activates a fucking primal fear of mine, just the world being out to get me. I don't know.
Fair.
Grayman
We are out
versus
to
the
get
world.
you.
Grayman versus the world. I don't think it's iconic horror by any means. I don't
I
even
think
know
it's-
if I'd put it under a real thriller.
Really?
Here's the thing, right?
I'd maybe put it.
Dragon-
I'd definitely put it under kind of spooky though.
Jargon
I feel like-
talked about how in which one was it? One
We're
of them
getting
at
into
the very
psycho
start.
analysis. I love
Yeah.
this.
At the very start of what was it like? He talks about how at the very start of the movie, one of the movies, somebody says something and that ruins the rest of the movie for him. And which one was that? Was that the doll one? Silent something?
That was
Dead Silence,
the-
yeah.
Dead Silence.
Dead Silence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dead Silence was the
So-
one where they make the huge leap in logic, and I kept thinking about it.
Exactly. So here's my thought process, right? I think The Purge would have a similar vibe to Dead Silence, right? Because the whole basis of the movie is this stupid purge thing
Miceman,
that makes no sense.
Miceman, I'm gonna interrupt you right now because you and I had a whole conversation about this the other day. You
Right.
just did not buy into the concept of the purge whatsoever.
No, I don't, and I
From
still
what
don't.
I remember, Drag0n
biased
and I
Miceman
both
into it.
thought that the undertones about fascism was interesting.
Yes, because that's the whole turn at the end of the movie,
Yes.
right? Is
Mhm.
that the actual point of the Purge isn't the murder, it's for rich people to exploit poor people with no
Well,
legal
yeah, that's the point
repercussions.
of like the third purge, but that's not the first one.
Well,
It's
I was
just
gonna
about,
say,
like,
so
it's a
there-
home invasion movie
there
with a
is-
stupid premise.
No, so there is a lot of the subtext about how the whole point is how rich versus poor exploitative, right?
Right.
I did not let this next part infiltrate my thoughts because it's not in this movie. But I guess, and I haven't seen the later Purge movies, but later Purge movies say that no actual real people were actually killing. It was like a government psyop to make people think that there was killing.
Yeah,
And everyone involved in the actual killing was not real. I don't associate that with
Stupid.
my thoughts because that's not a part of this movie. But it
Like I
set
said,
me
that-
up going into this movie thinking that there was a lot of government subtext.
Yeah.
Every other Purge movie sucks. I'm just gonna
That's
say
what I've
that.
heard.
But
That's what I've heard.
but I don't think the first one is bad, and I don't think he thinks the first one is bad. No, Yandere,
Dream
it was
Warriors
actually
and
left me
ads.
feeling hollow. This is the Yandere. This is where we're guessing that Drag0n's movies are, not where they actually are.
I love someone coming in and being like, "Whoa, what the fuck, Dream Warriors?"
Literally though, dude, it's a fucking cult classic, dude. We got this little cult going on.
No, it is, and you also have to keep in mind that these are my genuine thought, not what's on screen, what the actual list is. These are my genuine thoughts, but also I was ranking these movies in relation to this list. So yes, I like Dream Warriors. I just, compared to this list and compared to where I would have to put it on this list,
Okay.
you know,
Again,
Kinda
sorry
spooky.
I was gonna say sorry to be mid again, but I think it's kind of spooky.
Yeah, I think it's
I
not
feel like-
amazing, but it's not terrible.
The way Drag0n's talking about it, it sounds like he does like it at least more than I thought he would. So yeah, why not kind of spooky?
Is
He
everybody
has
in
a really
agreement?
good poker face right now.
Okay.
well, to be fair, when we watched The Purge, we already knew that this was going to be a stream.
We didn't yet. No, we were thinking about it.
We had
but-
thought about it, which is why I did not. I had a plan when watching The Purge,
Okay.
and it was
Yeah.
to be as genuine as possible because that shit's a real thriller.
Okay. That was my other guess.
okay.
but-
Me when I'm
okay.
right. Me when I'm always
Really?
right.
You
Good
thought
eye,
so?
Caroline.
Yeah, Grayman
Hi,
has locked
Caroline.
in. You guys have underweighted Grayman
I
because
know,
Grayman's
we really
locked the
have.
fuck
Okay,
in.
man, you gotta speak up.
Good
But
night,
listen, I can't
Caroline.
speak up with all you guys talking over me. All right. I'm
Then
not
just
that
talk
loud.
louder.
Man.
Okay, but the
Dude,
real
I don't want to get
reason
noisy
Purge-
complaints,
I got
okay?
things I want to say.
The reason Purge is a real thriller is because genuinely, first of all, the guy who is the main antagonist, the like guy who comes up to the doorbell and he's like, "Hello, family."
He's horrifying.
Spine tingling.
horrifying.
He wigged me the fuck
He's
out, and I thought that was
horrifying.
great. I picked up on a lot of the subtext between like the fact that it was definitely the Purge was invented not to solve an actual problem, but to like do a rich versus poor. Like we could just bully people without having repercussions.
Reduce the poor
Um,
population.
The other thing is that it's specifically called the Purge for a reason because Purge has in history somewhat of a kind of religious context. So there was also kind of
Connotation.
the subtext of everyone committing to something because it's for the greater good, even though they don't believe in it. And I liked that religious comparison, even though it had nothing to do with religion in the movie. I thought there was a lot of good things that it talked about, and I thought that the horror was actually good. It could never be an iconic horror. It just can't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I really liked it. I thought it had a lot of... It was a good horror... It was the rare good horror movie that also has a lot of messages and subtext behind it, because those things normally don't touch each other very well.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Miceman has lowered his opinion of Drag0n, and let's
I
continue.
am not a fan of the Purge, but
That's
you know,
fine.
this
I
isn't
can
my
totally...
tier list.
It also depends on how much you can suspend your disbelief for the Purge. I normally have a trouble with that, but again,
because it was the whole concept of the movie.
Because I went into it with the context of knowing that the future films say that this was all a psyop, I actually don't like that. I think that ruins the Purge now that I've seen it.
That's exactly why
I
the
always-
other movies suck.
I always felt like it was a cop out. Like if you're gonna commit to it, like commit to it. Just be like, in this world, people are fucking weirdos and they murder each other. Don't
Yeah.
make it a
Like, so you
government
just leave me
psyop.
to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it wasn't a government psyop in the first movie, which is why I like it so much.
Exactly.
Okay. So we're gonna have problems with this next one because
Right.
because if it was my list, I would put Reanimator under iconic horror. I
Yes.
adore the shit out of Reanimator. But I'm unsure about how Drag0n really feels about it because on the one hand, I think he could really like it, just like I do. On the other hand, I think he also could just really not like it and just be humoring me. And I know he threw this one on this list specifically to fuck with me.
Yeah, this was
What
my,
a good boyfriend.
Yeah.
This is my. Hey, she did that with hers. She put one on there that she knew I'd fight adamantly
Reanimator
for, and it
Pog
fucked me
moment.
up.
Reanimator is
So
good.
this is the one where he stabs a person with the life syringe and then their intestines become alive, right?
I believe so, yes. Yeah, this is based on the H.P. Lovecraft story.
Yes.
Yeah,
This is the
Reanimator.
talking head in the little tray.
Yes, it is the
when
talking
Morgan
head of the
dies.
little tray. Yes. I love
It
this
has been
movie.
a hot.
It's so cheesy.
I have not seen this movie in
and
forever.
so silly and so funny, and I love it.
Very good.
But sometimes
silly.
things like that, either Drag0n really likes those things, or if he doesn't buy them, he really doesn't. He's laughing back there.
No, I fucking rubbed my eye.
Oh god damn! Why do you always do that?
Listen. It's been so long since I've had to take a hot sauce shot that I just forgot and I rubbed my face.
Okay. Well, don't worry. After this, we're gonna hit a bunch that I just know
Yeah,
where
no.
they are.
The freebies are kind of towards the end.
Yeah. So I honestly need to step out of the ring with this one because I honestly have no fucking idea where he put
Oh, you're just
Reanimator.
gonna choose to abstain to prevent your judgment from clouding you. Is that
No,
what you're
I'm
saying?
gonna end up listening to what everybody else says and basing my opinion on what they think.
Okay, Grayman,
I
what do you
don't know.
think?
I'm thinking. I mean, it really depends on if Drag0n really likes this movie or he just thinks it's like good. So it's either kind of spooky or iconic horror. I'm leaning more towards like kind of spooky though. It's just a fucking talking head, dude. It's just the fucking talking guy that wants his body back or something. I don't remember.
But does he?
I-
The question is, does he buy into the goofiness of it or not?
Does he? Yeah. If he does buy into the goofiness, then it's
It is
definitely
fun.
higher.
Here's
It
the
is
thing,
fun.
right? He kind of bought into the goofiness of Nightmare on
Dude.
Elm Street 3, kind of.
I would say
that went in
Reanimator is
follow.
more fun than Dream Warriors,
Oh,
to be
absolutely it
fair.
is. Yes, because Reanimator was supposed. I mean, Dreamers was kind of supposed to be fun, but like Reanimator is supposed to be a stupid, silly comedy horror.
Yeah.
Kind of spooky.
I mean, I feel like kind of spooky is the way to go here, like very middle of the road,
I think
because
so.
it's not the scariest film and it's not the funniest
Yeah.
film, but it is kind of both of those things.
Don't fucking do this to me, Miceman, as a fellow HP Lovecraft fan. But okay.
I love H.P. Lovecraft, but you also got to take a movie at its face value, you know?
I think Reanimator is a fucking great movie. But okay, we're putting in kind of spooky. Is that the agreement?
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm sorry. I also have not seen this movie in a long time, so
Okay.
my
Yeah.
my judgment
Alright,
might be a little
Drag0n,
clouded.
tell me we're wrong.
Scarily bad.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew
Really
it.
bad.
I knew it.
Listen, it was fine. It wasn't bad. It was not a bad movie. I didn't hate it. I just didn't have as much fun with it as I thought I was going to
Pretty
when
bad,
she described
Shadow.
it. And I think that, and I mean this with all respect to the movie, because again, it was a fine movie. I think being boring is more of a sin than being bad.
I just
and
don't think it was boring.
it was fine. I didn't really care. I think that, like you said, I have to buy into it, and I just didn't
No, he
really care.
He put the C tier in fucking like F tier, dude.
We're gonna have some words later, Dragon. I have some.
It was
words
fine.
later.
Like, I can see
Oh,
why
no.
people like it, but it just
Here-
wasn't
here
for me.
comes
I just
The
didn't.
divorce arc.
Divorce arc coming.
Drag0n is sleeping on the couch tonight.
Dragon is definitely.
Yeah, and then
sleeping
I'm
on
getting
the couch
reanimated.
tonight. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's getting
Yeah.
reanimated.
Oh, Magil of Shadows is freaking
He
out about
put
Nightmare 3.
Nightmare 3.
I didn't put it in F. I put
No,
it
we
in
put it in
left
F.
me.
He
This
put
is
it
not
in
my
C.
list. This is not my list.
We put it in F. He put it in C.
This is our list, not his list.
Okay. So moving on to Ringu.
Yeah, this
So
is
th-
not
th-
the
so-
ring.
What is
This
this?
is
This
so
is
this
Ringu.
is the original Japanese Ring movie.
Japanese,
Ringu.
Okay, so
Um,
I've seen Ringu, and
You hate
Yep.
it. I know you hate it.
I didn't hate it. I quite liked
Oh,
Ringu.
okay.
I think my favorite scene was when they dig up Sadako's corpse, and then they're like, "We've done it, Sadako. You can be free. You don't have to torment anyone anymore. This is a happy day." And then Sadako fucking kills them. I thought that was great. It's very.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I know.
Well, I was just gonna say. Oh.
Miceman.
Okay, so
God damn it, you guys.
Ringu and the Ring. I liked both Ringu and the Ring. Surprisingly, I thought they were different enough movies that they could both stand on their own.
I'm going to keep this fair. I have never seen The Ring.
We have both only seen the original Japanese Ringu.
I've only seen
Ringu.
Because we're freaky like that.
I think the Ring is quite good.
I've
think
just
you guys would
always
enjoy
heard
it.
that Ringu is better than The Ring, which is why I said I'm just gonna watch that instead.
Ringu is a lot more Japanese horror, obviously.
Which, we both like that a lot,
but I think The Ring also does a good job of capturing it. But Ringu is very Japanese. I'd say it's like the quintessential Japanese horror movie, obviously. And I think Drag0n would probably.
Terrible. This is a top tier horror movie because I'm scared of women.
It's a very like slow burn movie is the thing. And I'm looking at our list, right? And I'm thinking about what Drag0n has said. Does he like slow burn? How much does he like slow burn?
From what I know about him, it depends. If he buys into the tension, he likes slow burns a lot. If he doesn't, he really doesn't. With Ringu, I believe he really bought into the tension and really liked it. I don't know whether it's iconic or a real thriller. That's my only deliberation.
I mean, this again falls into the issue of
I'm
like,
voting iconic.
It's definitely not the origin, but it is probably the most iconic version of Japanese ghost girl, long white robe, black hair in front of her face, which is like a trope now.
Yeah.
Ringu is not the origin of that. That's just like a Japanese.
Of it.
Yeah. Would you might say it's iconic for that?
The most iconic. Yeah, that's.
Would you say it's iconic?
Does he think it's iconic? I think he might.
I think Drag0n would. Yeah.
I don't know if he'd put Ringu with like Halloween as the thing, but
I don't know. I think Ringu and Halloween are pretty comparable.
Okay.
Dude, Shadow bringing up Aedrah.
Okay.
Erna's great.
Who says iconic horror?
I vote for iconic.
Miceman does?
I'll vote iconic.
I vote iconic.
Okay, I will too then.
All right.
I think it might be a real thriller, but we'll do iconic. Drag0n?
That was a smart choice. That was a smart
choice. Yeah! Go Miceman! Pulling us through. I was going to say real thriller.
I'll explain myself, but give me a second. Oh, a lot came out. You guys deserve it. You guys didn't get tricked by this one.
Woo!
Oh, God.
When Hedgehog started talking about how you guys really like Japanese horror, I figured
he's banging his desk.
It hits the tongue, and it tastes like fucking. It tastes like cement.
Put it.
Make a taste of your fucking sauce.
Let me tell you something.
What brand of hot sauce is this?
Hot Ones, like the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's why. It's because you picked a shit hot sauce.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I just wanted to pick something. Listen,
everyone knows that their hot sauce sucks.
I went to Target and I was like, what's something that'll hurt me? And that's the only one. And it's hurting me.
Hey, if I had known that this was going on.
Alright, I gotta explain Ringu.
Okay.
While you're hurting.
It's also not the sauces they use on the show, for the record.
So
no, it's not.
Ringu.
Stinker time.
Ringu is, I think, like you guys said, it is the perfect encapsulation of Japanese horror. And Japanese horror is relatively hit or miss with me, depending on the tension build. Hedge said it best. If I could get invested in something, I will sit through it no matter how long it takes. But if the moment I lose interest, I will lose interest. And
I'm going to fucking get you.
The Ring, sorry, not the Ring. Ringu kept me on the edge of my seat the entire movie. Like every time something happened, I was like there. You know what I mean? Like it was excellently done at making. And to be fair, I think it also is because it's Japanese and is because it's got this. I don't want to say foreign mystique, but like it's not. It added to the weird
from
horror.
What we have here.
Yes, it added to the weirdness of the horror because I felt uncomfortable because I kind of didn't know. Right? Exactly, that's perfect.
You had no like ground to stand on.
I had no ground to stand on, and they still swept the legs underneath.
That's what I mean.
And I also love Sadako. I think Sadako is one of my favorite horror icons just as a character. I love her to pieces. Her design is relatively simple and yet somehow so effective. And again, it's not necessarily even the scariest movie by far, but man, if you are not fucking a bundle of tension that entire watch.
Oh, yeah.
So it's top.
I need to watch this sometime.
No, you really
Now I
should.
gotta
Grayman.
ask-
It's great.
I gotta ask the forbidden question. Now that you said you love Sadako so
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
what did you think of her initial introduction to Dead by Daylight?
Oh my god.
Don't bring up Dead by
Look.
Daylight, my friend.
Look, we made it almost all the way through. It had to come up at least
Listen,
once.
I'll give him one. I think that when she was announced to be in Dead by Daylight, that was one of the most excited I've ever been for a character. In the PTB, she was overpowered as fuck, and I loved it. She was underpowered as fuck, and I loved it. And then she went live, and she was overpowered as fuck because they overcorrected. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Her power's really fun. And then people abused it, so now they've just nerfed her into the ground 80 million times to the point where you can't even really play her anymore. But I loved the fact that they kept the tape gimmick. They just didn't know what to do with it. But I was so excited because, again, I'm a big Sadako fan. Like, Sadako is one of my top tiers. So when they said we're doing Ringu, I lost my shit. And then they said the Survivor was their OC, and I fucking shit myself.
He's not an OC.
He's
That's
the
the
kid
thing.
grown up.
Exactly. He's the kid
Which is
from the second
stupid.
movie.
So that's an OC.
Boring,
So that's a
stupid,
character
dumb.
that
Give
Okay.
me the main
I
character.
Alright,
really liked
Let's
him.
move on from Dead by Daylight before we get
But
to
no,
it.
Ringu is iconic. I love it. I have contemplated seeing the ring, but I don't want it to leave a bad taste in my mouth. So I
That's
haven't yet.
literally why we both haven't yet.
I'm
You
gonna,
know what
I'm gonna go
else
out.
is
I'm gonna come out
iconic?
on a limb here, and I'm gonna say I really like The Ring, and I think you guys should watch it.
Fair
I
enough.
thought it was really
Your
good.
opinions have also been shit the rest of the night, Miceman. So.
You are wrong.
So
Also,
true.
one final comment before we move on. Ringu versus Ju-on review when? Right now. Ringu is superior to Ju-on. Ju-on is not terrible. Ringu is a masterpiece.
No. Yandere Totoro was talking about the movie.
Yeah.
Nigel, you are wrong. The Ring is
No,
fun.
the
you just have
movie
to let
Ringu
it...
versus Juon.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking
Have you
about.
seen it?
Yes,
Oh,
I've seen
okay.
both of them.
No,
No,
he's
the
talking
movie
about the movie Ringu versus
Where they
Ju-on.
fight
Oh, no, I haven't
Is
seen that
a
right.
movie.
I thought he meant Ringu versus the movie Ju-on. No, I have not seen
No,
Sadako versus Kaneko yet. No.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we actually just
What about
watched
Sadako versus Predator? Have you seen that
Ju-on
one?
last night, and it was not as good as I remember it being. It was fine.
It's fine. It was
But
fine.
Ringu is far superior in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Okay. Saw.
You know what
Saw?
else
Thriller.
is iconic? It's Saw.
Real Thriller.
I
Hey,
don't
this
think
is
a
original
hot
Saw,
take.
right?
I
Yes,
hate
The
it's
first
OG
Saw.
Saw.
This is not any of the sequels.
This is
Saw.
iconic horror.
I think it's iconic
obviously
horror.
iconic
I think
horror.
it's iconic
I-
horror.
Holy shit!
Absolutely.
Saw is one of the few movies where I was legitimately surprised by the ending. I'm
I
almost never
have-
surprised by a movie.
I have a hot.
This is
I don't know if this is a
Drag0n's
hot
list.
take. I think the twist at the end of Saw fucking sucks.
Okay.
You're.
I think
That's
Drag0n
okay.
loved
You're
it.
right. No,
Makes no
Aedrah's
sense.
right.
Okay.
I'm letting my own bias
I was
get
gonna
ahead
say
of me
it's
here.
either iconic horror or real thriller. The only reason I would even consider it real thriller is that Drag0n's trying to throw us off. I think it's iconic horror.
Is that what?
I think
Drag0n's
it's
trying to throw
iconic
us
horror.
off, but I think it's iconic horror.
I think I gotta
I
agree
think it's
with
real
Gerbil.
thriller.
Saw is iconic horror, or
Okay,
Dragon is
we
a smelly
have
wet
three
fart doo-doo
for
head.
iconic horror. We can still be tied.
I'm gonna go real thriller.
Okay, and then
What
Abe's the
the
real
fuck?
thriller too.
Oh god.
Is that a tie?
alright.
3-3
No, I
tie?
don't
Dude,
think
if
I haven't
Claude
voted
says real
yet.
thriller, it's a fucking tie.
I haven't voted yet. The problem is I was gonna say real thriller.
Tie it, Claude. Tie it.
Put Saw on a real thriller. You betrayed your friends.
I don't.
Now
I
you have
don't
to fill your
really
urethra.
Convinces you to put it on
I
your
was
iconic
gonna
horror
say the same thing. I was gonna be
mind.
like, do you remember when you stepped on that bug 3 years ago? Your urethra is filling with hot lead.
What the fuck?
Look, that's your punishment,
Really
Claude.
put it on the movies.
Oh god. Whoever the first person who says something in chat, that's what I'll say.
I can't be in chat. Hello,
Thorn
No,
said
it's-
it Saw
No,
is
no,
an
no,
iconic
someone that's
horror.
not in
No,
this.
Oh, someone's
Someone
not
who's
here.
not in the call. The first person.
I mean,
to pick
Rose
something
already
in
said a
chat
Saw
is what
isn't
I'll say.
iconic horror.
Okay.
Iconics is Magil. Iconics
All
is
right,
Magil.
Magil says iconic.
All right.
All right.
Iconic.
Yeah, I was already pouring my hot sauce.
Yeah, okay, it's iconic. Okay,
Yeah,
come on,
this
guys.
was
Come
a
on, guys.
freebie, dude.
Come
This
on.
was a fucking
Now-
freebie.
I'm surprised
Now,
this
can
got as
we
far as
talk
it got
about-
because this was supposed to be a freebie. Yeah.
It's obviously
No, the
iconic
next
horror.
one is
I
a
can't believe
freebie,
this
come
was ever
on.
a question.
Can,
Oh, is
can
that
we
silent?
talk about
That's
how,
Scream,
It's
by
right?
the
Obviously,
way,
also iconic horror.
can we talk about how, by the way, when he picks up the cell phone at the end of the movie and it's September 10th, 2001,
Yeah.
and it's like,
It's
oh,
been a
boy,
really
you
bad
have
day.
a real bad 2
Oh,
days back to
no.
back.
Yeah, Jigsaw did 9/11. It's true.
Okay.
So,
Okay, Saw.
I don't even know if I need to explain this one. Yeah, it's an amazing movie. It was like Miceman. I'm really good at predicting endings. Hedge knows this because I constantly do it, and she hates that I
Yeah,
can do
every
it.
time I show him a movie, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, he's never gonna guess this ending, and then he does, and I go, God damn it.
Saw,
It's the ADHD pattern recognition.
Saw
I'm sorry.
fucking mollywopped me.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
was
know.
like,
I
what?
hate that
No
twist. I don't know
way.
why. It just
No, you're
thing is,
entirely valid for
actually-
that, but like
Yeah.
it just
I think it's
mollywopped
dumb,
me as a twist.
personally.
And I just thought like, oh, what is the only place that he could know all of this shit? In the room. And he was in the room. You know what I mean? Like it's such a thing that you should have thought about it, but like you could never expect it to be that. And I love it. I love the way that they I just love the fact that Saw is so gritty and real. Just throw two people in a room, lock the room, and they're
And
forced
one
to do
of them is
unexplainable
Wesley from
shit.
Princess Bride.
Yeah,
That's what really got
that's
me.
also really
So
funny.
true.
But
And
also, the fact
that
that it's essentially
bathroom
just
makes no
forcing
sense.
forcing two people to have to trust each other in a situation where they shouldn't, and they obviously don't halfway through. And it's this whole like mind game. I'm a big fan of the first Saw movie. The rest of the Saw movies I'm not as big of a fan of. I haven't seen Saw 2 in a very long time, so I want to watch it and form an opinion on it. But
I
the
think
rest of them I think just
the
kind of blow.
actual Saw killer from the end of the movie is a better Saw killer than the guy they set up as the person to rug pull under, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't
But,
understand why the puppet never
I
does
think
anything.
the movies where
'Cause he's a
he's
puppet,
the
nice
actual
man.
killer are
Oh, that didn't stop
Really?
the
shocking.
movies where
Name
he
is
is the
Billy.
killer are inferior,
Dude,
unfortunately.
it was fucking
Yeah.
over for Adam. Like as soon as he fucking woke up, like bro didn't stand a chance with that fucking key in the bathtub.
No, yeah, it's just, but also I think it's gotten to the point where Saw as a movie franchise is now no longer about what Saw was about. Does that make
Oh
sense?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like,
It's about the traps now.
Yeah, the newest Saw movies are just like I said.
Yeah.
You stepped on a bug. Your urethra's filling with hot lead. Like it makes no sense. It doesn't mean anything. Like the original Saw was sitting two characters in a room and forcing them to realize that they're way more inexplicably connected than they thought they ever would be. And it was another one of those movies that was really good at being scary and also telling a really interesting story.
Okay, here's a hot take
You know-
for you it's gonna upset some people.
Yeah.
The newer Saw movies are like Terrifier. It's all about the
moving on.
kills.
We're moving on. Scream.
Scream.
Does anybody
Iconic.
have any dissenting opinions? Are we all iconic?
It's
Iconic horror because
Okay.
it subverts
This
the
is-
horror
I
tropes.
will
and
tell you
fucking
guys-
make it
I've never
I
been
will
so
tell you
happy to be a
guys,
virgin.
I will tell you guys, this is one of Drag0n's favorite movies. Take your shot.
I'm
Yeah.
pouring it already.
Yep,
This
take
was
your
actually
fucking shot.
this was the freebie.
Yeah,
Like, there
take
were
your
some
fucking
freebies,
shot.
but this was the freebie.
Come on, he's
the
literally
reason this
stated
was-
to me that it's one of his favorite
Sorry,
movies.
hold on. And
Terrifier is about a silly little guy.
little guy being quirky.
He's just a little guy.
Gerbil, you're
Little guy.
It
It's
is,
my birthday.
and that's why I like it.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think it's a great movie.
I'm sorry for the
I
chat
just
that just had to
enjoy
hear
it
me
a
like
lot.
gag into my mic.
You should be
No,
gay
do it
anyway.
more.
Do it more.
This is the whole point of the screen.
Yeah.
No, but like I actually gagged, which is gross. The
Blech.
the reason Scream is up there doesn't need to be explained. It's one of the best horror movies of all time. One of the best slasher movies of all time. The twist is incredible. The acting is perfect.
My
Again,
favorite part was that I knew Matthew Lillard exclusively as Shaggy, so I did not
Exactly,
see
yeah.
the twist coming.
Again, I love that that this was a slasher film made for slasher enjoyers, so they systematically undid all of the tropes, unraveled them, and like fucked around with the like system. Again, they call themselves out. Like there's the scene where the guy's looking through the camera and he sees the Ghostface come up behind the guy on the couch and he's like, no, turn around, and the guy on the watching the horror movie is like, turn around, he's right behind you. Like, it's so geniusly done. It's and again, the big twist of it being not just one person but two people.
Yes.
And that's how they were able to both always be in the same place at the same time.
Fantastic.
It's Halloween is the only slasher film that ranks higher than that for me, but it's peak cinema.
Peak cinema. Absolute cinema.
All right.
Yeah, and it saved the genre.
Wow.
Magil has a point. It literally revitalized the genre as a whole.
All right.
I love it. Ghostface is
Now, what about
cool.
scary movie?
The Shining.
The Shining.
Also,
Alright,
wait, I have
here's
one
my
more thing to
thought.
say about Ghostface. Sorry, I forgot. I was gonna mention this. I love that Ghostface as a character is not the people that hold the movie license. It's just the guy that makes the silly costumes.
Yeah.
So
Funko.
he is-
Funko.
Yeah, so he is constantly able to do licenses with other things because he owns it, and he's not a stingy $1 million movie producer. He's a fucking guy who likes making costumes and he loves horror.
Right.
So he likes making fun ghost faces, and I think that that's great because we get so much ghost face stuff that isn't going through the lens of like a greedy company, and I love that.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
It's great.
Okay. The Shining. The only thing that worries me, because Dragons are a really big Stephen
Production.
King fan, but the production. The production
what I was
was
gonna say.
awful.
Yeah.
And specifically, Shelley Duvall got heavily abused on this set. But I know that it is a very good movie, and Dragon really does like The Shining a lot as a
It's
movie.
a very good movie.
So do
Where
we
did he
think
put Exorcist again?
he put Exorcist at did we get that one right,
Kind of
Dragon?
spooky.
Yeah, that one
Yeah,
was correct.
It was kind of spooky. Yep.
I think The Shining would go there.
But he likes
Shining
The
is
Shining.
a really good movie.
Yeah, The Shining. He likes The Shining better than The Exorcist, I think, though.
Shining is a
I
really
don't
good-
know if it would be in Scarily Bad because of the production.
No, it definitely
That's what I'm
wouldn't
worried
be.
about.
I don't think it would
No.
be down there.
It wouldn't be that low, I think.
I think a real thriller, but that's me.
I guess we gotta how much does Dragon care about human rights? That's what
I
we gotta
mean,
like
he-
figure
I mean,
out
he
here.
does
Put
care, but it
Jeepers
depends on the
Creepers
human
in
right.
The very bottom.
He put Jeepers Creepers in the very bottom, though, for a very specific reason. Though.
Saying it is a woman whose human rights were violated.
Right. So
Yeah,
children
throw that
matter
shit in
more
iconic
than
horror.
women.
Human rights were not
Yeah.
sexually
Women.
violated, though, which I
Iconic
think
horror.
is the difference.
Yes, no, it was
Like, she was abused on set, and it was not good, but
Mhm.
and I think she does have a
But-
little bit of trauma from it, but it was not like ruining a child's life forever and ever.
Well, because the child actor. in
Yeah, the
that
child actor's
movie
actually very well treated.
specifically he also didn't even know it was a horror
Yeah,
movie.
he had no idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a real thriller, but I'm willing to.
Yeah,
hear
I
it.
think I gotta agree. I
Obviously,
think
as we all know, this movie is the evidence that Kubrick faked the moon landing.
Yes,
Mhm.
Of course.
Uh-huh.
That
Of course,
is
obviously.
True.
hysterical.
Yandere Totoro. I don't know why you said that, but you're very wrong.
Yeah, we've been seeing some
definitely.
awful
I
takes
love
from
that
everybody
Miceman
tonight.
just said
Some-
Yanare Totoro.
wrong.
Literally the
I-
name of a
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
I I think it's a real thriller. I think
I
it would
think
be an
it's wrong.
iconic horror if it wasn't what happened to the
Yeah.
actress.
Yes, I agree as well. That looks like me, CLaUD Miceman. Any dissenting opinions?
Kind of spooky because fuck you guys.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
loved the book, Gerbil.
Okay. Grayman, do you also
I'm gonna
say...
go with Madam
Okay.
and say kind of
Okay.
spooky because fuck you guys.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Grayman,
So
are you gonna
real,
make
let's
us?
go.
Grayman, are you gonna make us? Are you gonna make us throw this?
Real thriller.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Grayman.
Dragon.
Boo.
So, the order that we did these in, while planned for, did fuck me a little bit because I've proven that does impact my choice.
It was iconic
Yeah.
horror, wasn't it?
It would have been iconic horror.
Would
but
have been
the
iconic horror.
conditions were really
Mhm.
bad, and so I had to bump it down one.
A real
I actually
thriller.
put it in iconic
real
horror
thriller.
and then moved it down one.
Absolutely, take your
Also-
fucking shot.
Read
Again,
like a
The
book.
Exorcist had the exact same problem, but The Exorcist was
Right.
knocked down an additional one because of the fact that I don't find the religious horror as
Ryan's
compelling.
like Stephen King haters.
But no, yeah, literally The Shining would have been iconic horror, but they fucking mistreated that woman so bad, and I feel so bad about it. However, I can't, because the movie is so iconic and so, it is a good movie as much as I hate to say it. Like, it's really good, and it's one of those movies that to this day genuinely freaks me out. Like, everyone has their...
very unfortunate that it's not... Yeah, I was gonna say, it's very unfortunate that the scene of her walking backwards up the stairs is as good as it is, because that was, what, take 127?
Yeah,
oh, they did...
ridiculous.
They did so many takes, and...
I think famously that's the one that took the most, and that was take 127.
There was also a scene where, you know the scene... where the guy was talking to the child about The Shining and about what was in the room and stuff like that, and he was asking about ice cream. That, I think, had 88 takes, and that guy was not a trained actor, and he was begging the director to stop making him do takes.
Kubrick, yeah.
And the child was just like, no, I could do a bunch more. I'm having a great time.
Oh no!
It's the problem is that Kubrick was a neurotic asshole. Let's not get it twisted.
No, it was awful. And to be fair, a lot of the actors
make a paid actor joke, but literally the child was a paid actor.
And a lot of the actors have gone on to say that the movie is only as good as it is because of how specific he was as a director.
Yes.
But like,
oh no, absolutely.
However,
but also,
when you abuse someone as bad as they did her on that movie,
to get
like,
that result,
it has to be lower. Again, it would be the ultimate top tier on this list, but it had to get lowered one for that because it just...
Now, what's your opinion on this miniseries?
But I have not actually seen the Shining.
It's not very good.
No,
that one had a more direct Stephen King
story isn't
control
actually
over
that
it, right?
great.
Yeah, he actually wrote the screenplay for it.
Yeah.
And that's why
You guys you're not allowed to comment on Stephen King stories until you've snorted cocaine off of the Tommyknockers.
So
God, that's
true.
what I fucking
So
feel
true.
like I'm doing.
So
It's fucking gross ass hot.
All right, let's get him another one then.
But
I loved
sorry,
Tommyknockers.
the one other thing I was gonna say about The Shining, like I said, we all have one horror movie that you watch to this day and it just freaks you out. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Oh my god! You only got that one horror.
Morty.
No, I fully agree with you.
Morty
The
the Shining freaks me the fuck out.
The Shining is one of those movies that like I get just skin crawly when I watch it. Specifically,
Yeah.
I don't know why. Specifically, the scene where they look down the hall and there's the guy in like the bear costume or like the dog.
Yeah, that's
costume.
so weird.
I don't know what it is, but when that thing looks at my soul, I just hate it. I don't know why.
For
But
me, it's the little girls, but damn.
no, see, the little girls is so like part of like cinema for me that I've gotten over that. But like, but the movie is just so uncomfortable. Like you're sitting in this stew of uncomfortability, and it just makes
This actually
you
reminds me
so upset.
of a fucking unreasonably good horror film on YouTube. Fucking chat will probably know. Miceman might know. Fucking Emesis Blue.
Oh, Emesis Blue.
Emesis
Yeah.
Blue.
That's got
love
so
Emesis
many
Blue.
Shining references in
Reasonably
it.
good for a TF2 fan film.
Great.
Oh my god,
You
it's
all need to
incredible.
watch
It's a
this.
full movie. I think
is
it just
phenomenal.
qualifies as a full movie, I think.
All right. We're getting off track though, guys. We gotta plow through this. We're almost done.
But you guys should watch that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, me and Noah
You and
had an
Drag0n's
entire
should absolutely watch
sleepover
that.
watching Emesis Blue, and
Fantastic.
it was incredible.
Fantastic. Noah, also
So
get your
highly
ass in here.
recommend.
Noah, get your ass in this call. Okay,
Noah, you can
Silence
be
of
the
Lamb.
tiebreaker. There's been so many
Yeah,
ties.
please,
If you
Noah,
wanna
come be our
in,
tiebreaker.
feel
He's
free.
playing Helldivers. He's not getting it.
I
God
know,
fucking damn it, Noah.
Alright.
Silence of the Lambs. Do we think it's iconic or do we think it's a real
Clarice.
thriller?
Clarice, I'm going to fill
I-
your urethra
Clarice.
with hot lead,
Hot
Clarice.
I can't, in good conscience, put it in iconic horror only because it has done irreparable damage to public perception of trans people.
But no, hold on now. Hannibal explicitly states that he is not transgender.
Yes, I know, and
Not him,
people
I
don't
swear.
care. The problem is people don't give a shit, and they still.
It's the kidnapper of that movie, not Hannibal
Yeah.
Lecter.
No, but
No, Hannibal Lecter says that the kidnapper is not
Yeah, he
transgender.
specifically says because Clarice goes, "Oh,
That's,
is it
Buffalo
because of a
Bill.
trans thing?" And he goes, "No, it has nothing to do with that."
Yeah.
Noah!
Noah.
Noah, tell us your
problem-
opinion
the
on
problem
trans
is people don't care,
Right,
and they
so
still.
is a bit of a strict. No, I'm kidding.
I thought you were gonna say people, because that's what they are, Miceman. Why would you have to specify that? But like,
Oh,
of
yeah,
course,
that
of
would have
course,
been it.
it's Noah. He's gonna say that he doesn't like.
Do we think Drag0n thinks it's iconic, or do we think he only thinks it's a real thriller?
Wholly
I would say he
separated
probably thinks it's iconic.
from what CLaUD was saying. Like looking at it just as a movie, it is an iconic movie. But would Drag0n see it that way? I think he would think it's a real thriller. I don't think he would consider it a.
I say real thriller.
Like Jermal, that happens
Wait,
in
so
the
that's
book too.
two
Clarice
real
is just
Two
super
real
hot.
thrillers, one iconic from Miceman.
Is that two real thriller, one
I
iconic?
say iconic.
No, I
because
said
of
thriller. I think it's a
Okay,
thriller.
Clarice. Okay.
Clarice.
So Miceman also thinks it's a thriller?
Wait, so
Yeah.
who is real thriller?
I
Me.
am.
Two
It's
people.
real thriller.
Okay,
Three.
three.
Okay,
So-
that's 3.
Okay,
Wait,
Grayman
Noah,
thinks
do you need
it's-
an explanation of what we're doing?
I kind of have a gist now. I'm curious what the tiebreakers were.
So the
Somebody
tiebreaker was
just can't
someone
change
would
their
just
mind.
get convinced of the other side. There'd be a whole big debate about it, because there was
We're
exactly
not-
6
we're-
people.
Yeah,
Because
we're not
we're
specifically voting. We're trying to figure out where Drag0n.
yeah, I
put
already
these on
ranked
the
all
list.
these movies on a tier list, and they're trying to guess them correctly. Because
Yeah.
if they do, I have to take
No
a shot
way.
of hot sauce.
No, Jermal, you don't Beetlejuice get is it. Clarice is
not
like
iconic to
super
you, is it?
hot.
Okay, so
They
Noah
just-
thinks iconic as well.
No, he said you
For-
didn't put Beetlejuice at iconic, did you?
Oh yeah, he did.
And I did. Yes, they got that right.
Wow. Okay. So what's the current movie?
Yeah,
now?
I agree. Noah, but...
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the
Sounds of the Lambs.
You. I can see you really liking that.
Why did we
I
invite
think
Noah on?
that
He's gonna
an
say
iconic.
everything with such disdain.
I know.
I'm already fucking sweating and like pissing.
Already had.
I'm burning.
Bastard
I
would
would
do
say
that.
I could totally see you calling that iconic. Yeah.
Okay, so we have 2 for iconic, 3 for a real thriller.
One
I
more real thriller will break the tie, or if everyone else says iconic, it will break the tie.
I think it's iconic.
Yeah.
That's a tie.
We need one more vote. We have one more vote.
Who
Someone
has
hasn't
voted?
voted.
Bitch.
Who hasn't voted yet?
I voted.
I think it's Madam
It
who
was
hasn't voted.
Grayman.
Oh, was it Grayman?
I was the first vote
Okay.
Yeah,
then it's
Grayman hasn't voted.
for iconic.
Grayman,
Iconic horror.
Iconic. Okay.
you think it's iconic?
Iconic wins.
I think it's real thriller.
I think
Okay.
you're a real
What does
thriller.
Drag0n say?
Thanks.
Does he take another shot?
Really, iconic
He's taking
horror.
another
I didn't
shot.
think
He's
I
taking
did
another
not
shot.
think he would be a Silence of the Lambs guy.
Yeah, I knew
Oh
he
god,
really
that was
liked
so
it.
much.
I know he really liked it. I was just wondering if he placed it that far up
it's
or
going
not.
up in my
Right.
nose.
Oh god.
I knew he would want that to be, or I knew he'd put that in iconic because of the many voice impressions he've done.
Clarice.
that you've
Clarice.
done
Clarice.
have been
Side of
reminiscent
Chianti.
of that guy.
Hannibal Lecter
Oh,
is one of the best horror villains of all time.
Your mama's one of the.
I don't know if you believe that guy. You don't sound very convinced.
Clarice.
I'm gonna kill you and then myself. No, okay, so my reasoning,
Oh, he's
my
dying.
reasoning
My reason.
is because
My reasoning.
I literally have no flaws with this movie. CLaUD, to address your concern, I do not judge things based off of their audience. That is the thing I'm notorious about, because I don't
Well.
think that
Yeah, like,
what
you love
people
that
have
one show
taken
that's
from
not
a
good.
movie.
I don't think it's specifically the audience's fault. I think it's just the
No.
cultural connotations
I'm
it
just
has
saying.
created.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
that because the movie made it clear enough that that wasn't its
Buffalo
intention,
Bill,
and
that's
people
his name.
still
Right.
ran with it anyway, that
Right.
I can't put that on the movie because people
That's fair,
decided to
that's fair.
impose that on the movie. I get why they did, but I can't
Mhm.
lump that in with the movie. So I have no downsides about this movie. I think this movie
Again.
is some of the best horror movie content of all time. Hannibal Lecter being this mastermind, manipulative
Oh, you're a
genius.
FNAF fan.
Like, I don't judge things based on their audience. You're a FNAF fan. No, I'm judging FNAF because there's fucking shitty ass games now.
Ooh, that's another topic for another stream.
But no, Silence of the Lambs
Containment
is
Breach is a perfect game with no flaws.
fuck you. Silence of the Lambs is so good. The fact that the movie always has you exactly where it wants you is why I think it has to just be at the top. I don't think there's another spot for it.
I also love Jodie Foster's performance too.
Yeah,
underrated
and
performance.
fucking Clarice
fair.
is
I-
expertly done.
anybody-
Hannibal Lecter is
Dude,
expertly
love
done.
Clarice.
Anybody who has read the recent Mayhem Cerebrum stories, a specific character is pretty heavily based off of Clarice from this movie.
Clarice?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta read ahead.
I know exactly who it is.
Just the
No,
only
you've
the
never
only
read it.
scene that
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
me in Silence of the Lambs is when
Lie.
Hannibal Lecter
Lie.
fills Clarice's urethra with hot lead. I thought that was kind of out of. I thought that was kind of out of third.
It rubs it
out
the
of left
lotion
field.
on its skin, or else it gets the hot lead again.
All right, we're almost done, guys. Let's move on to Terrifier.
Oh, I'm gonna throw up.
He's gonna
A
throw
real
up.
thriller?
He's gonna throw.
I think a real thriller on this one.
Terrifier.
Don't hurt yourself.
I think
Oh,
it's-
wait, no, one of the
personally
ways to scream
love
is to
this
hurt
movie.
yourself.
I think it's not iconic, but he does really like Terrifier a lot.
Oh,
think
it's
it's
really
iconic.
not iconic.
Aedrah thinks
It is
it's
not
iconic.
on that level. I don't think so.
Okay, so we have 2 for
Oh
iconic.
God, what if we're wrong?
Aedrah. So we have 2 for a real thriller. Aedrah thinks iconic. Who else?
Look, I haven't seen Terrifier, but I have read a lot about it, and that's basically
You
the
should
same
watch
thing.
Terrifier. It's
no,
fun.
you should watch Terrifier,
No.
Miceman.
From what I'm picking up, it's just a gore
It is
fest,
not just
and
a
that's
gore
that is
fest.
not what I come into
No,
my
it
horror
is
movies.
not
It's a
just a
movie
gore
about
fest, Miceman.
Spampton G. Spampton killing people.
That's not what I go into my horror movies for. I want actual themes and
listen,
stuff.
I promise
to them.
you, it is not just a gore fest.
Miceman it is a comedy movie
Doesn't
that
the
is
woman get
also a
sawed in
horror
half?
movie.
Yes, that does happen.
She does. It's pretty brutal.
Okay,
Yeah,
we have
Hedge
Watch
had
the
to look
movie.
away.
Arthur, have you seen
That is a-
Terrifier? Be real with me, Arthur.
This is the only movie
That's
that
actually a
Hedge has actually had to look away from the screen.
Yep. Yep, I did.
I just don't get squeamish about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the practical effects in this movie
They're
go hard.
they're in another world. They're in another fucking world, and especially with its tiny ass budget, it was
Shockingly
incredible.
good for the budget of this.
Yeah.
film.
Yes, I was gonna say that Terrifier did extremely well with a lower budget, and I only know this because I've heard of it in passing. But I feel like he would really appreciate that for sticking it to the man. So
All right, that's
I would
Don't
probably
say
put
that
it
with like
iconic.
don't say that with a fucking
Stick it to
condescending
the
ass
man.
tone. Sticking to the man is cool. Fuck you.
Sticking it to the
Sorry,
man.
I'm sorry. Okay, let me try.
You know what
again.
is
Can I
the
try again?
man? That's what you have to
Yeah,
realize.
I
John.
know. That's why I'm trying to beat him down because he is the man.
Can I try
Yeah,
again?
stick
Yes,
here.
you can try
Oh.
again.
No, you can't.
Much better, thank you. Much better, thank you. Much better. Okay, we have 3
I
votes.
can't do a Noah voice.
Noah, what do you vote?
No.
Iconic? Noah thinks iconic? Is that what I got from that?
I'll go ahead and vote for Thriller.
Okay, thriller. Guys, all right, we have 2 for
God.
iconic, 3
A
for
real
thriller.
It's a real thriller.
For thriller. Okay, we're at 4 for thriller. That means that it wins. So we put it on real thriller. What does Drag0n's say?
Iconic.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh, I
that's
told
fair.
you!
That's fair.
He didn't
I
want to
told
eat the
you.
hot sauce. He
I
didn't want to eat the
told
hot
you.
He just
sauce.
want to eat the hot sauce.
No, iconic because one, like you said, the visual parts of that movie were insanely
Shockingly
well done.
good.
You know what, Grayman? Me and you knew.
The other thing, yeah, Noah, Grayman has locked the fuck in. Like, Grayman has gotten them right the past, like, 10 times, but no one has listened to Grayman.
Grayman voted a real thriller with the rest of us.
Okay. But, okay, so...
No.
That,
what did I do?
the thing specifically,
I knew.
Hedge, that you say about them capturing him being a little freak,
Yeah.
and like him being this weird, like the scariest thing about art is not that he kills people, it's the way that he treats it. He is such a weirdo, and like he makes your skin crawl when you look at him, not because of the clown makeup, but just because of his mannerisms. And the
Make your
person who
mama
is
crawl.
that actor is so good. The biggest thing for me, though, I think the thing that puts Terrifier... I'm sorry, I'm like drooling and snot all over myself. Fucking God.
Dying.
The thing
Does it taste good
that
at least?
puts... No.
No.
This sauce sucks. The thing that puts Terrifier over the top for me is a very specific scene, or two
No,
very
but not
specific
until the
scenes.
end.
The first scene...
Is it the gun?
Yes, that is one of the scenes. One of the scenes is the fact that he kills someone. The other person comes in and sees that he has killed someone, and because he's a mime, he doesn't talk, he just starts miming things over the top. He starts like knee slapping, laughing at them, but without making any sound, so it's just him doing motions of laughter. That's fucking awesome.
You just hear like the ruffling of his clothes.
Yeah,
He
you
doesn't
just
even
hear the
hit his
ruffling.
knee
There's
hard
no
enough to
like ambient sound.
slap.
It's just silence and him miming out laughter. And the second scene is when he is trying to kill this girl, and she fights back, and it stops being fun for him. So he completely breaks the tension by pulling out a gun and just shooting her like 4 times.
Okay, that's hysterical.
It is genuinely hysterical.
Yeah.
It's hysterical, but it is also
It's
one of the
awful.
most genuinely
It's awful.
effective horror moments that I have ever experienced.
It literally
Because-
did terrify me
because
because
it
I went, oh my
shows you
God.
that the only reason
Terrified?
he is following slasher movement, like slasher laws, is because he thinks it's funny. And the
And
moment
as
he
soon as he doesn't
stops
think it's
having
funny, yeah.
fun, he will just pull out a gun and shoot you. Like, he is a fucking nut job.
Yeah.
It was so
Like, the thing is,
insane of a
he does
moment.
He really likes killing people, but he also wants it to be a game.
Yeah, and so the
As
moment
soon
he
as it
stops
stops
having
being
fun,
a game
he
that
will
he
just
enjoys.
cold-blooded kill you.
Yeah.
Or like the scene
What
where
did you
he's
think of
riding
that?
around on the tricycle like a little doofus, and then all of a sudden like he like sees her get away, and he just kind of throws the tricycle off to the side and he like stomps out of the room at her. Like it's so good. It's so good. It's peak. I love him as a character. The way that they portray him as a skrunkly little guy.
In the room,
I love you as a character.
he tricycles into the room. It doesn't go the way he wants. He gets upset and storms off.
Yeah. Noah, did you just send me a Marvel Snap battle code?
He invited me to play Helldivers too.
No, I
So
didn't.
he's doing like 3 things
Stop
at once
li-
right
stop.
now.
Okay, Noah's being an ADHD little boy. Let's move on to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Never
Now
seen
this
it.
is a
Iconic.
movie.
I was
See,
I was about to send that to you. Just so you know.
I don't actually think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is all that good.
Me neither.
Oh shit!
I heard that the
Hey,
characters are all idiots.
Hey, one of my mods, this guy is a fucking troll who leaves me awful comments. Will you just ban them from the stream, please?
Yep.
American Yakuza Alpha.
Yeah, let me
Thank you.
just get on that.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. I heard all of their comments because I think they're hysterical, but I won't have them annoying my chat. Okay.
Base.
So I honestly
Freak.
don't think that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is that good of a movie. I think it's,
Hedgehog.
like I think it's
Hedgehog.
fine. Like I think it's fine, but like
She's right though.
mostly just compared to most other iconic slasher movies.
Oh
it's
my
like,
god.
okay. Oh, they've got an alt. Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. Sorry, mods. Thanks for dealing with it. Sorry about that. I apologize. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but it's fine.
It's because you
you
said
said
Texas
you
Chainsaw
were a woman
Massacre
on
was
the
a bad
internet.
movie.
That's
No,
true.
it's
Well,
because it's because you said that we needed to change Rent a Girlfriend.
Oh, it's true.
Right.
It's true.
I mean, your critique.
Wait,
on
Hedgehog, do
Sword
you
Art
really not
Online
like
was-
Texas
I
Chainsaw Massacre?
don't not like it. I just think it's kind of.
Okay, but what about Drag0n?
Why do you think it's bad? It's a great movie.
I don't know. It's just it. I don't know. All the teenagers go
Like
in
the
one by one.
commentary on the
I
like
mean,
the
just-
commentary on the meat industry.
But I mean, just
the
one by
kills,
one, the teenagers go
the
into the
dinner
house and
scene.
they die.
Yeah, but they go into the house not because
my God.
like
Alright,
Oh my
it's okay.
god.
Motherfucker. Whatever. We're just gonna ignore it. Thank you, mods, for dealing with it. Appreciate you.
The-
I'm
they
gonna
go
not
into the
pay them
house
any more mind when they
not because they're morons. They're just like they have no reason to think there's a slasher running around.
I just think it's just such a formulaic thing, and it doesn't really do anything to break up the formula. The teenager goes in the house, they die. Teenager
It's
goes in the house, they die.
formulaic because movies are copying it. It was the original.
No, but I mean, just in the way it does it. Like, it doesn't break up how the teenagers die. They go, oh, where did my friend go? They go into the house, they die. Oh,
Oh
where'd
my
my
God,
friend go?
you-
They go to the house, they die.
They go into the house and you're completely discounting the scenes.
Okay, wait
like,
a second. All right, we gotta talk about
like-
what Dragon thinks about this movie. Not what I think.
all right, well, how about this? The scene where the guy gets hit on the head with the hammer and he just starts like quietly convulsing on the ground.
Ooh,
It's like an
that's really
awesome
good.
scene.
That's all right. It's all right.
And I feel like
Never seen
Drag0n
this
would
movie, but I'm
really
sure it's
like
good.
that scene.
Yeah, I don't know what Dragon's opinions are. My opinions are clouded by my own opinion, so I have less of a say in this one than the others.
I want to say
I-
that
Okay.
he would not call it iconic. I feel like he
But-
had one
but
gripe with it.
We,
and now
we,
it's
we
gonna be
did
real
say
thing.
that Terrifier would be a real thriller and it was iconic horror. So like,
I'm
What do you
saying
think? You've
iconic.
been right.
Drag0n,
How
what's
about
your
you,
opinion
Thriller?
on the meat industry? Just out of curiosity.
Drag0n, what's your character on Leatherface in Dead by Daylight?
Okay.
Megan, what's your opinion on kissing me in the mouth?
You don't want that. You don't
It's
want that.
one I think people overhype and give like this gruesome image, misremembering it for the things the sequels and remakes did.
Yeah, that's another thing about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is it's not really that bloody of a movie, and people like way overhype it. Other than that
Okay.
one scene I was talking about, which was
So,
like definitely the most
Okay, so
impressive
Aedrah has
scene.
iconic. What is
I don't
everyone
know.
else's votes?
I don't know if I'd put it in iconic because I don't know. Like, I don't know if I've never seen the movie, so I don't know much about it. I don't know if it's like a lower budget, like practical, like masterpiece, like Terrifier was, or if it's just like a generic horror movie that people really like because it's good.
No, it's way more than a generic horror
That's
movie.
what my thought is, but
I cannot believe What about the subtext about the meat industry and the way it uses and chews up people and slaughtering animals?
I don't know. It didn't really seem like that was a part of the
included?
movie. I was gonna say, it didn't really seem like that was a part of the movie.
They're a family of butchers.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, I'm curious. What like impact do you think that this movie had on like the culture around future film?
Oh,
Like,
huge.
No, you live in
Massive.
Texas. What do you think
Okay.
of Texas Chainsaw
So
Massacre?
much. Yeah, what about the meat, Hedgehog? What about the meat?
I'm not gonna lie. I was just gonna set it up so I could snore on him, but then I felt bad. So never mind.
Okay. All right,
Like,
Aedrah.
Texas
Okay.
Chainsaw, the
Okay,
impact
Miceman.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre had on the film industry.
Miceman,
cannot be
I love you
overstated.
dearly.
Iconic.
Gotta stop talking about what you like about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We gotta talk about
Alright,
why
you're right, I'm
what
sorry.
Dragon likes for the Texas
Yeah,
Chainsaw
impact
Massacre.
it had on your mama.
Dragon has the exact same opinion as me because I am
Real
correct.
thriller.
So you're voting
Real thriller.
iconic, I
It's a
take it,
real
Miceman?
Iconic.
Okay, we have 2 for iconic.
Mm,
I think it's a real thriller.
3 for iconic.
It's a real
3
thriller.
for iconic,
That's
2
three
for
iconics.
3 iconic.
I think we're
2 for real
outnumbered,
thriller.
Hedge.
No, Grayman's a real
No.
thriller. Hold on, who else said a real
I'm
thriller?
also
Madam,
real
Grayman,
thriller.
and me. And Noah's a
No,
real
me.
thriller.
No.
No, Madam's not. Okay, so it's
Okay,
3.
let's
I
go.
said
Hold on.
iconic.
Shut up. Let's
Okay.
go down the line. Miceman,
Iconic.
Yep.
Noah,
Thriller.
Okay.
CLaUD,
Come back to me.
Aedrah,
Iconic.
Iconic.
Grayman,
Thriller.
Okay.
Because this is Thriller.
Madam,
Iconic.
Okay.
Hedge.
Thriller. We're tied 3-3.
Tied 3-3.
Oh
CLaUD. It's you.
fuck! Oh no! Oh
That's what
no!
happens when you leave yourself for last.
The problem is I don't have an opinion on this movie. I haven't seen it.
Well, then think about what you think
Pick
Dragon
one
thinks.
then.
Go to iconic, Claude.
I think Drag0n. I don't know.
Hedge has been wrong about Drag0n a lot, so maybe it
Grayman-
is iconic.
Grayman, what did you vote?
I voted Thriller, but I'm sort of in the same boat as you, Claude. I don't really have an opinion. I'm just kind of going off of the crowd right now.
I'll fuck it. I'll go with a real thriller.
Okay, that's 4 for real thriller.
All right. Well, CLaUD, if it makes you feel any better, it doesn't matter because neither of them were correct.
Is it kind of spooky, or
Left
is it
me
in
feeling
scary?
Halloween.
Yep. That's.
I'm going to
Wow.
throw up. I'm going to throw up.
I thought that
Okay.
I thought that the character was great, the franchise is great, the movie was really boring and didn't make a lot of sense.
I agree entirely, actually.
I want you guys to know that there's a fucker in the other room that fucking hates this movie, and I've just been running up to him being like, hey, this guy doesn't like this movie. Dude, Hedge doesn't like the movie. He's like, Brace. He's like, Brace.
Is that why you keep getting on?
Fantastic.
Literally
Thank you, Thorns.
the entirety of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a friend goes missing, then a bunch of people go, "Hey, let's go alone
So
to that
exactly
place,"
what
and then
I
they go
said,
missing, and
yeah.
then they go, "Oh, those people went missing. Guess we'll have to go," and then they go missing. It was
It's
so
their childhood
boring.
home. Why would they ever have any worries about there being a crazy guy with a chainsaw?
We're not talking about the motives, Miceman. We're talking about how the movie was made.
What I will say is the
And
family.
it's furthermore the okay, go ahead, Dragon.
The family was a nice twist. The fact
Furthermore.
that the gas station guy
That was a good
in
twist,
on it,
yes.
I did call it.
It's not
but-
stupid, Gerbil. They're stupid.
But it was a good twist. The fact that no one actually makes it out is a good twist.
What are you talking about?
Like the fact that everyone dies, except for the one girl.
No, the girl makes it out in the end at the back of the pickup
Yeah,
truck.
no, and she sprints away.
She's the final girl.
Yeah, she's the final girl. But I mean, it's one of those things where no one that they cared about, they were just like, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not like oh, well, she got away. Fuck, that's gonna ruin everything. They're just like, ah, dude,
Yes.
whatever.
That's literally what happens. That's why Bubba is like twirling his chainsaw around in the air at the end, because he's realized that his life is over. He's gonna go and tell everyone, and then they're gonna come and arrest them all.
And
kill
all they
them
gotta
or
do is
whatever.
just like move.
I think you've thought a lot more about this movie than people
And
that
furthermore,
made it.
okay, here's my last thing. You guys are talking about the structure of one person goes in and gets killed, and one person goes in and gets killed. Like, that's the joke. Did you watch Bubba's reactions? Like, by the third person, he's like staring out the window.
Yeah, but it doesn't
he's
make
like
it any less
putting his
boring.
head in his hands. He's like, "What the fuck is going
It doesn't
on?
make it any less
Why
boring,
does everyone
though.
keep
Listen,
coming in here?"
And that's exactly why it's not scarily bad. I thought there was enough to keep me engaged, but not enough that like I think that the character and the direction goes in a much better. It's like Chucky, but like way more drastically. I feel like
This
has
is
so
a
much
home
room to
invasion
grow.
movie from Bubba's perspective. People just keep breaking into his
Okay,
house.
Yeah, and if
Miceman
it was from Bubba's perspective, it would have been an S tier movie.
All right,
but it
guys, we're
wasn't.
like 20 minutes over.
funnier
Miceman is
movie.
very adamant about this, but we got 3 left. Let's get through them. The Thing,
All right,
iconic
well, yeah,
horror.
you want
Anyone
to talk about a
disagree?
movie I'm adamant about?
Kind of spooky. Also, hi, it's me, The Thing.
The thing is
Okay.
iconic.
Iconic,
Ever-
kind of spooky. Anybody else have anything to say? Iconic.
This is
okay.
the best movie ever made.
Okay,
Dude,
Drag0n,
I
take your
fucking
shot.
hate this movie.
I will
The
not
Thing-
be taking a shot.
Okay, because you put it
I
in a
hate.
real
Okay, I know I said this about the Texas
And the
Chainsaw, but
reason
I hate you.
I'm not taking a shot is because I'm using a spoon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
The
all
Thank
Thing
you.
is
Thank you.
absolutely, without question, the peak of practical effects in a horror.
Oh,
movie.
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
for
absolutely,
sure.
100%.
Ooh, for sure.
not-
The
I
only,
will-
the
I-
only movie that has a chance in hell at standing against it is Hellraiser, and it's made by the same fucking guy. So you
yeah.
know.
Exactly.
Oh
John
god, it's
Carpenter.
Me and
getting
Miceman had like a
sour.
little mini sleepover, and we watched The Thing, and I gotta say, I was quite perturbed. It was
Mhm.
quite
The
good
thing,
movie.
The Thing-
the thing
I hate
is
dogs.
and I'm not a horror
genuinely
fan.
The
Hate
thing
the
about
dog.
the Thing.
the thing is
Think about The
genuinely
Thing.
one of the like I've been saying this about a couple things about best horror
I'm
movie.
saying too much.
The Thing is one of the best movies of all time. Just
Yeah, it is. It is my
It-
favorite movie of all
Wait,
time.
well,
the
the
Thing
original
grabs
Among
you
Us.
by the balls and says you're gonna be exactly where we want you to be, and you're gonna feel exactly how we want you to feel. And even the ending, the fact that they didn't even give you a satisfying ending because there's nothing satisfying
I love
about it.
it.
Like it's just
I hate
the-
this movie so much. I'm sorry.
The Thing is just,
Grayman!
hey, do you want to be uncomfortable? Guess what, fucko? Buckle in for one of the most egregious fucking... Like, you feel what the characters are feeling, because the characters are like, anything could happen, and you're feeling the exact same thing, because the movie just fucking grabs you by the taint and walks you around.
Where
Well,
were
what
you,
if instead of The
I
Thing,
wanna-
it was
I
called The
want to
Freak?
say
They
this
got freaky.
the iconic movie poster for The Thing is fantastic because the story for it is that they forgot to make one until like a week before
That's
the
amazing,
movie premiered.
actually.
And so they just gave a guy like a brief synopsis of, oh yeah, it's about an alien in an Arctic research base, and he drew that, which looks nothing like anything in the movie.
But it's so
Yeah,
good.
but it's
still,
awesome.
But it's
It's so
iconic.
good. No, it's an iconic
Mhm,
poster,
mhm.
but
I've got that poster
that's-
in my room.
that's the reason why it looks nothing like anything in the
I've
movie.
seen it.
Honestly, Drag0n, I was
I mean,
half
my face was
expecting
buried in
you
a
to
pillow
put
half the
it
time,
at
but
a
it was
real
a good
thriller
poster.
just to piss Miceman off.
No,
Oh my god, you guys
Listen,
know how
if-
much I love The Thing.
If I had any actual amount of like control over it for comedic effect, I'd do that. But no, I'm keeping it genuine, except for Birdemic. Birdemic was my one, but it's because I knew it was one that no one would give a fuck about. But no, literally, like, yeah, we've talked a lot about the practical effects too. That is insane. It's insane what they were able to do. It's
No, for real. It's,
and again,
it's awesome.
John Carpenter, one of my favorite score writers of all fucking time. Like Halloween, The Thing, like
Was
those
he a
fucking
Carpenter?
synths come in and you're feeling it.
Dun.
Dun, dun. Yeah, and Magilla Shadows too. The poster works better because by the time you get that far in, you realize it looks nothing like the poster, and you're hooked because you're trying to figure out when that comes into play, and it just never does.
Mhm.
And again, the fact that all the ending was just him giving a drink to another character and sitting in fire, and it has spawned so much debate from just that one scene alone, let alone everything else. There's a whole theory that nothing in that movie was actually real, and they all just went crazy and killed each other. Like, there's so many directions you could take this fucking thing in, and
Oh,
it's,
Carbon
yes.
monoxide
You could say you could
poisoning.
take it. To the
it's
thing.
so good.
I still fucking hate this movie, but I have a lot of respect for it.
Fair enough.
Is it
Okay.
just
What?
because you don't like how it makes you feel, or you just don't think it was executed well?
Okay,
I'm curious.
I saw this movie at the worst possible time I could have saw it because I don't want to go too into detail.
I was
but
stationed at an Arctic base.
one of my dogs passed away, and
I
one of my
see.
friends was like, "Hey, buddy, let's just distract. Let's get your mind off this. Well, let's watch the
Let's watch the
Okay.
thing.
What a choice!
My thoughts on this story are entirely dependent on, did this person ever watch the thing beforehand?
He did, and he forgot about the dog.
Fucking
He's an
choice.
asshole.
He says your friend's an asshole. I'm sorry.
Alright.
Sorry, how do you forget about the dog? I collect those, like, those, like, NECA horror movie figurine things. I have a whole
He's got a whole
closet
closet
full
of
of
them.
The thing one is just the
dog,
dog. Like, it is
Yeah.
one of the most iconic moments in that movie.
I also hate that scene, Grayman.
That
to
is,
be
I
fair.
think that you
I
didn't
hate
look
that
away, but
scene.
that is
I
one of
know,
the
if you
only
feel
other
so
times where
bad.
you
I feel
almost had to
so
look
bad.
away.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And no,
At
that
least
sucks.
Does the
Grayman,
dog
and
die?
I'm sorry.
The dog doesn't die.
I'm sorry for
Dogs.
your dog
Well, no, the
loss,
dog
and I'm
does
sorry
die,
that your friend
but
immediately said,
many
"Let's
dogs
watch
die.
a dog implode."
Uh-huh.
Like, it's fucked
And then
up.
kill a bunch of other dogs.
Yeah.
But
Oh my god.
that being said, aside from that genuinely tragic story, I think that the thing has, like, no flaws.
Okay. Trick or treat.
I couldn't believe it was like lambasted when it first came out. That makes me
I
so
know.
mad to think about.
All right, guys. Trick or treat.
A lot of these movies
Never
are
seen
really
it.
fair,
Trick
though,
or
my
Guys,
friend.
we don't have any bad tiers here. Can we put this in like Scarily Bad or something?
No, because Dragon likes this movie. I think it's kind of
God
spooky.
damn it!
Uh,
I think it's kind of spooky.
I'll go. With that
What was
for
this one
Nottingham.
about? I completely forget.
It's a series of stories about different people that get that have encounters with this weird little like kid in this mask.
No,
and-
only the one
Child,
guy
yeah.
has the kid encounter.
Oh, I
Remember,
thought they
it's
all
in his
did.
house. The rest of there was like the guy. There was the one about the teacher that was actually like teaching his son how to kill people.
Oh
and
yes, it's a bunch of weird.
It's like a
vaguely
little
connected stories.
anthology wrapped up into one,
yeah.
and they're all actually
Uh,
connected at the end. That's
Oh, is this
kinda
the
how it
Treehouse
is.
of Horror?
Okay.
But the character on the cover there is Sam, who is essentially this like weird
Sans?
Halloween spirit, and his whole thing
Shut
is
up.
that there's like an old man that like doesn't like Halloween because of something that happens in one of the other stories, and you realize how they're connected. But he's sitting there in his house like all like angry and that it's Halloween, and then this little kid comes trick or treating. The guy doesn't have any candy, so the kid breaks into his house and starts like fucking stabbing him with like a pocket razor or whatever. Like it's nuts.
Okay, so clearly he likes it.
But that's just like one. But there's like 6 stories though.
Okay.
And you have to keep all of them in mind and
I-
how they connect to each other.
I think it's a real thriller because Dragon really likes this movie a lot.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go up there too. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Now
Alright.
that my excellent ploy to get
I don't
him
have an
talking
opinion.
has worked.
Absolutely. All right, Dragon.
Cool. You think I didn't fall for it? It's not a real thriller.
Okay.
It's kind of
Yeah,
spooky.
no. I
Okay.
Okay.
The reason it's kind of spooky is because individually all of the stories are really great, and then they try to connect them together in the most convoluted timeline imaginable. And I even remember telling you this, Hedge. I did not, for the life of me, understand that timeline and how it functioned. It was just, I don't know if they really thought of it through, but the stories were all told in like the worst sequence imaginable. So there were so like, again, it was like Dead Silence, where I couldn't focus on the movie because so much of my thought process was, wait, so this girl's from this other story, but now she's here. Like, where does this put this on the timeline? And
It's another Ju-on situation.
it was just, yeah, it was exactly like Ju-on, where I was so focused on trying to figure out how all the pieces fit together that I didn't look at the whole movie. However, each individual story by itself was really good, and they were executed really well, and I like the little Sam character. I think he's fun. So it would have been real thriller if they
He
were
looks
just
kinda cute, I'm
5
not gonna lie.
isolated stories, but they're not.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right.
Finally,
Finally,
the
the
Vitch.
Vitch. The Vitch.
All right, can I say something about this movie?
Miceman, do not shit
Yeah.
on this movie. I will shit down your throat.
No, I liked this
Okay,
movie,
good.
but
Gross.
I also really like goats, and I don't like the way they misrepresented
Phillip.
goats in this
Black
movie.
Phillip.
I thought
What?
I
You
thought
mean
Black
as a
Phillip,
sexy motherfucker?
I thought Black Phillip was a very
Yeah, I
kind
forgot. In
and
like the
handsome
last
goat.
5 minutes,
Do
he
you
turns
mean
into a
as
hot
a
guy.
sexy motherfucker?
And then at the end, he kills a guy, and I'm like, no, a goat wouldn't do that. Goats are gentle souls.
He wouldn't do that.
Okay.
He wouldn't do that.
Alright.
Miceman literally looked Satan in the eyes and said, "You wouldn't kill anyone."
I was hoping he wouldn't be I was hoping Black Phillip was a misdirect because I like goats and I don't want a goat to be shown in a poor light.
Black Phillip is a real English mythology.
Yes, real folktale.
Real
Black
bit of
Phillip.
English mythology, yeah.
Yep. Has anyone not seen this movie and need a better synopsis?
Me?
I have not.
I have not.
Okay,
seen
a
this.
bunch of people haven't.
So,
Go.
so the Vitch or the Witch, because it's like two V's, it's weird.
The bitch.
The whole
The
thing
bitch.
is about
Oh my God.
this the bitch. It's kind of true. Is about how this family was essentially ostracized from their colony via their like very specific like religious beliefs and the father's like pride. Essentially, each of the family members is kind of representative of a
Pilgrim
sin.
Times.
And they're what's it called? What's the term for it?
Puritans.
Pilgrims?
Yeah, they're Puritans, and they're very like
Pilgrim!
self-flagellating. They're very whatever. And there's this whole
When I play
again, it's
goats,
like the menu where I feel like I will bastardize it by describing it, but essentially the long and short of it is that like the family is forced out because of the father and
Extreme
his pride
beliefs.
and like stuff like that. And a lot of the family keeps trying to convince everyone that this like oldest daughter is like a witch because she's the youngest baby keeps missing. It's been a while.
Yeah, the baby goes missing.
The baby
the
keeps
baby goes
going
missing.
and they keep blaming it on the oldest daughter and that she's a witch. There's also this goat called Black Phillip. He's just like a black goat that showed up after they left town that they acquired before leaving town. And there's this whole thing about these two little twins that keep saying that like that the oldest daughter's a witch, and the oldest daughter keeps saying like, oh no, it's there's this emphasis on this goat Black Phillip, and the oldest daughter keeps saying like, no, it's Black Phillip, he's the one that's doing all this shit, and there's this witches and stuff and no one believes her. And then slowly the family ends up killing themselves or each other, and
then at the end it's just her left, and the goat turns into a sexy man and
the
asks her if
goat
she
is
wants
revealed
to
to
live
be
deliciously.
Satan, who
You don't
rubs
even
up on her and
see
says
him.
live deliciously, and then she joins a witch coven because she's a witch.
And I love this movie.
Well,
It
she
must
was
have
a
been so
witch.
easy being Satan back then.
yeah.
All you had to do was offer people butter and they join you.
I
Like,
know, right? Okay, I have to stay out of this because I am entirely biased. I adore this movie. I love this movie. I don't actually know how Drag0n feels about this movie because I always get the vibe that, like, if I really like a movie and he doesn't, like with Reanimator, he will softball his opinions so that I don't get offended.
I
right.
quite like this movie.
I think it's a
You
good
would
movie.
like
It
The
is
Witch.
religious horror, and we know Drag0n's not the biggest fan
That's
of
true.
religious
It's
horror.
more about witchcraft than
Wait,
religion.
really?
All right,
No,
Hedgehog,
it
I
is
thought you were gonna stay out of
entirely-
this one.
Wait,
I
I thought
will-
you didn't mind
I will
religious horror.
say-
I've talked to you for like hours about how I like am terrified of it, and you were
No,
like, yeah.
he doesn't. He doesn't.
No,
like
no,
religious
I've
horror.
told you before that religious horror is not for me. Because we had a whole conversation about them in
Oh, this is an
catalog.
A24
we
movie, I
we
just
had a whole conversation
realized.
about how
Yeah.
you don't like how like it just doesn't scare you.
It doesn't
Hedgehog,
affect
what do you
me
mean this
because I
isn't
didn't grow up
religious
with
horror? The
religion.
devil shows up.
But it's more about Dragon doesn't like the Catholicism.
I'm
he
sorry.
doesn't
What
mind
I
the
will
witchcraft
say,
element.
what I will say, the ending is about
Scares
witchcraft.
me, I'll tell
The
you what.
entire movie is about religion.
Okay.
This looks like a really artsy film, and I think Drag0n would feel hollow.
No, I don't think so. It looks like an artsy film, but it's really
I
just
love
about
that take.
pride.
Everyone, let's rally behind Grayman for the last time.
All right, yeah, Grayman.
Okay,
Grayman
we're
says
gonna say
hello. We
hello.
rally behind
Okay,
Grayman.
Okay, fine. We'll put it under hollow. Give me your mouth. Dragon, tell them they're wrong.
Your shot.
Think carefully, Dragon.
The false prophet falls to the devil. Black Phillip. Black Phillip.
It was kind of spooky.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Dude, I was
Hey,
one
man.
tear up, dude.
False prophet.
I really liked The Witch, actually. Again, it was one of those movies where the religious horror kind of worked because the emphasis wasn't actually on the
And that's what I
I
was
don't
trying
like
to say.
religious
religious
horror.
horror
Yeah,
elements.
no.
Two religious movies on there that he likes.
Yeah, exactly why I put him on here, Grayman. I got you, ass.
Dude, you're a manipulator. You know that? You're
He
a
is.
fucking
Yeah, I'm a little.
You're a
sneaky little guy. I'm
reanimator.
sneaky little guy.
more like I'm a
But
I'm a poopulator.
I loved the idea that everyone in the family had their own sins and they were being subtly shown throughout the film. I love the fact that the film implies that the daughter actually was entirely innocent the whole time, even though she is a witch at the end. That the family essentially, by calling her a witch and ostracizing her, forces her to kill her family and become the witch that they keep telling her to be. Again, I was
she
with
doesn't-
Miceman. I kind of thought Black Phillip was going to literally be a scapegoat. And then
Oh,
Black
yeah,
Phillip
that
ended
would
up
have been
being
correct.
Satan. And I was like, oh, okay. Sure. So it was one of those movies that I liked but didn't necessarily love. I thought it was good. It was very religion forward, which I didn't necessarily care about, but I thought that despite that, it was such a good movie that it made it up to the middle of the list, which is surprising for an artsy religious movie. It is a movie that shocked me. Again, it was another movie that shocked me about how much I actually enjoyed it.
And it's the same actress. It was the main role in both that and The Menu.
Oh yeah,
That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Uh-huh.
I think goats are fun.
Goats are great. I love goats. Okay, well that's
are great.
Drag0n's tier list. How many shots did you take at the end of that?
I forgot.
Okay.
Keep track.
You
Hold
said
on.
you were gonna keep track.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. Beetlejuice was 1.
Child's Play.
Yeah, Child's Play was 2. Ringu was 3. Saw was 4. Scream was 5, 6, 7.
We got Shining right too.
I'm just going
Can
down
we
the
like?
list.
Can you
Yeah,
pull it
let's
up
just
and
go
put it
down the
next
list.
to next?
Yeah, can we like compare them right now, like back to back?
I need the image.
I can send it. Hold on. I can send it.
All right, y'all are gonna get to see the bird.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm just going to
No,
send
not
you.
the
fucking
bird.
bird.
Yeah, hold on.
There it
Do you want me to
is.
just send it to the group, or do you want me to just send it to you? Head?
Send it
Whatever
in
you
general
do.
and recording booth so that I don't have to change my
Dude,
window. I
fuck
can just.
off.
Okay.
Fucking bird.
The bird.
The
The
bird.
bird. This is a
Message
bird
from
that stares
Miceman.
at stinky people.
Okay. Let me do
Oh
that.
no, they're seeing our usernames.
Let me go to general.
Oh no, they can see that I'm Pork Muffin. Oh no.
Oh no!
I think they're more talking
Poor
about Noah's
fucker.
name.
I hired this bird.
There. This is my tier list.
Okay, I'm gonna put this
You
in
didn't
the
see
browser,
nothing.
and I'm gonna make it its own kind of window so that I can just straight up just jork it.
What do you mean by
yeah.
it?
I do
It makes it
mean
even
my
funnier
peanuts.
for you. I did not even
Just
choose
gonna
that
say,
username.
my
Somebody just
penis.
named me
Okay,
that.
so
Wait, actually, fuck you. Can I
Yeah,
have my milk?
okay, okay, Noah.
yeah,
Sure.
it
I'm
has
kinda
been sitting.
dying
It
here.
has been sitting out for 3 hours. Are you sure you want to take it?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Tommy is obsessed.
It's pasteurized. You'll be
It's been out
fine.
for 3 hours.
Smile.
There's his milk. He got his milk.
I mean,
He got his milk.
It's got a bunch of Ovaltine in it. It's practically fake now.
You know what? That's true. All right, if you guys want to compare, I really have to fucking pee, so I think we're gonna call it for the evening.
Yeah,
Alright.
but that's the list. Again, Birdemic was my one foul play.
Boo!
get it,
Yeah,
bird.
foul because it's Bert.
Yeah.
But no,
Full foul.
genuinely, again, the other thing that you all have to keep in mind is that all of these movies are dear to me in some way, shape, or form. Because I love horror movies. This list was actually very hard, and I had to kind of craft it to get a relatively even spread because all of the first ones that come to mind are all S's.
That's why I randomized.
And again, that's
all
why
of my
I
titles for mine.
that's why I did some sequels. That's why I tried to be tricksy, is because I knew there would be no way to avoid freebies. But I knew that there would be some major upsets. But I crafted, I think, a good list of movies that are
Good night, Thorin.
excuse me, a good list of movies that are
Rose.
all over the kind of spectrum of this list. But I like horror, so they're all good.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us so much. Appreciate y'all being here for this crazy long stream. And
Sweet relief.
pray the dragon gets over his spice. And
No, I'm already feeling
have a
it.
good night,
Man,
guys.
this rainforest cafe
I hope he
glass full of
suffers.
Text